And we are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh Fit Podcast After Hours edition. We're joined 6 lovely ladies. Let's get into it.
Let's go.
Nobody cares, bro. Get out. Get out.
It's the night, kind of black. In the night, no control.
Go. Put your shoes on outside. You don't got to put them on in here.
I know the night is not as it would seem. I must believe in something, so I'll make myself believe it. This night
Back. We are live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fresh Fit Podcast After Hours edition. We already got 2,000 plus y'all in here. So do me a favor, guys. Go ahead and like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Quick announcement before we get into the show. Number one, rumble.com/freshfit. We're live streaming on Rumble as well right now. As you guys know, the content that we make isn't safe for YouTube. I mean, last broadcast, I think, kind of proved that. So go ahead and follow us on Rumble. So when the day does come, if we ever get canceled, you will know exactly where to find us. Rumble.com/Freshandfit. Download the app as well, guys. It's going to make it a lot easier for you guys to watch the videos. Watching it on web is trash compared to the app.
And guys, we're on locals, man. We did a pre-stream earlier today, and if you missed out, sorry to say, funny laughs with Mo, Chris, and IC was hilarious. So guys, tune into locals, man, whenever you can. Support us.
Cool. Yes, freshfit.locals.com. Also, guys, check us out on Megaphone if you guys want to get the audio version of the podcast. As you guys know, just make sure you wear headphones so you don't get fired at your job. Also, get the merch, freshfitpodcaststore.com. I got the Who Hurt You shirt on. Fresh has the hoodie. Chris, the bum shirts are live as well. Go ahead and get the merch, guys, there. I'm waiting on it. I ordered my shirt. I'm still waiting on it, man. So we'll see what happens. How is being slow on
How did supporters get your shirt before us?
I don't know, bro. They're just, yeah.
I'm going to wear that shit every day.
Bro, every single day, especially when Chris comes late, which is pretty much every day. So anyway, check us out over there, guys, at freshfitpodcaststore.com, all right? Also, go subscribe to our other YouTube channel, guys. It's called Fresh and Fit Clips. As you guys know, you might not have time to watch a full-on podcast that's 2 to 3 hours long. Go ahead and check out the best parts on our Clips channel. We also have another Clips channel called More Fresh Fit Clips. It's actually below when you look at the channel. We have all the different channels that we got there. So make sure to subscribe to that channel as well. Let's get that one to 100K. Let's get the Fresh Fit Clips channel to 1 million and get more plaques and flex on the haters, man. What about you, Fresh?
Guys, for more vlogs, man, funny shorts, check out the channel, 200K on the way. And as well, like I said before, May 1st open it up to network for the most, I say 100 more spots, and it's closed again. So tune in for that, guys. See you guys in there. Peace.
Cool. And then check me out, guys, on Fed 1811. As you guys know, I break down criminal cases on there. Tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping the Lucchese crime family and all the criminal activities that they were doing back in the 20s and 30s and how they rose to prominence. I'm covering the Italian mafia specifically for the next few weeks. And then I did another pod on Sunday, which was live on the Louisville shooter. We broke down the tactics of how the police engage the target, etc. So if you guys want to see more true crime stuff, and I'm also starting to do shooting breakdowns as well. Go ahead and check it out on Fed 1811. And then Chris.
Yep. Ladies, give me an RC Poxon on IG. Make sure your Instagram is not pirated and you have photos. No photos, I won't reply back to you because you're wasting my time. And other than that, let's have a great show, ladies.
Cool. And then also, guys, go ahead and get my book, Why Women Deserve Less, hardcover, softcover. We got it on Audible as well. All right. #1 Amazon bestseller. Go ahead and check it out, guys. The book is very short. It's only about 80 to 90 pages, well, because women deserve less, of course. And if you guys hate reading, go ahead and check it out on Audible, where I actually narrate it myself.
Look at her face,
So,
bro.
Hell
no.
Yeah, we'll catch you. I'll see you guys over there in the book. So,
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ladies on the panel, if you don't mind, give us your name, your age, what you do for a living, dating status, and if you want to, of course,
Your body count.
and we'll start right here. Welcome back.
Thank you. All right. My name is Rena. I am from New Jersey, but I've been living in Miami for a year now.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
Wait, 30?
Yes.
University.
Yeah.
What's your profession?
A full-time model. Highest education, bachelor's in accounting. I'm a CPA.
Okay.
I have to ask, you're a model, right?
Yeah.
Have you been in Vogue?
No, but
Then you didn't pass the drink test then.
No.
Sorry to say.
you guys always say the same thing every time I come. Every time I say it.
Well, you know.
Well, you keep saying you're a model, so
Exactly. We gotta make
so
sure.
what am I
same
gonna
questions.
say? Like,
You're single at 30.
Well,
no,
you just-
I'm not single. I'm in a relationship.
Okay.
In a
Oh,
relationship?
nice.
Okay,
Last
that's-
time, I came out single.
How long have you guys been together?
4 months today, actually.
Oh, shit.
How'd you meet him?
Congratulations.
I was walking out of like a club,
Oh,
and I met him on my way to my car.
interesting.
Translation:
Yeah.
She met him as a model.
Oh my god!
Well,
no,
translation: Met him while I was unemployed.
What
Okay.
club? What club was it?
it wasn't even like a club. It was like Wynwood, like
Okay.
out of Coyo.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's a
Coyo
funny story.
Taco.
For those that are
Wait.
wondering, that's taco spot.
I'm
in
curious.
Wynwood.
What do you say though? Was it
Yeah.
like, give me your number? What do you say?
Actually, it was my friend that was with me. Like it was him and then 2 other guys, and she was like, "Oh, where are you guys going?" Like she was kind of lit, so she's like, "Oh, where are you guys going?" Like she just like talked to them randomly, and then he just walked straight to me. And we started talking. Oh my god!
god.
All right. What about you?
My name is May. I am 22.
Where are you from?
I'm from Miami, or Homestead specifically, the 305 represent.
Okay.
I am a property inspector, risk specialist. So I work with all the insurance companies pretty much in Florida. That's a pretty good
When
job.
you say property inspector, do you mean as in like you do the inspections like when people are trying to buy a house or prior, or okay?
Everything.
Okay.
Property, commercial property, residential property, everything.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
So anytime an inspection needs to be done, you're going in there, you're doing the inspection, whether it's for an appraisal,
Yep.
purchasing property.
MSB valuation for the insurance coverage. If it's just for the insurance, just needing to know if you continue to have coverage with them. all of
Gotcha.
those
So
things.
you're basically employed by banks, insurance
Yeah.
companies,
I'm
etc.
a contractor, so yeah, it's all basically contracted work.
Okay, great. And then what's your highest education level?
I'm currently getting my bachelor's degree in criminal justice.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then what's your relationship status?
I'm not officially in a relationship, but I could say that. I
Talking
say
to someone?
single.
Single?
We're getting there. We're just not. We haven't had this. I don't want to. We're not in a relationship. You could just say it like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I didn't want to say it.
Who's
like
on the
that.
fence right now?
No one's on the fence. We're just taking it slow because we don't want to get into something and then not actually be a thing. So we're
Okay, taking your time.
actually like
Translation. He doesn't check
learning-
all my boxes at this point.
no,
so if something better comes
That's
along.
actually not true. I actually been committed to him for 6 months, but we just don't want to move forward and do anything or move on to anything that won't become serious.
So you're playing the part, but you're not actually
We're
calling
getting
it the part.
there. Yeah, we're getting.
So you're
there.
playing house.
We're not playing house.
Okay.
We're getting there. That's why I didn't want to say in a relationship.
Got
So
it.
you could
Assume.
legally single.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, I'll come to your own
Legally
conclusion based on the facts there. All right, what about you? What's your name?
Hi, my name is Sandy. I'm
What is it,
21.
Sandy?
Yeah, Sandy.
Okay. How old are you?
21. I'm from Miami.
21.
Apato. Yeah, I'm chilling.
Alapata. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Chris.
Oh, shit.
Chris.
Hey, listen.
This the hood, ain't it? Yeah, that's a neighborhood in Miami. Okay. Which is not the best, but it's okay.
Yeah, all right.
What do you do for work?
I'm an artist, low key, and
What kind of art we talking?
I do bookkeeping too.
I'm sorry?
Art,
Okay, like are we talking painting, drawing, music,
painting, drawing,
Oh, nice.
everything?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
All right. What's your highest education level completed?
Bachelor.
In?
Associates,
What's your degree in?
actually.
Wait, what?
What'd you say?
You want to
I'm
stop
getting
yelling
my
at us?
bachelor's. No,
No, you got to speak up. I'm just kidding with you. All right, so you have an associate's degree.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
getting
that's
my
your highest
bachelor's
completed,
now.
but you're pursuing your bachelor's.
Yeah,
Nice.
Okay. What do you have your associates in?
in accounting.
Okay.
Cool.
Another person that has an accounting degree now doesn't want to use
I
it.
love it.
Oh my
Fantastic.
God.
But so your bachelor, you have your associates in accounting. Are you going to get your bachelor's in accounting too?
Yeah.
Okay, so for both. Do you plan to use it or no?
Of course.
Okay, so you are going to be an accountant after.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then what's your relationship status?
Single right now.
What about you?
Hey, I'm Desiree. I
Hey,
am-
y'all.
How old are you?
I'm 24.
Okay. Where are you from?
I'm from Alabama.
Okay. Do you live here now or are you just visiting?
I live in Florida. Yes, I've been in Florida for about 7 years.
Okay. But you went to you were raised and everything, high school there?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And then what's your profession?
I am an esthetician. I am a choreographer. I've choreographed for the baby, and I've done a couple tours.
So I make sure I understand this correctly. Are you the person dictating how the dancers dance in the background? You're the one coming up with the routines and everything else like that?
Yes.
So you're a professional dancer as well?
Yes.
Okay.
Nice.
So you're the one that scripts everything when they're in the back?
Yes.
Okay.
That's a lit job.
Yeah.
That's a lit job.
Does that take up most of your time, I would assume?
Not necessarily, no, because usually those gigs are like last minute, and they're like by a call basis, you know. So it's like, hey, are you available? And it's just like yes or no, you know,
Okay.
for a tour or not.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna say, so you pretty much got to throw everything on the back burner if you get
Yeah.
called, right? Because
You're
then you
right.
got to go tour for
Right.
months at a time.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Is each routine different per city?
I try not to do that. I try to keep it the same
Okay.
because, you know, that's how you get those crisp performances, you know, and that's how
Yeah.
you know that everybody knows what they're doing. And it's just like, okay, cool. You know, if you kind of play it by ear, which we have played it by ear, and we've had to learn a routine in an hour,
Oh shit.
you know, and you have to do it or don't. And if you messed up, it is what it is. But it's kind of like,
So interesting. Do you have a pool of dancers ready to go at all times, or do they provide you with the dancers?
no, I actually have to search for the dancers. I like make I will make a post to say, does anybody know a dancer? Does anybody see anybody who's been wanting an opportunity or something
wow.
like that? So
On the
All
fly.
right. So they
Yeah.
literally throw everything on you. You got to recruit the dancers. You got to come up with a routine. You got to get the dancers there to show up to the tour bus and everything. I'm assuming
Yes.
they pay for housing and traveling, but you have to find them.
they don't pay for any of that. No,
Oh, you have to cover it.
no, they just pay for performances.
Okay, so it's on them to show up,
Correct.
and then they get
So
paid
basically-
after the performance.
Yes, yes, and it all depends on the artist. You know, it also depends on their budget, and it depends on their management. You know, so everything is each artist is different. You know, you have some of those known artists who have rehearsals and they have tour
Yeah.
buses, and it's like the things you see on TV,
Yes.
where it's like, hey, wake up, this is what you eat, breathe, and sleep dance. You know, but for rappers and things like that who are like on the go, it's not the same as your singers.
I've noticed, and this is very interesting. I guess I could turn it up to the panel here in a second. What I've noticed is, you know, from being, I'm 33, I'm old, right? So I've noticed music videos back like 10, 15 years ago, the whole performance situation, artists put a lot more care and money behind their craft 10 to 15 years ago. You look at old music videos, right? I hate to use Missy Elliott as an example, but she would spend regularly $1 million on music videos. But if you look at music videos nowadays, they don't have the same creativity, the same effort, and the same directing prowess as they did back then. And I think that's also translated over to touring as well, where since more artists are independent, they're not major, they don't have the money to put into their situation like they used to 10, 15 years ago. They're cutting corners, right? And they're not necessarily getting dancers, whatever. I remember I used to watch like MTV back in the day,
Yeah.
and they would have the dancers in-house on the tour bus with them, and they'd be traveling, right? Like Britney Spears used to do this shit. A lot of the top pop stars used to do this. They just have a team ready to go. Justin Timberlake, I know, used to do that. So very interesting to see that now it's like pretty much run by contractors.
Yeah, it's just on the fly, literally. And then, you know, you're used to seeing on TV, you know, they had the TV shows where they audition and stuff like that. And the auditions are like vicious, you know, and you have those top choreographers coming in there. That's like, okay, do it one time. If you can't do it, you're done.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm used to seeing that and growing up watching that. So when I am looking for those dancers or when I am preparing them for these shows, that's how I'm kind of approaching it, because like it's serious. It reflects, you literally have like one chance for the routine on stage in front of everybody, and that's it. You have the cameras, and then you have, you know, the artists, you know, they take pride in their music. So, you know, you have to kind of take pride in what's behind them. They don't know, because some of them will do a sound check with you, and then you have those artists that don't. They don't know what they're actually getting anymore. They don't come to those rehearsals.
Wow.
They don't see some of them, not all of them, but
I've just, in general, over the past like 10 to 15 years, I've just seen an overall lack of genuine investment from artists into their craft versus before, right? I think a big part of it is more artists are independent now, so they don't have the money and the power to be able to push into like all the other stuff in the background. So it is what it is, but I've just noticed that.
Now
like,
AI, tell AI, yo, I need a whole
That
script.
too.
Everything like that is done.
That
So-
too, and you would think because most artists, don't let them fool you guys. They make their money on shows.
Yeah, shows.
It's not iTunes and all this other shit. Album sales, especially nowadays, like it's not a thing anymore. It's the shows where they make the most money. So you would think they would put heavy, precedence on that, but it's not like that anymore. Very interesting. All right. So you're a esthetician and also a dance choreographer / coordinator. And then what's your highest education level completed?
I went to cosmetology school.
Okay.
Yes.
No dance school?
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Berkeley School of Music or something like that? I'm just kidding.
No.
And then, what's
the
your
high school I went to, we were kind of like mixture of like performing arts and magnet, but
all right.
Okay.
And then what's your relationship status?
Yeah.
I'm in a relationship.
Okay. How long y'all been together?
We've been dating for 5 months.
Okay. Is he in the music industry too? Or
No, he's in the military.
oh shit.
This is military.
Shit.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Here we go.
How'd you guys meet?
We like it's weird. It's weird. So we were just out. I was out. And
Of course he was.
and he was with his friends and he was just sitting in the corner just kind of looking on. I'm just like, hey, or whatever.
You approached
It
him?
sounds like my situation.
You approached him?
Yeah, I said hi.
Stop the cap.
Oh shit. Okay, cool. All right.
I did.
Stop the cap.
She started pop locking and dropping it. And then
No,
oh,
I didn't. So, and then, our conversation was good. And
right.
yeah.
No, interesting. I've always had these speculations about the music industry, and you pretty much confirmed what I've always thought, that the rise of independent artists has pretty much contributed to like a, I guess, lack of investment in music videos, choreography, performances, etc. versus before. He used to you guys ever seen like a Michael Jackson show back in the 90s?
That is top production.
Yeah. Y'all ever see that?
Yeah. Top production,
You
yeah.
ain't seeing that shit no more.
Yeah.
That's when it
No.
hit me like, yo, a lot of these artists, unless it's a top tier act like a Lady Gaga or some shit like that, you're not catching that stuff from even A-list celebrity rappers. They're not
I
doing
think
that shit no more.
The Weeknd is probably the only guy I know that does that
There you
still.
go.
Maybe
The
Yeah.
Weeknd.
That does like big on, but
Yeah.
what is he? Major label.
Major label, yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's kind of what I've noticed, like kind of like a degradation in like quality from a performer standpoint with music in general. All right. What about you? Welcome.
Hi, my name is Ariane.
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh, and you know what? You better get it ready though, because you're gonna have to hit it a lot of times.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, she
I
already
hate
knows.
that thing so much, but I'm like,
Shit,
all
she's
right.
wet.
Yeah.
She's
Oh, she watches the show. I know what a siren.
So, okay, I'm 37.
Whoa.
Where are you from?
I am from Connecticut.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
it's different.
What part of Connecticut?
Like not too far from New Britain, in the Hartford County area, and then
What town?
Granby.
Oh shit. Okay. All right. Hit that bell again, Chris.
What do you have against Granby?
Oh man. Well, Central Connecticut in general is a red flag.
I know,
I guess I
right?
got a red flag myself too. But all right,
It's,
cool.
yeah,
What do you do
it's
for work?
awful. I am a home health aid,
What's that?
Okay.
A nurse?
like
Oh,
like
a
a
nurse?
CNA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Come on.
There you go.
Damn.
She knew. Like,
I told you.
It was coming.
So do you work for like a family or you a contractor or?
No, I'm like a private home health aide. I work for a particular family.
Okay, and they employ you directly versus like
Yes.
being contracted out from a. Okay.
Yes.
And then what is your highest education level completed?
Oh, completed. You got to say completed, huh?
Yeah, completed, yeah.
High school.
CNA school, high school. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you had to do some training to be a CNA, right?
Well, I did go to 3 out of the 4 years of nursing school in a pretty competitive program, but I needed surgery. So
Where'd you go? You went to Southern?
I went to St. Joseph.
Okay. All right.
Surgery for what?
I've had like a number of neurosurgeries, so I had to have another one, and then I left to recover, and then I met my now. I know I should have known that was coming.
God damn, woman.
All right.
What are you, a car?
You
Okay.
want to do the tiniest
down?
violin, the world's tiniest violin.
Break it down every fucking.
She's a good sport about it. All right. And then what's your so high school / 3 years of nursing school, and then what's your relationship status?
I am single, but I also have. This has nothing to do with my relationship status, but before I forget, I have something for you guys, and I'm really like
Oh shit.
shy about
Oh,
it, but
shit.
because I made it.
A gift?
What is this?
But yeah, Icy was saying, she was like, "Oh, I want you to take it out on the show."
What is it? Pocket pussy?
It's gonna be a gun. But we
Oh,
might
okay.
want
Pussy, are you kidding me?
I'm just kidding.
What? Sorry.
Oh
Oh,
shit.
Wait, is that me?
What
Oh,
the?
that's dope.
Oh, damn.
dope.
Oh, so here I wrote you guys.
No, the other way, nurse.
The other way. Yeah.
Oh,
The other way,
the
nice.
other way,
There it
nurse.
is. There it is. Put it
Yeah,
together.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Sweet.
That's nice.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Does it glow in the dark?
Oh, this is awesome.
That's cool. That's cool though.
I like
Is this
it.
your
You
art?
drew that.
Yes, I did it.
Oh, she
Yeah.
wrote something.
Shout out to
Thank you
grandma.
so much. I appreciate that. We gotta
Just a
definitely hang
little
that up.
something for my grandkids.
All right.
No, that's nice. That's nice.
Definitely gonna hang that up.
Sorry,
We're still gonna make fun of you though.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
no, thank you so much. I really
That's
appreciate
nice.
that. Down to Marco for the gift.
It's dope. Thank you.
Cool.
You're very
All right,
welcome.
and then you said single, and then what about you?
Hi, I'm Nani.
Welcome back.
Hey. Yeah, hey.
Nani?
I'm 22. I'm from Homestead, Florida. 30 minutes away from Miami.
Far away.
For those that are wondering, it's real south.
Far away land.
Where's your profession?
I'm a nail technician and half-time a model.
Okay, cool. Chris, Fresh, you want to pop your question to Joy desk?
Nah, I know she never been there.
Oh my God.
I'm getting there. I'm like real close though.
I'm just saying.
I'm
You're
like
not
real
there
close.
Guy,
I'm
bro.
real close.
Not there yet.
Real
And
close.
then,
Real
highest
close.
education level completed?
I'm completed high school, but no cosmetology school.
I was gonna
actually.
say you got
Yeah, nail school, nail technician school. So
Okay. And then what's your relationship status?
I'm single.
She belongs to the streets.
I'm single.
She belongs to the streets.
Single.
She belongs to the streets.
I think you said it one more time, Chris.
Okay.
One
She
more
belongs
time.
to the streets.
Look, I don't belong in the streets. I'm just chilling and single.
All right, fair enough. Okay. Chris, did you have anything before I ask?
No, we're good.
All right,
Cool.
So we already got 10,000 plus you guys watching live. So this is what we're gonna do. Every single chat that comes through, we're gonna show on screen. But from this point forward, Chris, call it
20 and up.
All right, we're gonna read 20 and up. But if you can't, so you got you early birds already know what time it is. So I'll read some of these craziest spring break confessions you've heard from another girl.
Shout out to White.
Okay, you know what? We can go around the table on this one because this one's a good one.
Yeah.
Craziest spring break confessions you've heard from another girl. Not you, ladies. We can start here.
Start it off.
I'll work our way back.
Oh, this is actually pretty recent.
Nani?
So, I'm not gonna expose her or whatever, but it was like this current spring break, so spring break 2023.
Yeah.
And she left me actually stranded. That's why I always drive my own vehicle.
For
But
some dick.
she left me.
Where'd y'all go? Did you guys leave Florida?
No, we actually were coming back. Actually, so we were driving down from Orlando.
Okay, you
and-
went to Orlando for spring break.
Yeah, I went from Orlando. I went to Orlando for spring break. Came back down.
Mhm.
I spent like 2-3 days in Miami for the rest of spring break. To get the hectic shit out. And we pulled up to Bacon Bitch.
Okay.
And
In Bayside?
yes.
Mhm.
Bacon Bitch in Bayside.
It's a restaurant here in Miami where they call you a bitch.
Yeah, the entire time.
To your face.
Yeah.
And so she, texting her boyfriend, whatever. And, she's driving this time. And she literally just tells me, oh, I'm going to get up and go to the bathroom. And she literally just leaves. But in the midst of her leaving, I'm, catching her leaving and everything. She's getting an Uber. And the whole entire time she's like getting dragged towards the Uber. Like getting drugged.
By a guy?
By a guy.
Okay.
Like literally. So whole time, like the boyfriend was abusive and all that crazy ass shit. But
It was her boyfriend?
yeah, it was her boyfriend.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Wow.
but
Okay.
I didn't know he was her boyfriend. You get me? To me, this is just random ass guy.
She didn't tell you that.
No, she didn't tell me that until
Okay.
after the fact. So like, yeah, I'm getting ready to call the police and everything, and she's like, "No, wait, hold on, it's my boyfriend." So it's another
Oh.
girl, but I was in the midst of the story.
That's
So-
crazy. Girls go on spring break and don't even tell their girlfriends that they got a man.
Yeah, literally.
On purpose.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because in Orlando, we weren't like that. Orlando, we didn't. I
Yeah,
didn't
we're
know
big
of a
single,
man.
right? In
Did you
Orlando.
smash anybody in Orlando?
I'm not gonna tell her business.
Stop the
But
cap.
Okay, she definitely did that.
The answer is yes.
What happens in Orlando?
Yeah,
stays
if they
in
don't
Orlando.
refute it, 9 out of 10 times it means it's
Yeah.
true. Okay,
Yeah.
fair
Okay.
enough.
All right. That's
All right.
crazy though.
Fantastic. She got taken by her own boyfriend. Did you tell him, like, yo, man, like, your girl's a 304?
honestly, I just left. I really just after like
All right,
she
you
told me it
just-
was a boyfriend, I was out.
She's like,
No,
none of
fuck
my
with her no more.
business.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Okay.
All right, what about you? Craziest spring? Pull the question up real quick.
Spring,
Chris.
spring break tale from
Yeah, that you've
another
heard
girl.
from another girl.
Well, grandma here is pretty boring because I don't have one. I seriously,
Not even that you've overheard or anything like that?
No, truly.
my
I
days.
No doubt.
I went to an all-girls Catholic college.
I mean,
But I
over
still didn't hear
your span of
anything.
life, you must have heard something.
Yeah, like
You didn't hear any like wild Miami
something you
balcony
experienced
stories.
personally.
I mean,
No.
37 years on Earth? Something.
I know. I feel like I'm ashamed that I don't have a story to share. But like, I honestly, the people I've lived.
Girl, you should have saw it. They legalized alcohol again. That was crazy. It was banned for 13 years.
Oh my God.
That was the most lit night ever. I don't even remember it. Prohibition sucked.
Oli.
Okay, we'll move on then.
Sorry.
It's all good.
Okay,
What
it's all
about you? Craziest spring break story that you've heard from a girl. Could be you hearing it directly, maybe you hearing her third party. Go ahead.
Y'all, I have not been to a spring break since 2014.
That's cool.
Wow.
But something you've heard.
I've never, and let me get there. I don't affiliate with people like that because I work all the time. So I don't overhear those type of things.
Stop the cap.
I don't.
So you never heard nothing?
No.
Okay.
I don't engage in.
Okay, 2014. Take us back in time.
Uh-huh.
Maybe one of your crazy nights there.
Yes. Okay. So
The iPhone 5 came out. That shit was lit.
We in Miami, bitch. Oh my God.
So I told you I'm from Alabama, right? So everybody goes to Gulf Shores, and I was. Let me think. All of my friends were older than me, so I was the youngest one out of the group, and so, y'all, I don't know. It's been so long. Shit, ain't no crazy shit happened. Nothing. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Okay, girl.
I ain't gonna say her name. But okay, so we're reflecting. Yes, so my homegirl, she was drunk, and so we needed something at a Walmart, and she just falls on the floor in Walmart. And so she's bigger than all of us. She's not fat. She's thick bone, thick bone. And we're smaller than her. So we're like, hey, how we finna get her?
How much did she weigh roughly?
250. 250.
She was probably overweight.
No, she wasn't overweight. She was like really curvy. Like, she was like
How
Puerto
tall is she?
Rican.
How much did she weigh? Keep it 1,000.
350. 350.
No, I'm gonna say probably 180.
And you couldn't get her to the car?
I was skinny then, girl.
180, big
You
as
and
hell.
your friends?
200.
You and your friends?
We were skinny. She
Y'all
was
couldn't
bigger
drag
above
her?
us.
And how tall was she?
No, she was maybe 5'10".
That's
almost
obese.
Okay,
That's obese, man.
You see what I'm
If
saying?
she's tall, no.
She was not fat. She was just curvy. Like she was like Puerto Rican, so she had
this ties into today's
all the
topic,
curves, all in the hips, and so I'm like, oh my God. So yeah, so that was tragic.
Uh-huh.
But that's it. Don't ask me else, I don't know.
Great story. What about
that was
you?
boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was L.
Yeah, it was.
One time I went to Miami Beach.
Uh-huh.
I was chilling with my best friend.
Yeah.
Good time.
Yeah, we were chilling.
Yeah. Tell us more.
And then
like
we were
this is
just
gonna be
chilling,
really-
smoking on the fucking where the
blunt.
lifeguard party was at.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
we were
fucking hot.
chilling. We were smoking, and then I don't know where this man comes up to us, and we were like, "Yo, who the fuck is this guy?"
Mhm.
And my best friend was just looking at me like, "Yo, we gotta do something. We gotta do something." And I was like, "We gotta look, bro. We gotta look." And she looked at me like, "Whoa, what do we do?" And I was like, "Bitch, we gotta dip, bro." And she looked at me stupid, bro. And I was like,
bro.
"Okay, hold on."
Yeah.
And the man came more closer. Like I was looking at her like, "What the fuck, bro? We gotta dip." And she looked at me like, "We could stay here." I was like, what do you mean we gotta stay here? I wanted to throw the shoes at him, and he was looking at us straight up like he was gonna fucking fuck us or some shit. I was like, "Yo, Leilani, you fucked up, bro. You fucked up, bro." And I was like, "Okay, bro, whatever." And the man dipped, luckily.
Lord have mercy. Ooh, child.
Okay. And then what happened?
I looked at her straight up. We just kept smoking. I was like, "Yo, we look stupid as fuck. Like, we fucked up right now."
And then what did he do?
just left us.
Was this real?
Duh.
Can somebody else validate this?
Allegedly,
Where's the
Leilani
proof?
can. Whoever this is, Leilani.
I don't understand what the guy was doing that was making you so
Look,
nervous.
check
It was
it out.
like, just out.
No, they were high. Once again, you missed the big part of the story.
No, I
They were
saw
smoking.
that. I got that they were
They were
high,
smoking. They were smoking.
It was fucking for sure.
So,
It was.
so I guess the guy just stared at you guys, then eventually left.
Nah, he was like looking at us like straight up, like, oh, what the fuck?
He's like, what the fuck, bro?
And you guys just sat there and smoked more, and then he left.
What the fuck?
Then after a while we did.
Nah,
What time
bro.
of night is it? Was
You
this?
missed it.
In the middle of
Leilani
the
went shut the
night.
fuck up, bro. Leilani was tripping, bro.
Yo, you know a story
Duh.
sucks when even the girls on the panel are like, what the fuck was that shit? All right, fantastic.
Good try,
It's
good try,
okay,
good try.
man. Don't worry about it. You,
All right.
you did okay.
What about you?
If this doesn't prove that girls don't have to have charisma, I don't know what.
It's fine.
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah, story
Yeah,
time.
bro. Yeah, I heard his brother that entire story, bro.
You don't get it off.
Okay. What about you?
I don't have.
This question is revealing a lot of things. That was horrible.
No.
That was the worst story I've ever heard. Take the mic away from Dora the Explorer.
Get him! Get him! Don't take that. Get
You
him!
have anything you want to say
Sorry,
back to
my
Myron
shirt.
Harris?
I don't
Myron's
think you can
hairline?
beat that.
I guess you could do a better profile, bro.
I'm just laughing because I'm so sorry, but one of the comments started to throw this out Explorer and I died.
That's her hairstyle. Like,
Yo. Okay. What about
What
you?
about, wait, you don't have a story? No?
No, I don't have a story.
Okay, no crazy inspection where there were people there in the house or some shit? I don't
wait,
know.
what?
No.
Squatters? Okay, fantastic.
Nah.
What about you?
I mean, I don't have any stories that I've heard, but like I have.
Come on, man. I know
No, I
you
have a
outside.
couple. No, I
Stop
have a
lying.
couple. No, yeah, I do. I
Man,
have a couple
she experienced.
personal ones. Yeah,
go ahead.
not that I've heard from friends, but I
Okay,
have
go ahead.
a couple
Even
personal
better.
ones. So I guess the craziest thing that I've seen when I was in Cancun, there was this girl that just flashed I was in a club
Okay.
and like this girl just flashed her titties out of nowhere.
That was
like
you?
the craziest.
That's
No,
the
no, no, not
craziest
me. Not me. No,
That was a crazy.
somebody
story.
That
else.
was
I feel
really-
like that's crazy. That's not crazy.
Bro,
A
have you ever
girl
seen girls
No.
go
in the
wild?
club
Never seen girls
Bruh.
go wild?
to just flash her titties like
do all
all
the
out
time.
there
Do it all the time. What the
in
fuck?
the club.
Yes.
Mr. Jones.
I've never seen them.
They
Not in
don't.
Miami. I've never
Like
seen them in Miami.
Cancun,
Well, that was in
really?
I
Cancun
see all
though.
the time.
Mm.
Don't ask me
Oh,
how
no.
though.
All right.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, you just you
Fantastic.
admitted
That was
that.
the craziest, but
I
I have,
don't know how.
I have a couple others.
No,
but
no.
That was
yeah,
the
one better
craziest.
than that?
No,
I
no,
mean,
she don't.
no,
Nah.
that was the craziest one. I feel like the other ones are a little less.
Man, this is the most like Cancun or something.
I'm disappointed.
All right, here. So I'll get into the first question.
Okay, cool, cool.
All right, we'll start here and then work our way. All right, ladies. It's gonna take some thinking, maybe going down memory lane a little bit here. But have you ever been criticized on a personal flaw on a first date by a man? I give it a second here.
On a first date.
Yes, I'll rephrase. I'll say it one more time
On a
because I know
first
this one's gonna.
date.
You're gonna have to dig deep. It's a deep question. But have you ever been criticized on a personal flaw on a first date by a man? And if the answer is no, the answer is no.
We're just
asking.
curious.
Yeah, not,
Okay,
not on
so
a
we'll start here.
Yeah, not on a first date.
Never on a
maybe,
first
like,
date?
Yeah, because I
Okay.
feel like they're trying to like be on your
Smash.
good side. Yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah. All right,
So
never on a first
they're
date.
not trying to fuck up. You know?
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I don't think on a first date.
Never on a first date.
No.
Okay. What about you?
Not
Never
on
on
the
a first
first
date.
date.
What about
No, not on a first date. But I've had people be like transparent in general.
you? Okay. Don't worry, I'll get there.
Like,
But on a first
okay.
date, no.
Yeah, no.
Okay. What about you?
Nope.
Not that you can think of. Okay. What about you?
No.
No? Okay. So my next question is, have you ever been critiqued by a man that you were seeing in a romantic sense? It can be maybe y'all were just having sex, could be you guys were in a serious relationship, all levels. But have you ever been critiqued by a man that you were in some type of romantic relationship with? Not guys in the friend zone, guy that you're in a romantic relationship with. The answer could still be no if needed, but if yes, just say yes and then we'll get into why.
Yeah.
You have. Okay. What about you?
I don't know if I would call it like critiqued, but like, yeah, I would. I don't think so.
Okay.
but, yeah.
Don't worry. We'll clarify here in a
Yeah,
second. So
sorry.
you think it could? Okay. And then what about you?
Possibly.
Have you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. What about you?
Yeah, my hair sometimes.
Okay.
No.
Never. Okay. What about
Are
you?
you saying like physically or like
Any
just
character
anything?
flaw.
Oh yeah, of course.
It could
Oh,
be
yeah,
looks,
yeah,
character flaw, whatever.
definitely.
Yeah.
Okay. So you have been. Okay. What was that critique? We'll start here and then work our way.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to do with the physical, but I guess like the way I am. I don't know.
What was the
like,
critique specifically?
Annoying.
Yeah, basically. Like sometimes I could be a little bit controlling. I
Okay.
guess.
Tell us specifically how. What was the critique specifically?
Like I'm always like wanting to know where he's at
Oh,
everything.
you're on his ass.
Like, and I like when you over communicate, I guess. I like to know what you're doing, like where you're at, and like.
You be calling nonstop FaceTime. Where you at, babe?
No, I'm not that, like, not to that extent, but.
Okay. So controlling and talking too much. You said communicating.
Yeah, like
Being
no,
over-
I like I want
over-communicative.
him to over communicate with me, like to say like,
But he
oh,
didn't
I'm
wanna do
going
that.
here. I guess there
So
were
you
certain
did that, but
there
he
were
didn't wanna do
certain
that.
situations where like he went somewhere and I'm like, I didn't know that you went. I don't know. It's just I guess I'm a little controlling in that sense.
A little.
Okay. So you just
Yeah, could be.
all right. So because I guess I want to make sure I interpret this correctly. So not necessarily being controlling, but wanting to always know where he was
Yeah.
and talking to him about that.
Exactly. Yeah.
So basically, you want to talk too much.
Like his whereabouts, I guess.
Okay,
Yeah.
we wanna
Knowing
talk
of
too
his
much.
whereabouts. Yeah.
Okay. All right. What about you?
I said no.
Never. Okay.
No.
Cool. What about you?
What's the question?
Gotcha.
What was the critique that the guy gave you that you were in that relationship with? You said a second ago, yes. So
My hair, I would bleach that shit.
Oh, your
I
hair.
would bleach my hair and I'd be fried as fuck. Sometimes it'd be stringy. Right there. Like stringy as fuck because it's bleached.
Okay. So your hair.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just so I make sure I have this correctly, so you would dye your hair and he didn't like that,
Mm-hmm.
and you would dye it often.
Yeah. Some guys like it natural.
Okay. And you would dye it what color again?
Any color. Red, yellow, blue.
Yellow, blue.
Mm-hmm. Purple.
And he disliked you dyeing your hair. Was it because of the look or because it fucked up your hair? You said something about it being too stringy.
Just he didn't vibe with it. That's all.
Okay, so it was strictly from like a looks perspective.
Yeah.
He didn't like the way it looked.
Yeah, he didn't like it.
Okay, all right. Okay, we'll get there in a second. What about you? What was the critique that your guy gave?
One of my past relationships didn't like how I communicated. Like, I would try to get clarity or, just kind of squash anything that was in the air. And, he didn't like confrontation,
Would it be fair to say similar to her? You talking too much and it's annoying?
No,
Her is in
more so
regards to
like
location, but yours is in
more so like they don't like confrontation. They don't like hashing things out right then and there. So that was bothersome to them. Something that I did because I just like, hey, look, let's talk about it now. Let's just
All right, let's be
hash it out.
specific here because women love to be ambiguous.
Okay.
What was the actual thing you confronted to them on specifically that caused the issue?
We could have had like a disagreement. Let's say, for example, like a disagreement during that day, and
What was the disagreement on?
I don't know. A while ago, it's a long time ago.
So clearly it wasn't that important because you can't remember it.
I mean, it wasn't my relationship that I'm in now. It was an old relationship, but if I'm okay, I'll give another example. So if I say, hey, you forgot to take out the trash, and as a man, he's like, why are you reminding me to take out the trash? But that could be like from my perspective, it's like, it's stinking. Can you take it out now?
Okay.
And it's just like, I don't want, don't tell me when to take it out, So then the day goes, and then now just something so small has kind of like messed up the atmosphere and messed up the vibe of the home.
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, let's just talk about it now. Let's just dead it. Why did but
So would it be fair to say that you nagged him about things that were fairly insignificant and he got annoyed by that, which is why there was issues?
No, I feel like if you're a man, do those manly things. Like a woman shouldn't have to
tell you.
Yeah, like if it's those simple things, if it's so simple, you won't even have to hear anybody. But if it's thinking, why should it's common sense things, common sense things. Like
Maybe he's gonna do it later.
I don't know. It was a long time ago, y'all.
Okay.
I'm just giving an
so
example.
what was it? Okay, so what was the specific issue with you then? Like, what did he tell you that I don't like this? What was the critique he actually gave?
Just like not wanting to talk.
Okay, like you talk too much. This is annoying.
He didn't say I talk too much. It was just like I don't want to talk. It was like you
That's
always want to bring
effectively
stuff
what
up.
it means.
Yeah.
He just wants to ignore you. Then, like,
Yeah.
Like if ignore, right?
Put it under the
Ignore.
rug,
Yeah,
like-
Yeah.
Put it under the rug. But nothing was like said like verbally is basically what I'm saying. Like, hey, you talk too much. But it's just like when you bring things up, I don't want to talk about it. Basically, like he's okay with the disturbance of the of the atmosphere in the home, and I'm not. So
That was a fascinating explanation. I don't know. Did you guys catch what just happened there?
A
That's-
little bit.
So,
a little bit.
so this
caught it.
that kind of shows the differences between men and female communication. That's a pretty direct way of telling someone you talk too much and it's annoying.
Mm.
But she interprets it as you're okay with letting chaos ensue in the house. See a difference here? Like a very interesting dynamic about how women interpret spoken language and word and direction versus how men interpret it. Like it's very obvious you talk too much and it's annoying.
Yeah.
But instead of coming to that conclusion, it's no, you're okay with having chaos going on in the house. Very interesting. Okay.
Invisible chaos.
Yeah.
yes,
What about you?
definitely.
That doesn't help your
well-
point, but okay. We'll move on though. But very, very interesting. Okay. What about you? What was a critique that you got that you may or may not be sure it's a critique?
No, thinking about that, like the one I was thinking of was never mind. It's not important.
Uh-huh.
But among a wealth of other things that of flaws is having a temper.
Wait, you?
You have a temper?
You? A temper?
That's a freaking
It's,
Liberian,
it's
bro.
those
You?
quiet ones.
Can you tell us specifically like what he said to you in regards to your
Well-
temper issue?
Like it, and I have to like let me at least just give myself a little bit of credit and just
Okay.
say I have something I've really worked on and I continue to work on. But it is, it's something. But was like, in my opinion, I wouldn't think I was yelling, but to him it was yelling. And basically just he didn't, if I know, right? I don't know how to say it.
So basically, you were talking to him, dating him, but whenever you guys
No,
were-
I was married to him.
oh shit. Well,
Yeah.
your husband, whenever
My
you yell at him,
ex-husband.
it seemed normal to you, but to him it was like you were like overdoing
Well,
it.
like if like I said to him one time, you're you're like a hurricane, like you come in here, you're like a hurricane. Like I just cleaned this place up. And he was offended by that, and where I didn't think like my family, honestly, they're all from northern Jersey. They're like, what's the matter with you? We
All
talk
right, all right.
like that.
Let's not I guess validify the
Yeah,
issue.
that's true.
How about this? What did he say specifically to you that he had an issue with? What did he say? You have a temper problem.
Yes.
You're rude. You're loud. What did he say specifically?
Yes, that I have a
All
temper
three?
problem. Yeah.
Okay. You're
yeah.
rude. Did he say you're annoying too or no? Rude,
No,
loud.
no.
Okay. Rude and loud. All right. Okay. So having a temper issue. All right.
Yes.
What about you? What was a critique that you got from this male that you had a relation with?
That I used to be like really masculine in the things that I said. So like instead of talking to him, I was just speaking at him.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that was really bad. I had to fix that. And then I used to be a pathological liar. So I felt like
How do we know that this isn't a lie right now?
no, okay, but working on our truths and fixing it, I used to just feel like saying the lie was better than the truth because you wouldn't believe it anyway.
What would you lie about specifically?
Just dumb shit. Like where are you going? Just
where you were at.
yeah, like where I was at.
Let's keep it 1,000. Were they lies that had to do with some type of issue with infidelity?
No, actually, like I would literally just lie to lie. Like I was a straight up pathological liar. Like you would ask me what I did yesterday, and I would probably tell 3 different people the same, like three different stories of what I did.
Would the lie be to prop yourself up as if you did something more productive than you actually did? Typically, that's why
Yeah,
people lie.
Pretty much, like to give the story a more interesting thing to like give it a center.
Okay,
Right.
so would it be so you would lie for one of two reasons? It would be either to prop yourself up to be, I guess, higher value than you really are. You're doing something more productive than you really were, or to conceal some level of potentially what could be looked at as infidelity. Because you mentioned you would lie about where you were going to your boyfriend, which can be misconstrued as you cheating. Does that make sense?
Right. Like
Those
I
are
would
the
just
things you
lie
lie
about
about?
like simple locations. So like to clarify that, I would lie about like if he's asking me if I'm going to the gym, I'd be like, yeah, but then I would probably go to the mall, like type shit.
Okay, so I guess that's a two-pronged situation where you're like lying also to make yourself look good and at the same time about where you're going to be.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. All right, now let's ask. Now, my third question is, who was the person that critiqued you, and how long were you with that individual?
It was my late husband, and I was with him for 2.5 years.
Okay, so your husband.
Mhm.
How long did it take him to make this critique that you're being masculine and talking at him in your lying situation?
For the talking at him, it was like he gave it 2 weeks. He was just like, yeah, I can't do
2
this.
years into the marriage?
No, 2 weeks.
Into you guys dating?
No, 2 weeks into us dating, that like he was like, I'm not gonna tolerate you talking at me. Like you need to speak to me. Like I'm not gonna tolerate you giving me commands. Like
Okay.
ask me, what am I doing? How's my day? Instead of just throwing it at him.
Okay, so
I
2
needed-
weeks in,
Yes.
he told you that straight up.
Yeah, like 2 weeks in straight up. That was it. And then the constant lying and everything, he didn't really catch that until it was like 2 months in.
Okay,
So roughly 2 weeks, 2 months.
interesting. Okay, so it was your husband, and you guys were together for 2 years,
Mhm.
but he brought that up 2 months and 2 weeks in.
Mhm.
All right. What about you? Your situation with the temper. When did he bring it up?
Yes. Oh gosh, I can't remember. It was years ago, but
Like how long into the relationship? That'll be easier for you to remember. Did he bring that
yeah,
up?
probably like within the first year.
Okay. Were you guys actually married or just seeing each other at that point?
No, we were married.
Okay. Yeah. So y'all were married, and he brought that up.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. What about you?
They about to laugh. I was married too.
You were married too. Okay.
Yeah.
Bro,
So
who's
Wait, what's
that?
going on?
Yeah, all three of you were married.
It's a marriage
All right.
battle.
let me kinda laugh.
So married as well. How long did that guy
What
wait to tell you this?
it was towards the end of our marriage.
Okay. So he didn't tell you until the end.
Yeah.
How long was that?
It wasn't long. It was like a year and
That's
probably
long.
like a year and 5 months.
Okay. So one and a half years, he told you.
Yeah.
At that point, were you guys already in divorce proceedings?
No.
You guys weren't.
No, we were kind of like, I was kind of like giving him like another chance at that point.
Okay.
And he still hadn't kind of fixed, like,
He
he hadn't
cheated?
fixed. He did, yes.
On you?
Yes.
How dare him?
Right. But yeah. But what was the question again?
Yeah,
how
gotcha.
long? Stupid. How long did it take for them to give you that critique?
It took
So you
him
said
quite
a year and a
while.
half in when you guys were towards the end of the relationship.
Yeah, so I would say probably like,
One point. You said one
if I
year
say
and 5 months.
if I say 5 months, that 5th month, that
Yeah,
5th month.
That's fine. So
Yeah.
about a year and a half in.
Mhm.
Now my thing is, who initiated that divorce? Out of curiosity, you or him?
I did.
You did. What about you? Who initiated that divorce? You or him?
I guess technically it was me. I know,
Okay.
totally fit the statistics.
Okay. What about you? Who initiated that divorce?
You did.
I mean, no one did. He just passed away. Like,
Wait, I was gonna say she said late.
Okay, she did say late husband. Okay.
Late.
I didn't- okay. All right. What about you? Who was the person that critiqued you on your hair, and how long were y'all together?
We were together for 2 years.
You was married too?
No, I wasn't married.
Okay, thank God.
That was my first ex. Yeah.
Okay. How long did it take him for him to tell you, I don't like you changing your hair every week or whatever?
Like the 3rd time I did it.
How long into the relationship was that?
Like 3 months into it.
Okay. What about you? This is null and void for you because you never had
Yeah.
a guy critique you on a first date or
Or in a relationship.
or in a relationship.
I believe
What
her.
about you?
It was recently, so like 3 months in.
3 months. Is it the guy that you're seeing now?
Yeah.
What did he critique you on?
That I just said that I was too controlling.
Oh, he gave you the same critique. Oh, so
No,
same
that's I'm
individual.
talking about
Same
him. Yeah, because
individual.
just because it's fresh in my mind, like obviously, like I've had other, but that was just the first thing that came up because
Okay.
it was recent. Yeah.
And you've been with him. I'm sorry.
For 4 months.
For 4 months, but he told you how many months in?
3 months in.
God
Yeah,
damn.
recently.
Okay. Okay. Now, next question. All right, and those that are just joining us right now, basically, we're asking the girls, have they ever been critiqued on a first date? Right, which pretty much everyone said no. And then the second was, have you ever been critiqued by a lover? The answer pretty much was yes across the board, except for you. And then we asked, how long, what were you critiqued for, and how long into the relationship were you critiqued on this flaw?
Yeah.
Okay. What have you done to change that flaw, if anything? If you didn't do any changes to it, that's fine. You can admit that. Or what have you actively done to change it? Start here.
Oh my god, I haven't even gotten a
Give us a chance.
Yeah, like I mean, it was recent. So I guess like I haven't really been. I've tried not to be as controlling. I guess since that happened. Since
Well,
that
try and
incident.
doing are two different things.
I mean, it was recent, so like enough time hasn't passed for me to for him to see the changes. I guess since the last incident when
Well,
he brought it up.
Given that critique, that's a pretty night and day difference. Like, I mean, are you not bothering him as much and texting him as much?
No, not since he brought that up. No.
Okay, so
But like I said, that happened recently. We've been together for 4 months,
you
and
made a
that was
change
3
then.
months in.
So you have made a change.
Yeah.
You
I
don't
guess
you don't text him as much.
No,
about it.
Yeah, no.
You still do, but not as much.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't
So if he
bother him
steps out
about
now,
like
you don't
where-
say shit.
He
Mm,
doesn't
she
really,
does.
like honestly, like he doesn't really like go out or anything like that. It's just.
So what are you bugging him about?
I don't know. I'm just.
So you're saying his
That's the
behavior
problem.
changed.
No. He's like he doesn't really like go out. Like it's not like he goes out at night and then he comes home at 3 a.m. Like he's not that type of person.
So
It's
he's the
just-
same way as you met him.
Yeah.
So okay, this doesn't make sense.
So you just bug him like for him going to the gym or like?
No. It's not that.
So what is
So
it?
what are you
exactly
doing?
Guys, this is simple. She's crazy.
It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
that.
Problem
I just like to know of his whereabouts, even if like.
So you just don't have found my location?
No, I don't have his location.
I feel like that would solve a lot of your
He
problems.
has my location. But
I mean, no, you
I
don't.
don't have his.
You gotta give
All
a
right,
man's
ladies.
privacy.
So because this doesn't. Okay, this isn't making sense because you're saying your issue, what you were critiqued for, is that you would want to know where he was and ask you too many
Mhm.
questions.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I asked you, was it that you stopped doing that, or did his behavior change? You're
No,
saying
his behavior didn't change. I stopped doing it, but like I said, that was recent. That was probably like a couple weeks ago. So I haven't bugged him since then.
Okay, so you have changed. You don't ask. His behavior hasn't changed. You just don't bother.
Yeah,
him
I don't
about it
bother
anymore.
asking. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
All right. Did he give you any consequences? Like if you keep doing this shit, you're gonna be single? Or
No.
how did he
he's-
specifically confront you on it?
No, he just like brought it up, and he's like, I'm not like doing anything, so I don't know why you're like basically like telling me like I should trust him and all this, whatever guys be saying. Like,
Okay, so he
if you
didn't.
trusted me, you wouldn't be like all on mine.
Right.
Okay, so he didn't give you like an ultimatum. Like he just
No,
basically was like,
He-
"Yo, I'm not
No, he
doing
didn't give
what
me
you think."
no, he didn't give me. An
So,
ultimatum.
question: how old is he?
He's 24,
How old are you?
30.
30.
Okay, interesting. All right.
What?
So he basically did it a more passive way. He told you, "Hey, I'm not doing anything. Relax." Versus,
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't tell you like a negative consequence if you continue.
Oh
the
no, he
behavior.
didn't tell me a negative. No,
Yeah, 24.
he's not
Goddamn,
going
nigga.
nowhere.
Yeah, she's still bothering that nigga, bro.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I need to hear. She's still, she just cut back a little bit, but she's still bothering him,
He's
bro.
24 years old.
All
I
right,
see
go
why
ahead.
she's worried, man.
Go ahead.
This hasn't been something that a partner has told me in a relationship, but this is something I've realized about myself that
Okay.
I later on fixed.
Okay.
Because I think it pertains to this question.
Yeah.
I've realized that to be backfiring to not be someone nagging in a relationship, I don't communicate my feelings, which ends up backfiring because instead of speaking about how I feel or being like, what you did bothered me, I'd rather just shut down and not communicate and be angry, which I realize is not
Healthy.
a healthy thing. Not only healthy, but that's annoying as fuck. Like, let me know why you're upset, because I would hate if somebody did that to me.
Okay, so would that anger manifest in you nagging them inevitably anyway?
No, it manifested just me, just like, it doesn't matter. And then like, I'd never bring the
Issue to light.
situation back up.
Okay, but how would it? Because at some point it's got to hit a breaking point.
it
How would it hit that breaking point? Would you break up with them?
I mean, it's only been 2 relationships. Only one of them has been that situation.
Do you broke up
And
with
then,
them?
Yeah, and then that ended up being multiple things, obviously.
All right.
collating.
So
but that was
just so I clarify here,
Yeah.
because anytime I interject this to clarify, 'cause
Yes.
the thing about human beings is they'll tell a story, but they will have things in their head that they're not telling other people so they can understand.
Mhm.
So you would be in a relationship with him, things would build up, pent up, you'd get annoyed. Instead of talking it out or nagging him, you would just say, it's over. And he would probably be clueless.
But it's like together we're both like kind of built up animosity towards each other because
Oh, so he
we're
wouldn't
not
say shit to you
communicating.
either.
Because we're not communicating.
Okay.
So if he's not, because think about it like this: if I'm not communicating to him what's bothering me, then he's not being like, "What's bothering you?" Then I'm not. That conversation is never
Who
had.
initiated the last breakup? You or him?
It was kind of mutual.
Come on, man.
Genuinely, it was.
There's always one party
It was
that
an
initiates it.
argument like that initiated the breakup.
Okay, who initiated the argument?
I think I did, but
All right.
technically he initiated the breakup, but I just blocked them afterwards to not get like. I'm not one of those like if we break up, we're not getting back together. So like.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would say that it was you not communicating, and then what was the
Yeah.
second party? The second one you were going to say that why it ended? Same situation.
That was a mutual situation that ended on good terms. But that's what I was saying. It was only been 2 serious relationships. The first relationship was where that situation occurred, which is why from there I learned that I needed to communicate, not nag, but communicate to be able to tell like,
So
hey,
you
I am
communicated
upset
with
about
him and told him
this.
that you don't like this or
Then
whatever.
my
it was.
future relationships, of course, yeah.
No, but I mean the second relationship where you have learned from it.
That one ended on mutual terms. So yeah, I moved.
Okay.
Yeah. That one ended on mutual terms. So like that wasn't like we didn't have
Okay,
problems. in
because
our
someone always
relationship.
initiates the breakup. I would
No,
argue
yeah, that one we moved. That's why I said it ended on mutual terms. Like I moved.
you broke up
So,
with him
Yeah.
because you moved.
Yeah, you moved.
So you broke up with
You
him.
could say that.
Typically, I say that
okay.
typically the girl's in a relationship with a guy that she loves, admires, respects. Like she don't give a fuck about her job. She's staying.
I'm 22.
I get that, but I'm just saying you initiated it is what I'm trying to say.
I know, but like I get if I was maybe like 27 or 25 and like in the age to
Why?
be like settled down fully and like in my career, but I wasn't in a settled career. So like there was no like sit here and do not like I haven't finished my schooling. I haven't had a set career path. So there is no like, what am I following this man to do to just be like him?
Did he have his shit together?
Yeah, he did. But I didn't. So that didn't make sense for me to stay and have no shit together and stay with this person.
Do you think you having your shit together would have changed his
Of
attraction
course.
for you, realistically speaking?
He still had attraction for me, but again, I moved. If I feel like if I was in an older, more well done space where I had like financials, work, all that stuff,
Do you think
career
men
wise.
actually care about these things though?
No, but the age gap. No,
you go,
the
you
reason
answered
why
your
I'm
own
asking,
question.
the reason why I say in this situation yes is because of it. There was an age gap, so I feel like
He was older than you?
Yes.
Doesn't
So
matter.
I feel like if I
Merch.
didn't have anything to my name and I was just a young girl in his presence, it's kind of like you're basically my sugar daddy. We're not in a relationship. So if I have something to my name, I have a degree, I have something
But
towards
wouldn't it be fair to
me,
say that the fact that he was in a relationship with you in the first place actually axes that out?
but that's not marriage.
That's
That's
Wait.
how marriages work historically.
that's
She don't
steps.
count it.
The
Yeah,
man is the
but
provider and the,
You
and the
can
woman,
date someone and not want to marry them.
I'm
But,
but
then
I
why?
would argue that he was with you in the first place, which proves right then and there that your career really didn't matter because he took you as you were.
Of course, in the dating sense, but would he have taken me as a wife and a provider, like a second form
was
of
that a
provider for his
conversation?
home?
that you
I mean,
guys-
And we did have a conversation, but again, I moved, so none of that was. I was all
well,
null
I
and
mean,
void
well,
at the
prior,
end.
prior to you moving, what was the conversation as far as long term? Were you guys just kind of
Um,
like
It was
kicking
becoming a
it?
long-term thing, like a long-term relationship where we were actually speaking about like property. How he had multiple properties, housings, things like that. So we were speaking about a long-term place for where he was going to be staying for work and things like that.
Was
I
he
was
well
seeing
established financially?
Yes, very well established
Yeah,
financially.
I'll be honest with you. He probably would have provisioned and taken care of you anyway because men in general, especially men that have money, don't care about a woman's money. It's just that you kind of wanted to prioritize your career and earning your own
Of
money
course.
over the relationship, which is why it ended. But I guarantee had you stayed, more than likely he probably would have provided
Of
for you
course,
because he was
but-
in a relationship with you in the first place.
Of course, but my thing is, I'm 22. Let's say he gets tired of me or whatever the situation
That's
is.
a
We get into a thing.
Hold on,
But
before you even get into
okay.
that, that's a typical self-manufactured problem that women put in their head that I don't have
But it's a
anything to my name.
reality.
Well, the reality is that men rarely, if ever, initiate breakups. It's women that do,
I think
Mm,
okay. I think the thing is,
that's
if
true.
I may, is
and that's a fact, statistically speaking.
That's
Women
right.
initiate an overwhelming amount of the
Relationship-
breakups.
Yeah. But it's also. Oh, go ahead. You were saying something. I'm sorry.
I was
Go
just gonna say like relationships are like they should be a faith thing. You know, you
Of
shouldn't really
course.
go into it like people have all these expectations and people try to finagle this end goal in their mind.
Mhm.
But I mean, you go in and you don't know what is ahead.
Of course,
You
of
know,
course.
you're in it right then and there. And so that's how people don't understand that. And I do see some of the comments saying about marriage and divorce and stuff like that. We're in a generation right now where they kind of don't even believe in that.
Mhm.
People don't even believe that marriage exists no more, you know,
Mhm.
but love does exist, you
Mhm.
know, and
Stop the cap.
we have right. You have people right now who are fantasizing that independence is a thing, and you know, you have people who are listening to the music
Mhm.
and who are
My only thing was,
just
so I can make my
Yeah, go
last
ahead.
point.
Yeah, go ahead.
My only thing was, yeah, we can say things are based on faith, but the reality is, if let's say that relationship did end up, let's say we did go far enough to marriage and it ended up not working out, I would not have been left with anything.
Not really.
No, I wouldn't have. He would have made me sign a prenup. Let's be so honest. I would have signed a prenup.
He would have made you sign a prenup. You
I
think?
would have signed a prenup. I would have been okay with signing a prenup.
Did he tell you that he was
because
going to make you sign a prenup?
His first wife signed a prenup.
Okay, so you think that you were also going to get a prenuptial agreement?
He would have been dumb to not give himself a prenup because of the financial situation he was in. He owned a lot of his properties. He owned his own business. He owned all these things to his name. It makes no sense financially and if I was in his position as a woman or a man, like, it doesn't matter. And men will say women's finances don't matter. If I was a woman in his position, my man would have to sign a prenup. So there's no not signing a prenup.
Would
with
it be
that
fair to
person.
say that you kind of already made your mind up that the relationship wouldn't last, which is why you even had the idea that if I got to sign a prenup, this shit ain't going to last, so I'm out anyway?
I know I was going to sign a prenup. Prenup is not matter, but here's the thing. If I do sign that prenup, let's say that relationship, whatever the outcome is, whatever it is that because let's be for real, 50% of marriages end up in divorce, whatever the reason being.
Yeah.
If I would have ended that marriage, I would have been 20, whatever, with no degree, no career, no anything, living in a place where I don't even own the house that I'm living in, and I don't even own the bathroom that I'm wiping my ass.
But keyword, you said that you would be the one to initiate the divorce. See the problem there?
I didn't say I would be. I said in the case of a divorce.
Oh, well, in most divorces are initiated by women.
Okay, what
So
if
why not just make it work?
What if it was infidelity that was the reason I initiated divorce?
Well, marriage is for
still
duty.
on your end.
Yeah.
Okay, but if let's say that was a respecting and a boundary we set at the beginning of the relationship, and then at the end you ended that boundary, you crossed that boundary, and I let you know, that's still a personal decision I can make whether I signed a prenup or not to continuously be in a relationship.
Yeah,
with
but that's an
someone.
unrealistic boundary that women don't understand and don't necessarily, quite frankly, they're not qualified to enforce. And I'll tell you why. Men that have status of money worked really hard to earn that status of money, and you can't tell a guy how he wants to enjoy his success. And a lot of times that means other women.
The only reason I say that is because the reason he initiated his first divorce, is because his ex-wife cheated on him.
Well,
so
that's different, though.
infidelity was a thing for him.
Infidelity for a female is not the same as infidelity for a man. When a woman cheats on a man, it's effectively treason to the highest degree. And hold on. Wait. What do women have to bring to a relationship versus what do men have to bring to a relationship?
Doesn't matter. Just
it does matter.
I'm saying in
It
my
does.
personal, but here's what I said in the beginning. What I said is if I set a boundary and we agree to a boundary, regardless of whatever statistics are, regardless of what men's dynamics are and women's dynamics are, we have that boundary set, and that's an agreement between A and B.
Yeah.
So once you disrespect that boundary,
Yeah.
I had that decision whether women initiate divorce, whatever the statistics are, to continue to stay in a relationship with someone that's going to continue to disagree with that boundary and cross that boundary, or move on with my life and do whatever I want. I'm 22. I have that option.
Answer the question.
But I have the option. I'm not 27. I'm not 30. I'm not 40. I don't have the.
Answer the question.
What was the question?
Go ahead, Marin.
No. Well, go ahead, Chris, because you had it in hand.
No, your question.
So it's an understanding, right, between two parties.
Mhm.
But we're just saying, as a man, you have to pay the bills, be there for your wife, and as well satisfy her.
Okay.
You just gotta not cheat.
Okay, which is why I didn't want to just have that role of just not cheat. Because now, if I'm just a 22-year-old sitting in your house, you have the right to cheat on me. I have nothing to tell you.
We got to bring
if
it back.
you cheat,
Why you even brought that up? The reason
Yeah.
why is because you said that he ended his relationship before because of infidelity.
Yes.
And what we're saying is that a woman committing infidelity and a man committing infidelity are not the same thing, which is why I was asked you the question after that. What does a woman have to bring to a relationship versus a man? I'll make it very simple. Women aren't asked for much. They're asked to be loyal, not be a hoe, and don't embarrass me, be quiet, be submissive, etc. But what men have to bring to the table is a lot more. Let's be honest. Women
That's
have way
a
more
generalized statement. Again, like I said, I'm speaking
hold on. Let me finish.
specifically to my situation. Where
Yeah, I get that. But see, that's how privileged you are. You don't even understand that guy that you were with was in the top 0.001% of men. He was probably a multimillionaire, probably successful, probably had multiple businesses. He was a real estate investor. So I already
He
know
wasn't
his
a real
higher
estate
net worth.
investor. He
You
was
quite literally just said he had properties.
I said he owned properties. I didn't say he was a real estate investor. He worked in IT.
if you own properties,
default,
you are an investor.
No, he like those were his properties in his name. He didn't have anyone rent them through. He didn't make money off of them. He just owned properties.
He's still an investor by virtue because it's appreciating. The value's going up, the property is going up in value, and he owns it. So by him having it, he is investing. I mean, he might choose to invest in a different way where he's not getting the consistent cash flow.
He works in IT. That's where his money is, in stocks and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying.
But that is still an investment. The fact that he owns that property, it is appreciating. So he is still getting money to some degree. It might not be realized because he's not selling it and he's not getting cash flow, but he's still an investor. So my point I'm trying to make here is that he had to bring a bunch of things to the table that you may or may not be aware of, while you didn't have to bring as much to the table. So what I'm saying is that women in general aren't asked to bring much. So when a man does say, I don't want you to be a hoe and infidelity, that has a lot more weight because men don't ask for as much.
Exactly.
Versus for men, on the other hand, since we have to bring so much to the table, a woman can make a concession on a certain thing that might not be checked. For example, if a man is ugly, but he has money and status, etc., some girls look the other way and still get with him because he accomplishes something that's more important. But with women, it's not the same way. So what I'm saying is that you try to conflate his infidelity with a female's infidelity, and I'm saying it's not the same.
And that's why I said I would not be and marry into a relationship where a man is bringing so much in and I'm not contributing. That's why I said in the beginning.
And it's because you think that, and you think it's because you don't have as much leverage, I guess, in that situation, which is why.
No, because like you said, he's providing everything for me. So what am I to tell you what to do with your life?
By default, you have no leverage.
Exactly.
That's
you have no leverage. Okay. I don't consider it leverage if we're both equals in a relationship. That's the difference.
Equal. That's the difference. You guys are not equal.
Yeah, no,
that's what I said. We're not in this relationship. We're not equal. That's what I mean. In this dynamic, we are not.
But any relationship you get into won't be equal. Realistically
realistically it won't be equal, but dynamic wide leverage, someone won't have the leverage dynamic is not as large as a gap as someone like, for example, if you're dating someone in the 0.%, you're not, like you can't really tell a man like that what to do with his life, finances, money, anything.
I would argue
he's
that
earned that status.
I would argue that the more leverage a man has in a relationship, typically the happier the woman is going to be.
I'm tweaked.
Does that make sense?
Can I answer? Can I ask
I thought she was answering your question. Sorry.
What did you want to address specifically? Because we got to get back on topic here. But
I was just about to piggyback off what you were talking about.
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Okay. About men having leverage in a relationship.
Yeah, and just that percentage. Certain people stop talking to certain people because they don't have enough, or there's guys who can't provide for their families like that. And then when you come across that person who can provide for you, it's crazy that that's not even enough.
It's not that it's not enough. It's not. I wasn't.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like enough, for just, don't take offense, but that it wasn't enough for you because, you have people out here who, for example, do love somebody and it doesn't work out because, that man is financially struggling and he can't provide for her. And so it's just causing turmoil in his mind because now he's giving her that backlash. Right. So then you have a man who can provide. And then it sucks because you have women who can't even appreciate that because, I'm just looking at it from a point where, for example, my marriage ended because he could not financially provide. And I was fucking up his head and then it was fucking up what we had, so I'm just saying.
You're confusing the audience, but I'll summarize what you've been saying. Basically, you had a golden nugget, and I don't know why you left it when a majority of men can't financially provide for you the same way that this guy did, and you had the elective ability to work. So why did you go ahead and chase a career in another state when you could have stayed with this man and worked another job? Fair?
Yeah.
Is that what you're summarizing?
She fumbled the bag.
I got you.
That's basically what I'm saying.
Fumbled the bag.
That's what you were trying to say in a kind of disjointed way, but like you had an opportunity of a lifetime with a guy that was higher earning, literally getting every girl's dream of you don't have to work, and you walked away from a guy that could have provided for you. I understand your
stupid.
Yeah, I mean,
okay, I'm only 22.
That's a personal decision.
Yeah, that doesn't bother
she's
me.
making. I mean, I just think.
So stupid.
Statistically speaking,
trust me, it's not the only one I'll find.
I mean, you're 22. Yeah.
Well, you got to remember, finding him and then keeping him are two different things.
Yeah.
Exactly, but I choose to leave.
Okay,
stupid.
That's fine.
You'll understand later.
Chris.
Hey, I'm calling how it is. Hey, listen, don't be on the podcast.
I think it's just a small case.
7 years from now, saying I'm 30 years old, trying to find a man. All right.
Yeah, finding those men are far and few between. I guess, and let me make sure I clarify that. Finding them and being able to retain them as a girlfriend like you did is far and few between, is my point. But that's fine. I mean, you preferred your independence over being dependent on a man that was higher status, which is cool.
Yep.
I would argue that that's not a smart decision given the current dating marketplace and how hard it is to find these guys to want to commit to you. But maybe you'll get lucky and strike gold twice. Who knows? So going back to the original question, Did you make changes to the behavior criticized from the guy? And in your case, it was dyeing your hair, correct? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. No, I didn't change myself.
You did not. Okay.
No.
Why did you not change yourself?
Because I didn't feel like it. I felt like it was my choice.
Okay. And you were in a relationship with that guy for 2 years, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it was 2 years.
So did he break up with you after that?
No, he stayed with me.
Okay. Would it be fair to say that a part of the reason why you didn't change is because you knew he wouldn't go anywhere?
I guess so.
Okay. All right. What about you? Did you make the changes to the behavior that you were criticized on?
No, because I'm a communicator. So I feel like if you're a communicator, you know, you
But
first
didn't he communicate that you were being annoying?
for that relationship it ain't work. No, he didn't say I was that's why I was like getting at. He didn't say I was being annoying. He did not like conflict. That was his
No, he said that basically in a nutshell, but
quite literally.
okay, for a man,
took it
that's what
as-
he's saying without saying it. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm saying no, I did not change that way about myself because I like to communicate. You know, I like to clear the air.
over communicate.
How is that even a thing? How is that even a thing?
Hey,
Like, how do
Shorty
you
called it
over
earlier, man.
communicate?
Hey, ask her. She said it earlier. Over communicate.
No, because she was wanting to know his whereabouts. I don't want
Yeah,
to, you know
what she's saying is like if there's like a problem, she wants to talk it out and like resolve it, but he's just like shut down, like he doesn't want to.
Yeah, he don't want to talk. So
That's
I
what she's
like to clear
saying.
the air. Like I want to move on with my day. Basically, I want to.
Notice
So
you
that's
said
a little different.
you like to clear the air.
Right. And
Yeah,
so he
like
was
she-
saying, is that something that I changed? And I was saying no.
No, she didn't.
Like
I
she,
didn't
like you
change
didn't
that.
want to go to bed like mad at him.
Yeah,
like
I
you
don't
wanted
like to go to bed
hash it
mad.
out. She
I
wanted
don't
to hash it out, and he
you
just
know,
wanted to
Life too
not
short
talk
for all
about
that.
it.
You know, but to each his own.
But wouldn't it be fair to say that he never actually held a grudge? It's why it was insignificant to him, but yet you held the grudge, which is why you had to talk it out and get verbal
clarity,
reaffirmation, or clarity, as you would say?
Actually, no. It was actually him that was mad. Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
No, when I'm saying
Yeah.
so remember how I was talking about like disturbing the atmosphere in the home, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm saying like, hey, would you mind, you know, just something so simple, like, hey, you forgot to take the trash out, he's upset that I told
Can I
him
ask a question? Sorry.
Well, let her finish, please.
Okay. Go
that
ahead.
he's upset that I, you know, asked him. I'm just giving an example and I'm going back to my example.
Yeah.
And basically what I'm saying is he's now upset for my approach. And so the whole day is just basically blown because of that small scenario.
Was it before or after he told you to stop nagging him?
You said, was it
him getting angry about it?
It was before.
Okay. And then you brought it up. Hey, you have this pent up anger anytime I tell you something. What's the situation? He said,
Mhm.
I don't like that you bring it up all the time. Is that
Yeah.
what
So
basically he said?
yeah. So if I try to bring it up to
And you
kind of
kept doing
hash
it
it out,
after.
to hash it out.
Yeah, you kept bringing it up that I want to continue to hash things out. Let me ask you this.
No. I do it
You
once.
said you didn't change.
No.
Wait, hold on. Let me go back. Wait, stick to what you're saying. Stick with it.
So confused.
I'm trying to answer what you're saying.
I'm not trying to like trick you
No,
guys
no,
or anything
no.
like that. I'm
No,
asking
like-
very direct questions and trying to get a
Go
direct
back
answer.
to ask me
I
again.
asked you.
Triggered my trap card.
Because here's the thing, ladies. You're answering the question. You give me an answer, and then I go based off what you answer, and then you're like, wait, hold on, no.
Wait, but I'm asking you, ask me the question because you asked me something. I was trying to elaborate.
I said, did you change when given the critique, right? Why or why not? And then you're saying I did not change, right? Based on the critique, and then you're explaining kind of why you didn't change and how it would, I guess, show itself.
Right.
Correct?
Because you were asking me like, would I get am I clearing the air because I was like mad or something? And I was basically saying that.
No, you said your boyfriend was mad, or sorry, your
Yes.
husband was mad because you would
Right.
clear the air all the time.
Right. But you know, if I bring it up that one time and he doesn't want to talk about it, I don't bring it up anymore. It's just that
But you might bring up another topic which is similar.
Or you would just walk away and not talk to him for the whole night.
No, he don't want to talk. We don't want. He doesn't want to talk. We're not going to talk. I
No,
can't
you.
make anybody talk. Me?
No, yeah, because
Will I get mad?
Yeah, because you'll nag him, and then you'll be like, you know what, he ain't gonna do it, and then you'll stay in your own corner, and that's how I feel like how you are. You'll just not want to nag him afterwards.
Yeah. I'll just leave it. Like,
Yeah,
I
see?
mean,
Okay. Let me ask you this. So you said you didn't change, and that's fine. You kind of kept going it because you thought it was important to be able to talk things out. He didn't. Did he leave you after you continued to nag him?
no.
He didn't. because you initiated the divorce, obviously, right?
Yes. Well, yes, we got a divorce because he was messing around. So
Okay, so he cheated on you, and he was doing this stuff.
right.
So for you, it was the you were already annoyed because he didn't want to talk to you, and then he cheated on you, which I guess that's the straw that broke the camel's back. And you said, I'm leaving now?
Yeah, there was just no communication.
Okay.
And you can't make anybody communicate with you.
Okay.
The relationship that I'm in now, like we communicate a lot, and that's like the difference from my previous relationship.
Would it be fair to say that a reason why you did not change and or stop is because you knew he wouldn't leave you?
I don't know.
I mean, if someone tells you that they dislike something
Mhm.
and you continue to do it, I would say by you continuing to do that action, clearly there's no fear of consequence. Fair?
I mean, you could say fair. I didn't think down that line of leaving, anybody leaving or anything like that. Because
Hence
I'm
why you
like
continued the action that was undesirable from him.
you could say that, yeah.
Yeah, because typically, if someone doesn't change their action after they're told, "Hey, I don't like this behavior," and the person continues that behavior, that clearly means they're not concerned with the consequences of continuing said behavior.
Exactly.
Now, okay, let me clarify.
Sure.
If we're talking about when you asked me about didn't change, are you generalizing? Because I'm generally speaking. Now, if we're talking about in that relationship, at that point, I don't.
Yeah, you didn't change in that relationship. Fair.
In that relationship, like
Yeah.
when he voiced it,
Yeah.
I like left it alone. So let me clarify on that. Like, let me clarify about like we were already. Remember, I told you how we were already kind of it was kind of going bad already. So I kind of just stopped trying at that point. But if we're talking about did I change in general right now, I'm still a communicator. I still like to hash things out. That's what I do in my relationship now, and it works.
Okay. So this guy that you're with now is okay with that. The other guy wasn't okay with that. And you're saying you didn't really change who you were or change the communicating. You might have just dialed it back a bit because it was the end of the relationship anyway.
Right.
Still nagged him, maybe not to the same degree.
Correct.
Okay. All right. And a part of the reason why is because you weren't worried about consequences, which is cool. Fine. All right. What about you with
the temper?
Yeah. Real quick, I need y'all to like the video because coming up with these questions is not easy, guys. So like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is a deep one, critical thinking. So did you change your behavior when critiqued on it as with your husband?
Yes. Well,
and just to remind the audience real fast, it was that you were loud and you would yell at him.
Temper.
Well,
temper problems.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would say that at its heart. I mean, I think what the issue as I worked through it more was more of it was not a good situation. And I know I don't want to go into details.
Well, just so we stay on track here, when he voiced his concern,
I'm sorry.
Did you actually? Yeah, it's a very simple yes or no.
Pulling teeth, right?
Yes. When he actually voiced his concern that you are speaking to me in a rude way, you're yelling or whatever, you have a temper issue in general. Did you change right then and there? Yes or no?
It was something that I really tried to work on, and I have.
But did you do it? You tried, but did you actually accomplish it?
Yes, many times. Yes.
Okay, so you stopped with the temper issue.
Well,
no,
not completely. No,
Nah, she didn't stop.
it was something that I feel like I improved on. And
okay, so you still had temper issues, but it was, I guess, reduced.
Definitely,
Okay.
yeah.
So you still here and there would
'Cause
have temper problems with him.
Well, it wasn't so much. I know this
Have
is.
you
this
ever
is
had a
what's-
dream that you
Like such
you could do so
Yeah, I think this exercise,
It is so hard.
this question really demonstrates how difficult it is for women to take some,
Critical thinking.
retrospect and like be able to, okay, this is where I fucked up. Did I actually do it or not? And I get it because women are self-preservation creatures. All human beings are. But so okay, you did work on it, but you didn't completely eliminate it.
Yes.
Okay.
And I mean, I just want to say, like, to a woman,
Have
you
you
know,
ever
there's
had
so
a
much
dream
more. Oh my
that you
Chris, let her finish, man.
Such an asshole.
I can't.
No, you keep messing up my thoughts
Yeah,
when
Chris,
you
you're
say
just
that.
prolonging it, man.
Anyway, I don't want to. You know what? It is. I have to give you credit. It's hard for us women to get it out. It's like pulling teeth. So. Oh my gosh.
Okay,
All
let's
right.
move on.
I think the simple answer is she did eliminate. Yes, but she reduced it, but she didn't eliminate it.
Yeah, she tried to.
Yeah, she tried
But it wasn't that easy.
And then what ended up like you said you initiated the divorce. Was it a part of it because he voiced his concern with you about your temper
No,
issues?
absolutely not. And this is something that I hope you let me get it out. Was that the divorce was horrific, and it was it's something that, you know, knowing we have a daughter and everything, and so for it to have gotten to that point, it was oh my gosh, I'm trying so hard to ignore it.
Sorry, go ahead.
Please, keep going.
So for me to have gotten to that point, I was really left with no choice. And I know women always say that and stuff. It was a unique situation. And I mean, I have to think about it. Like, I basically now I don't really have any options because I.
All right, let me stop you real fast. So you said you just so I can make sure I have this and it's all organized. So
Oh my gosh, it's that bad. Sorry.
Oh yes.
I'm so sorry.
Okay. Get serious, guys. All right.
So going back, the criticism that your ex-husband gave you was that you have a temper issue with maybe where you speak to him is disrespectful, loud, whatever it may be. You took it in, you improved on it, but you did not eliminate it. Okay. And then the relationship ended. So would you say that him telling you that I need you to stop work on your temper, did that like contribute to the divorce?
Absolutely not.
It didn't.
Not at all.
So you initiated it based on what then?
It's a lot to explain. That's why I'm not trying to be. Oh my gosh, it was a very complex situation, and
Okay.
it's
How long were you together?
4 years.
Okay.
And I don't want to say on this because of court orders and whatnot.
Okay, did you make more than him?
What's that?
Did you make more money than him? Did you?
No, I was a stay-at-home
Okay.
mom, and
So he made the money.
but yeah.
Okay.
So
All right.
Okay. So you said that you fixed it a little bit, but you didn't eliminate it. Did he bring it up again after? Like you're still having a temper issue? Did you still bring it up?
I don't know if he brought it up like that. You know, like I think
So
it
there was one time that you remember he had the issue and he never really brought it up overtly again.
I don't really know if he ever completely brought it up overtly. It was something that I would be like, I don't like that about myself even.
Wait,
but
I'm confused now.
So did he bring it up? Did you bring it
now
up?
I'm confused, Mara.
What's going
Did you
on?
notice it yourself?
Mara, now you
So
confused,
the
Mara?
very first time that he told you that you have a temper problem, I mean, that seems pretty direct to me. Did he tell you that?
No, he didn't.
So
But I'm just reading between the lines.
Have you ever had a dream
No, ma'am. Because the question was,
that
did someone tell you? Not did you find out for yourself?
You could do so.
Oh, Lee.
You
do all of that
You want
because that was something you found
you
within
so much
yourself.
you could do anything.
Okay.
Then, all right, since he didn't overtly tell you that you have a temper problem, how did you come to that conclusion then? If he didn't tell you, how did you come to that?
Because I didn't like where I was going. Like my emotions were so intense, and
Chris, man. Go ahead. Your emotions were so intense and what?
it was really difficult. Like when you feel pushed to a certain place and you don't know how to handle it because it's so overwhelming. I know you're trying not to laugh.
No, I'm
But,
legitimately like listening very deeply.
when
so I
there's
can
a, there's a
understand here.
dynamic that is harmful and you're not in a good situation and you're trying to be heard and someone's not hearing you and the behavior continues, you escalate. You know what I mean? Like that's
So can I just paraphrase it? So unfortunately, you don't have proper control of your emotions. Like when you get heated and tempered.
Exactly.
Okay.
That is, but I didn't have control of my emotions.
Not okay.
But he never
Yeah.
told you this. You just kind of came to that realization that I have a temper problem after.
I mean, I don't think he came right out and said it. Yeah.
I mean,
It was something I guess I did come to on my
Yeah,
own.
but that's what I asked. Like, what was the critique? That was the whole basis of the question. Is like, what is the critique that your partner gave to you?
I'm sorry. I was trying to think of, I was trying to think. See, that was the problem.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Don't think no more. just speak. at this
Okay.
point.
What about you? That critique. Did you make changes to the behavior that was criticized? In your case, it was being masculine and talking at males, at your partners.
Yes.
How did you do it?
I honestly I use YouTube, like, cause I never really came from like, or I never really seen, I would say, proper examples of like not to be very masculine, and especially growing up in Miami, it's like very slim. So I would just use YouTube on like how
What
to
did you watch specifically?
femininity videos, like how to tap into your femininity, how to
Oh wow.
just.
How long did you do that? Watching femininity videos.
It took me about a good 6 months to like properly address him and how he felt comfortable in his
Okay,
own
so you
way.
did this while you were in a relationship with him
Yes.
actively.
Yes.
Okay. And then how did you get over the pathological lying?
I really just cut it out. Like it honestly, it was just a thrill thing for me. It wasn't like, it was like more so type of like a high thing. So it was just like, all right, let it go.
How'd you cut it out cold turkey? That's a difficult habit to kick.
I backed it up with proof. Like at that point, I just backed everything up with proof. So if I went, I'm gonna take a picture. If I did not go,
Did you personally make that rule for yourself, or did your husband tell you you need to make that, like, show proof?
no, I made it for myself.
You made it for yourself.
Yeah,
to keep you from lying.
Yeah, I genuinely wanted to put the work and effort in to change within myself. So it was like, fine, I'll figure out a way. I'll do my research, figure out a way how, and cut it out.
Did you also watch YouTube videos on stopping being a pathological liar while also watching the femininity videos?
Both, yeah, at the same time.
Okay, so you did them at the same time, and
Yeah.
okay, interesting.
So
was that a tip that one of those videos gave you to like take pictures to verify what you're doing? It's like kind of a mental cue to tell the truth.
No, it was just like, it was really just my own thing. Like I was like,
Okay.
it would really help me. Like
That's a good strategy. That's why I asked that.
Yeah, in order for someone to know that I'm not lying, I'm gonna take a picture of it or send you a type of proof that I did it.
Was there any dramatic experience that caused you to change? Anything at all?
No, because I feel like he addressed it before it could have gotten to that.
Okay.
Yeah. She did mention that. He only mentioned it 3 months in.
Smart man.
Yeah.
Okay. And he noticed it right away. Let me ask you this, because it seems like you took really overt steps to change and combat these problems. Did he give you a negative consequence if you did not stop? Did he tell you, if you don't stop lying and all this, you are going to be single? Did he give you some kind of negative consequence?
No, but I already knew it.
Okay.
Like it was at the door. Like I knew it.
Okay.
The type of man he was, I knew if those things did not either cut out within a certain time span or cut out very much immediately.
Unspoken.
Or it was pretty much unspoken. Like if
Very
I didn't show him a certain type of change, it was unspoken, literally.
You know, I don't know if you guys noticed it, and the reason why I kind of asked this line of questioning.
I see where you're going.
You see where I was going?
Mhm.
Yeah. It's very. You know what? Let me ask another question. Do you think women get enough criticism in the modern day world for their deficiencies in general? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay. What about you?
No.
No. What about you?
No.
No.
What's the question?
Do you think women in general receive enough criticism on their faults?
I feel like they should get more.
You think they should get more? Okay.
Yeah.
So it's
I
not
think
enough.
they do in this era. I think they do.
Really?
Yeah.
But you've never been criticized.
You said by someone in your relationship with.
Yeah. No. Specifically when I asked the question before, but now I'm
Yeah.
speaking in general.
Oh, in general,
Do you think women,
everyone gets criticized. No.
do you think women get criticized to the same level that they? Let me rephrase. Do you think women get criticized to the level that they actually take the introspection to change for the better?
Those are two
in
different
general?
questions. No.
No.
Those are two different
That's
questions. so,
it's
yeah.
the same thing. I said in general. Because
Those-
criticisms typically
Only reason why I
are
say
supposed
why.
to stimulate change.
Can I say why?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Why I believe this. I'm speaking only because I'm Haitian, so I grew up ethnically Haitian. So
Yes, sir!
culturally, so a lot of Americanized things I learned as I was growing up. There were not things that were naturally common in my culture with my cousins, with people that I was kind of looking up to. So the way that Americanized cultures work and the way that foreign cultures work are not the same.
Yes.
Especially in the way that household dynamics are, the roles that women and men have. So that's why I'm saying in this era, I believe yes, because we're looking at the modern women era, as we like to call it, this modern women era. So I
yes,
say
that they're not criticized enough in the modern era. Is your point.
No, yes, that they are becoming criticized in the common era.
Oh,
This is the era where they are starting to become criticized, not only because social media gives us a platform to criticize people, but also a lot of the stuff that we talk about, whether it be economics, whether it be finance, whether it be anything, it's on social media, it's on the internet. So this is where we're becoming to have this is where we're having conversations like Black Lives Matter, conversations like political things. They're all happening on the internet. So we're starting to have these conversations.
I understand that,
but I don't
do you think women are criticized? Those specifically,
yes, they are.
Females.
But like you said in your second question, do you think they're criticized? Sorry, there's a fly. Do you think they're criticized enough to change? That's a different question. That
no. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, you can make the argument then that they're not criticized enough if they're not changing.
Because
the point of criticism is to stimulate
you know why I
change.
say no? Because there's a lot of really evil things that happen in this
sorry.
world. Governments that do really evil things in other countries that we criticize on a global level, and they're still done. So does that mean we're not criticizing them enough?
Well, here's the thing. Typically, when criticism comes, it's to stimulate some kind of change because you can't have the uncomfortable conversations.
To stimulate. We're at the stimulation level. We're not at the actual action level. That's what I mean.
Well, I mean, if we're gonna the intersexual dynamics between men and women and geopolitics are two different things. So
Of course. I'm just using.
We can conflate them.
No.
You mentioned how other countries are doing evil things, and
no, but I'm
we
saying
criticize
you
them, but-
said in the meaning of dynamics. So like, if we continue to criticize these things, then they should have attention drawn to them, which means change should come. There are a lot of things that we draw attention to, which is why I use that. I'm not trying to say that those two things are one and one. What I'm saying is there are a lot of things that we globally, hundreds of thousands of millions of people bring attention to, but nothing is done to them. So does that mean that we're not criticizing that thing enough? What I'm saying is I think we are starting to criticize women in this era. And though we are not at the point where change has started, they are starting to listen and conversations are being had about femininity, about roles of women in the modern era, about roles of men in the modern era. These are things that are like, look at this podcast. This whole podcast is what it is. Conversations being had that change basically the dynamics of culture. You are culture. This podcast is culture.
But
We're
I would
having
argue
the conversation
prior
of
to this
culture.
podcast, these difficult conversations were not had with women. Hence
That's what I
why
said
so many women behave
currently.
the way that they do.
And that's why I said currently in
But
this era.
I wouldn't have the hubris.
This podcast is it.
But I wouldn't have the hubris to say that we're going to effectively change women. I wouldn't have that ridiculous.
And that's why I said we're not in that era of changing women. We're in the era of creating conversations and bringing awareness to it.
Regardless, we're just, because again, I'm not cocky and hubris to the point thinking that this podcast is going to revolutionize the world. It's really, it's making little strides here and there, but not enough people are having these conversations. Hence my criticisms of females in general is that most women aren't criticized about their deficiencies, which is why so many women behave the way that they do. I think in general, women aren't criticized enough and told what their deficiencies are. And I think this has been proven time and time again when we bring girls on a podcast where they don't necessarily know what men want. They're not criticized by the opposite gender as to the deficiencies within a relationship, which is why I think so many modern day women behave the way that they do. And quite frankly, most girls are not marriage and or serious girlfriend material because they don't change, they're not willing to change. And even when faced with what they need to do to change with men, they still feel as though I'm not wrong.
And that's why I brought up the cultural thing where I said in other cultures, it's not the same as it is, which is why I said the modern woman thing.
I would argue other cultures actually criticize women far more than the West does.
That's why I said
You said the same thing differently. You said something completely opposite before.
What I was trying to say is, for example, I'm Haitian. I grew up Haitian. The culture of women is they have specific roles in the household. Yeah. So they are if you like in certain cultures, if you do not cook, if you do not clean, if you do not provide certain household roles and do them correctly, you are criticized. You will be chastised by your family, not just your husband's family and your family.
Yes,
so that's what I mean. Modern women may not be criticized to the extent that we need them to be, but to say women are not criticized is only reason I say that's false is because of other cultures. I'm not speaking about America in general.
I'm talking about in Western in general.
That's why I didn't bring up Western. I'm thinking of other cultures because I am from another culture. So in my brain, my culture growing up is not the same as how I see my friends growing up in America.
Generally, though.
And generally, but the cultures outside of America are more than here. That's why I'm saying in general.
Yeah, but
so
I mean, we phrased it pretty much for Western women, right? This is an American podcast, so you would think, okay, it's
okay. That's why I'm saying I grew up in I physically grew up in different cultures. So I
understand that. I understand that, but you know, I grew up in a different culture too. But you know, I come from traditional household, 2 parents, etc. But I would be fairly delusional to think that everyone else operates that way, and I wouldn't use my personal background to substantiate an argument for people being criticized when in reality they're not. You know, I would argue they're not criticized at all in the West in general, to the point where they're to stimulate change. But we don't want to get off topic here. What about you?
No, I don't think women are.
You don't think they're
No,
criticized enough?
I don't think
Okay.
so.
All right, real quick, Fresh, can you hit some of these chats and I'll come back with another.
Let's do some chats, guys.
Yeah.
We got Cam to Time says female logic. When in doubt, wear less. Say I'm wrong. Cinderella lost her shoe and got married, but girls out here getting half naked and still single. Okay. Cam again says, since no girl will admit their body count, everyone guess who has the highest body count on the panel and why. Guess the number. Pretty fun.
Let's do it.
Real quick, ladies, guess who has the highest body count, and you can say why. And we'll start right here. Who would you say on the panel has the highest body count and why?
Can we ask a question before we guess?
No.
One question. Okay.
No.
You go first. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with you.
Really?
Why?
The only reason I'm gonna say that is because, like, you give me like. You give me I do it in the dark. Like, you give me nobody would know. Like, literally nobody would know.
I said it earlier.
She
the
gives
dirty
me
librarian.
that. Yes, she gives me that. I'm sorry not to say it, but you give me like, even if you did it, your cat wouldn't know. Like,
Oh my
that's
God.
what you give me.
Okay.
Wow, I don't know how I feel about that.
Sorry. You could say mean shit if I
You
fuse
did
me.
say that earlier.
I did.
Hey.
Okay, what about you? Who'd you pick and why?
I honestly don't know.
If you had to assume,
Oh,
just randomly.
Maybe you.
Me?
Yeah, because I don't know, because you a
Rappers.
dancer and and
Lifestyle.
rappers, and she's younger, she's fit and everything, and
Okay.
so
Who would you pick and why?
Do you know?
So the question is, who has the highest body count
I'm bad
and why?
at this stuff,
Okay.
y'all.
You know who it is. Come on.
Don't do that.
Get up.
Y'all
Get her
don't-
ass. Get her.
I'm just gonna pick a random person.
Today? Why
Girl,
her?
she picked this.
Cause she quiet. You know.
She quiet.
Them girl
Okay.
who be quiet.
Okay. What about you? Who'd you pick and why?
I think you.
Do you know who has the biggest body
She
count?
just saying that because I picked so time.
Wait, why her?
Look, she's a dancer. I agree. She's out there.
what you
Oh, she outside. She outside.
I ain't outside. I be at home. Thank you.
Okay. What about you? Who'd you pick?
I was gonna say you, but what you said you do, you have too much time in your head for that. I don't want to call you out, but I think you. I'm so sorry, but you're just really pretty. That's why I'm being really honest.
So because of her looks?
That's a backhand.
Yeah, I feel like she
compliment.
would easily like get
Yeah.
as many men as she wanted. Not that you are, but that's
Okay.
that's why that's my answer.
And finally, who would you pick and why?
I was gonna say her just because
Damn.
she has like
Yeah.
the way she's dressed, because she like you can see her bra and everything. That's the only reason why I was, and she's pretty too. So it's like
Okay.
she could pull
Okay.
a lot of guys.
Pretty good telling.
I got a follow-up question. So we're talking about, women and criticisms, etc. So all of you pretty much agreed that women aren't criticized enough in modern day society. So instead of me talking about it, I want to ask, I'll throw it to you guys. What are the top criticisms you think modern women need to hear? We can start here and then work our way back. Or if someone has an idea right now off the top, we can go to you.
Okay, great.
You want to go? Okay,
Yes.
you're starting.
Thank you.
What are the top criticisms you think modern day women need to hear?
To become better women.
Please, and I know I'm about to get so much backlash from this, but to my ladies, please do not make your independence everything. Like do not make it the center of like what it makes you as a woman. I know that sounds like very ridiculous, but it's just, I'm just saying it as like, don't be like, oh, I don't need a man for this. I don't need a man to cook. I don't need a man to clean. I don't need a man. But then at the end of the day, you still want to go and have a boyfriend in the bed. Like when you say I don't need, you're literally you're speaking what you don't need. And it's like, instead of saying I don't need and just saying, well, right now I wouldn't like that, but if it comes around, that I'll be okay with that. because if you literally say I don't need it, you're never gonna get it.
Okay. Question for you: do you think that maybe she should have rethought her decision to leave a guy that was highly successful for a job out of state? Because you said don't let your independence be everything.
If that was
It's okay, keep it 1,000. Don't worry,
okay.
she won't jump over and beat you up on the table. It's fine.
If-
Not yet.
If that was me, considering the circumstances I had at hand, I probably would have stayed. But everybody, that's their own boat, so she can float. But I would have stayed.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Pennywise. She could float.
Oh my god.
What about you? What do you think is the top criticism you would give modern day women to be better?
Oh gosh, there's so many, honestly. I think that women have become incredibly narcissistic, and I think our Western culture has become incredibly narcissistic as a whole, but particularly women, because there's zero accountability and they're being propped up and everything. I think what I would want women to know is that you want to have all the rights without having any of the responsibility. And you can't have a right without having also taking on the responsibility.
Okay. So can you give us some examples? Because you mentioned a couple things here. You mentioned narcissism, rights without responsibility. Can you give us an example of what you mean by narcissism? Because that's very broad.
Well, I think this is across the board in our society. However, I think it is even more so with women, and it's worship of self, basically, where they're whatever makes them feel good, whatever they want, they're justified in everything. There's excuses and justifications for everything, and it's really detracted from the role of true femininity and the importance that it has, and it's really degrading our society.
Okay. Worship of self. And then, so you think that's where the narcissism stems from? And then when you say rights without responsibility, what do you mean by that specifically? That girls want rights without responsibility? Are you
Well, they
alluding to
want
something specific?
Well, I mean it in a broad way,
Okay.
but you could go to specifics. I just mean that they want, they feel entitled to everything without
Working for it.
meriting it. Yeah.
Okay. You finally made sense.
Okay. What about you? What do you think is the top criticisms that modern day women need to have?
I would say doing more for the man. I feel like women want so much from the man, but don't want to give. And what I mean by that, I mean like cooking, or okay, yes, you want him to buy you all these things. You want so much from him, but are you helping him take his shoes off? Are you helping him decompress? Are you helping him, shower? It's okay to help him shower, or are you massaging him? Like just those little things, because the weight of the world is on the men.
Okay.
All
right. So reciprocating. What about you? What do you think? What is a criticism that more modern day women need to hear?
Taking care of their emotions.
Okay. What do you mean by that specifically?
Like taking care of their emotions.
That's accurate.
I love her. Like when you're going on your period and you're going crazy as fuck, and like your boyfriend is there, he's looking at you crazy. Like you need to calm it down and chill out.
She's on a period.
That's an imbalance of hormones.
What, PMS?
Yeah.
PMS.
So like I feel like as women nowadays we could control it more.
How?
How?
I don't know. Like
I don't know about PMS.
Yeah,
but I
like
think you mean
literally
like
an
in
imbalance.
general.
Exactly.
Yeah, but I don't know about specifically.
Ladies, let her speak.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All right. So you're saying control your PMS more.
I
was
mean
that
like
just an
cramps.
example?
Like what do you mean like that? Or
I mean, you said
just
it. I'm
like your
asking
mood?
you.
No, I'm just asking. I'm just questioning you.
Oh, she's looking at the girls.
You talking to me?
Oh,
I mean, you said for us women to control our emotions when I'm on my period. If I'm
Yeah.
cramping and literally
Like,
not
yeah,
to
I'm
get
a
very
react, but like
specifically.
I don't have to go crazy over it. Like, you feel me? Like I don't have to be screaming at my boyfriend about
Can
it.
I interject this as someone? Okay. There's a lot. Only reason I disagree with that. If you said just in general control emotions, I think a lot of people just do not have their emotions in general. I could if we're talking about women, so I could specifically say a lot of women don't have their emotions in general. They don't know how to communicate. Their form of communication is either crying, yelling, getting mad, throwing a tantrum. That happens a lot. But I think specifically during a moment of menstruation where there's a hormone imbalance, I think that I'm not saying that gives you a right to just scream out, lash out, do whatever, but there literally is chemical changes in your body. I don't think specifically yes, you can say regular emotions don't go crazy if you can like control as much as you can. That's just in general, but I think specifically what you said, I don't agree with, only because like I know certain women that genuinely have like deathly periods. Like my cousin, she literally has to call off 4 days a month for her period. She's had like 5 surgeries.
Yeah, this
she has
depends on the body and the
that's what I
woman.
mean. That she has like a homeopathic doctor. Like those people, like those emotions they have when they're in pain, they can't.
So
you know what I mean?
I'm gonna tap into that, friend.
Yeah.
Because that's literally like, and I'm just gonna put it plain and simple. That's literally like a woman giving birth and you telling her not to scream. That doesn't make any
I
sense
mean, a
to me.
cramps to giving birth is 2 different things.
No, it's not.
Like
Those
the
are contractions. That's literally once again a that's literally a hormonal imbalance.
Pregnancy is 2 different things.
So contractions and cramps are literally not causing the hormonal imbalance within.
Like emotion-wise, you could handle your cramps. Like you could be like, "Oh fuck!"
Wait,
like
whoa,
that shit hurts.
So
But
you're
then, like-
telling women to stop a
No,
monthly
they could
body
scream
function.
when they're pregnant. Yes, they could scream when they're giving pregnancy. Like, yo, give birth. But like,
listen,
That's your body, but and for my body, I'm not gonna stop my.
Only reason I disagree.
Listen,
but that's
I'm not a woman,
fine.
right?
You're not
But
supposed to
I can only
stop
imagine
that.
having a period and you tell me to just control my emotions.
Yeah,
To me, it's like a
exactly.
moving train. Saying stop the train, huh?
Yeah, but if you got a period, man, just stay in a bedroom for 7 months or 7 days or something, man. Like, don't be yelling at people. You know what I'm saying?
What if you have a job?
Nigga, just
I have a
be by
period
yourself.
every month for 12 months.
The only reason I'm disagreeing is what she's saying is because there's a lot of
having a period.
The only reason I'm disagreeing with what
Hey,
she's saying is
Dora,
because
I
there's
got
a
your
lot
back,
of
Dora.
women.
Thank you.
There's a lot of women that genuinely have a really bad medical conditions involving their periods. So to say that, I feel like is a very like. And not just do that, but there's genuinely like a
All right,
very large
you know
portion
what?
of people that
Let
have
me
to deal
let me
with
ask this
that.
question because this is actually a very interesting exchange right now. Would it be fair to say that these women that have this debilitating periods that you guys are talking about are a minority of women compared to all women that
No.
experience periods?
No, PCOS is in like over 40% of women nowadays.
What the fuck?
What is PCOS?
Well, that's still not a majority. That's 40%.
But that's just PCOS. That's not including any other.
Okay.
That's what I mean. So like a lot of women nowadays, and especially because a lot of women are taking birth control, a lot of the hormone. Okay, you can say that. But we're being like a lot of women are taking hormonal birth control to either
Okay.
regulate their periods or they're starting to be able to unregulate their periods because they're causing hormonal imbalances.
How many of
in
you
their
ladies
body.
here at the table have terrible periods where you can't control your emotions and you're pretty much need to be by yourself to avoid lashing out at people? Anybody here on the panel?
Not me, but my cousin personally, like,
Okay,
I've seen
that's
her.
fantastic. But how many of you here at the table have the ability? One of you.
The first 2 days, I need to be by myself.
Before I
Okay.
started, before I
So
started
you have
meditation,
no
me.
control over your ability to reel in what you're going to say, whatever. You're literally being controlled by someone else.
I'm not saying
Is that bad?
Not controlled by someone else, but controlled to the point where because the pain that I'm experiencing is so bad internally, unfortunately I could let my anger out on the wrong person.
Right.
So with that, I want to stay alone. I would just rather be by myself.
Every woman is different.
So it's going to be different. So it's going to be difficult for you to control what you may say, and you may lash out. So you prefer to stay. Would you say that a majority of women experience that though?
No.
Like that level of period where it's like you can't even be around people?
It's a growing number.
Once again, my experience is different. In my household and what I've experienced, it's been that way.
But I'm asking you to step outside of your own shoes, and I'm asking you: do you think a majority of women experience that level of period where it quite literally debilitates them from interacting with other people?
The only reason
Please
I
let
would...
her answer.
Oh, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna go at 50-50.
You think 50% of women have periods to that point?
50-50, yeah.
Bruh.
Yeah. I would agree.
50-50, literally.
I feel like as you grow older,
I mean,
because well, I'm gonna back it up because what I've experienced. So in high school, right, we've been around multiple, like pretty much 1,000 women, 1,000 males. High school, I've been around multiple women, or I can say at least at the same time, we've all been experiencing a point of cramp or hormonal changes where it's like we're gonna take a step back and say, I can't do this today. So I've experienced that
here's
a
the thing. I'm gonna have to
multiple
respectfully
times.
push back on you guys a bit because I mean, if that were the case, that would pretty much be the argument that 50% of women can't operate at all for a couple of days of the month because their period is that bad. They can't go to work, can't be around people, etc. I don't think that it's as bad as you guys are saying it is. Yes, it might suck, might be painful, but I think women have more control of it than you guys are trying to say here. Because otherwise, you're basically saying 50% of women have zero self-control when they're on their period, which I think is a very that's crazy to say that.
Self-control is one thing. Being in pain is another.
But how you react to pain is another thing. I mean, you can make the argument when you go to the gym, you're exercising some level of pain tolerance because you're continuing to exercise.
So the gym, you can't really.
Yeah, but when you get your period, you could choose how you react to said period.
But I can't choose the pain tolerance level that I have.
Choose it's like
I can't choose my own. I can't. But if I'm not taking medication, I can't choose my natural level of pain tolerance.
Now I'm gonna
here's the thing: if you're experiencing a period every single month,
it's not the same every month.
Every year of your life, it would be fair to say that you can actually, train your ability to tolerate
every
pain.
period is different. This month I can be dying, and next month I can have a perfect period that I don't even feel.
Okay, so that in itself proves that it's not as consistently as debilitating as you're arguing.
For me, most women, I know women that every single month from the time they were 16 to 30 have had terrible debilitating periods.
So would it be fair to say that if it's a terrible period that they're experiencing all their life, that they should be able to exercise some level of control if it's happening every month? They're being able to train themselves to react correctly. Just to me, it sounds very ludicrous to say 50% of women have cramps and pain in their periods to the point where they can't operate. And then I'm like, well, that can't be true because women are in the workforce, women are in positions of power, women are attending college. Women a lot of the times are in positions where they're competing with men. So I would argue that there's no way it could be 50% because then that would effectively mean half of women are useless when they're in their period.
Can I say
that's just not the case?
Go ahead.
I was going to say, can I interject? I think as someone who has had chronic health issues, you cope with it because you have to. And so that's just like anything where if it's that severe, you can cope with it to a certain degree. Your life, you manage it. However, I think this also speaks to a larger and more important issue of women not controlling their emotions and not expecting any consequences of their actions. And for so long we've enjoyed the privilege, which I believe like women are the gentler sex and they should be more men and women aren't the same. They shouldn't be regarded the same. So let me just preface it with that. However, women are so used to having that privilege that they just feel like they can do anything and they can go and run their mouth or something, or they can, and they don't have to worry about the same thing that a man would worry about if he was running his mouth. Does that make sense?
No, because I don't want to know how it pertains to like women in their periods.
I agree with that point. I just don't agree with the period point.
For me, I control like I know how. I'm going to say, I know how my cycles are each month, right? So my body gives me warning signs ahead of time. So not everyone takes medication, but I take ibuprofens because I'm too busy for my day to be, stopped or, I've had times where I've gone to the grocery store and I can't walk and it is unbearable. And, I would have to cut my day short, because it's painful, but I take ibuprofen to avoid my day being fucked up because I have menstrual cramps.
Okay.
And the reason why I even say that, ladies, you guys don't know, I was setting up a trap card the whole time. Basically,
you triggered my trap card.
I mean, I think she came up with a very valid critique that modern day women need to do, which is controlling their emotions, even in the face of being, in a period that might be painful. And then, in typical female fashion, a bunch of you guys went ahead and lashed at her and said, why should women have to control their emotions more when they're on their PMS? It's painful. They can't control themselves. But the reality is that, half of women, have cramps to the point that they can't operate properly. I think that's a little high because if that were the truth, then that'd be like an epidemic of women not being able to control themselves and they wouldn't be in a position of power. They wouldn't have all the same equal rights. And I think women are capable of men, just as men are. They're not optimal. That's my argument. Women are optimal in a lot of the same positions that men are. But to say that 50% of women experience cramps to the point where they can't control themselves is kind of crazy. I don't think we'd be a functioning society the way we were if women were raging lunatics when they had periods and they weren't able to control it.
Okay.
So I think she has a valid point.
because what she specifically said was, I think women need to not be upset when they're on their periods or something of that effect. Excuse me if I'm
She said
you.
effectively, when you're on your period, that should not dictate your behaviors to the point where you're acting crazy.
The reason
and PMS
why
and
I
not in
disagreed
control.
with that, and then like you said you take ibuprofen. I know people who go to the hospital during their periods. Ibuprofen doesn't work for them.
I mean,
No, wait, hold on. I'm talking about people that literally are having surgeries every 6 months.
Well, it's a
But is that a
that's
majority?
not-
That's
no,
probably a
it's not
minority.
But listen to what I'm saying.
That's
Listen
a
to what I'm
slimmer
saying.
chance.
But hold on.
That's a slimmer chance.
But like you said, your body gives you cues. I know people who can't do that. So to say that those people are not able to just be
But we're not
upset and in
talking
their
about.
Yeah,
but
he
we are.
was saying 50-50. So
50-50,
Yeah, so
but those
50% of people
and
are
then-
going to
so,
the
but
hospital?
the amount of but I'm not saying 50% of women go to the hospital. I'm saying there is a large amount of women that go to the hospital. The other parts may not go to the hospital.
No, but
they're having interventions with medication. They're having
Hold on,
interventions with doctors.
let her finish her point real fast.
She's
Go
saying
ahead,
generally.
continue on.
What were you saying?
She's saying generally, most women, if they can control it, it'd be better.
Yeah, they
However-
can control during their PMS, but to say that they can have any emotional outbursts when you're literally like, that's just weird to me. Like,
I mean, I love.
and then I'm not just anyone can have an emotional outburst. If you're upset, if you're in pain, like ask doctors and nurses. A lot of them people that they deal with in hospitals are yelling and screaming at them 24/7, not because they're mean people, not because they're assholes, because they're in pain.
Okay, I just want to say this real fast. I want to break down a third wall. I don't know if you guys caught it, but this exchange right here proves my point why so many women do not choose to self-improve and or can't take criticisms. If you guys see, she came with a criticism and a bunch of girls came to the women's defense of what she's criticizing, saying, well, that's not true. There's a minority that experiences blah, 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 blah. And I would argue this is why women perpetually don't self-improve, because for every criticism that is said, there's someone to come in to substantiate poor behavior. For example, if a woman's fat, someone's going to come to her side and say, love your curves, girl. You're fine the way that you are. Fuck these assholes. We're quite literally experiencing that right here, right now. A couple women on the panel came to the defense of a minority of females that can't control their emotions and make an argument for a minority when the majority clearly can't control their emotions. That's my point, and that was just proven literally right here in 4K.
Perfect.
There you go.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I'll turn it to y'all. Agree, disagree?
The only reason I disagree is
Sure,
because
go
it's
ahead.
period. Can I just ask the men in like the room, how
Yeah.
many of your
You're a
female...
natural contrarian. I
no,
can see
I
it.
can. Okay, it's fine. I know. I want to be a
gonna
lawyer.
say, like-
Can I ask how many men in the room genuinely have regular conversations about their female friends about periods?
Say that again.
How many men in the room have like regular conversations? I know it's
Yeah.
not a thing men experience, but I know there are some men that talk to their female friends about it, just about periods.
Yeah. So-
Hey, your period this month. How many of you are genuinely having it with your female friend? I'm not having it with a lot of my male friends. I'm just asking.
Can I go first?
So if I'm
Go ahead,
Yes.
Chris.
oh
What-
yeah,
yes.
go Chris.
Oh, so you're on a period though.
I'm sorry.
What
Say
that
that
mouth
again.
do though?
Chris. Okay, so I haven't asked friends about periods, but because let's say I'm dating a chick, right?
Mhm.
For example, I don't stop at red lights, but I'll ask about it because once again,
That's a problem.
I want to-
That's another
I'm not getting into that. but
I
go
want to
ahead.
know how it works. However, I'll say this:
Mhm.
generally speaking, most women
Mhm.
that I've talked to or seen
Mhm.
have periods that are somewhat good on some months, bad on some months. So it's up to that individual to handle that, how they handle it. I'm just saying, your example of the minority that have these major issues, that does happen, but it's a small minority. So the whole discussion of can women control themselves at periods, most of them probably can. So, I mean, it's not.
And that's why I disagree with her point. Most of them can. So to say that women can't have any, she said they don't have control on their periods, which I don't.
No, she said
agree
they
with.
need to control
Yeah,
it.
they need to.
I will say, like,
But you're saying that most women don't have that problem. So how are they not
Now, I will be
controlling
honest
themselves on
that
their
I
periods?
will be honest to know like personally that some people do get moody. You know, like my sister, she gets moody. My sister's not like me.
That's
you
a
know,
hormone imbalance.
When we're
Yeah, it's
on,
part
when
of
we're
it.
on
Right,
our,
but should she,
you know,
despite having that hormone imbalance, should
It's not
she
an
work on it?
excuse.
She doesn't
it's just
lash out.
the-
She's
the
not-
re-
she
it's the
doesn't lash
reality
out,
of what
but
it is.
Ladies,
Is it
bottom
right?
line,
No.
ladies,
everyone's
we got to
different.
stay on track here because you guys are doing a phenomenal job of moving the goalpost. The point is, she simply said women need to control themselves better when they're on their period and PMSing. So even like they shouldn't be wilding out. Their boyfriend's like, yo, what the fuck is your problem? When you're acting crazy, it shouldn't be a drastic change in their behavior versus when they're on their period versus off. That's what
Right.
she's basically saying. Then you guys went ahead and said, well, not necessarily, because a lot of girls have debilitating periods to the point where it really changes their hormones and they can't control their emotions, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I argued that can't be true, because if that was the case, then you're basically arguing that 50% of women can't control themselves for almost a week during the month, which I think is disingenuous and kind of insults the intellect and ability and capability of women. Now, with that said, I still think that men are, women are capable just like men are, just that men are more optimal in certain things that tend to deal with infrastructure. I'm not saying that men are better than women, it's just that we're better at certain things. But to say that women can't control their emotions when they're on their period and a majority of them can't, or half of them can't, I think that's kind of crazy and ludicrous, because society wouldn't be where we are now if half the humanity couldn't control themselves for a week out of a month.
So does not make her
Could you
point
imagine?
mute?
Could you?
No,
You
it
just said they can control themselves.
That's
so
what she's
doesn't
saying.
that make, but I'm saying, doesn't that make her point? Your example, doesn't that make her point mute?
No, it vilifies her point, because she's saying women need to control themselves.
But you just said if 50% of them don't deal with that little
That's the argument that you
portion.
made.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. So you said that that's a small portion. So most of them are able to control themselves.
Which is why her point is valid.
I feel like
but
as
you
you
just
grow
said
older,
women need to control themselves during their period.
Yes.
And I argued against it. I said I don't feel like it's right.
Yeah, you
at
two
all.
argued against her point.
Most of us did.
Yeah. And I'm saying that right there, you guys arguing against her point,
And
which
that's
is a
how we got to
legit
the
critique,
50-50. Yeah.
is what I'm trying to say when I say women don't hold each other accountable a lot of the times, and this is why women aren't criticized, because she came with a valid critique, but it wasn't until the men spoke up and said, no, she's actually right. Y'all were all on her neck for saying that.
I guarantee you, if your boss is in the room and you're on your period, you're going to control it. Because if you
Facts.
don't, you're going to get fired. So ultimately speaking, you can control it if you want to.
Facts.
But when your boyfriend, this nigga, hell no, nigga, da-da-da. Once again,
you're not paying me.
What's consequence? Oh, he ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, we got to peel a layer back. Why do women behave the way that they do a lot of the times? Well, I asked you guys earlier, when you did you take the criticism seriously?
That's not right.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Did you take the criticism seriously? Would the guy have left you if you had not done it? If you had continued that behavior? Most of you said he ain't going nowhere. Hence why the behavior is able to continue, because there's no real serious consequence to you continue the behavior. The only person at the table that really stopped their behavior was her, because there was a real consequence of the guy leaving her. For the rest of you guys, I'm not changing my hair color. I'm going to keep continuing to change my hair color. I'm going to continue nagging. I'm moving across the state. I'm somewhat choosing to maybe not bother my guy. Like, a lot of you guys are not changing your behavior because there's no negative consequence for changing the behavior.
I said my behavior was
changing.
communicating, and I changed that behavior.
Nigga. You left.
Okay.
So can I communicate with someone who I'm no longer in the same area with?
No.
That's what I mean. And continue.
The point is that
conversations.
women don't have an incentive to take criticism and improve, because you're going to continue to get what you're getting regardless of how you behave, is my point, is my argument. And then she kind of proved that just now, because a lot of y'all jumped on her neck when she said women need to self-improve on that. So and this show just proves itself even more. I think women give each other terrible advice in general. I think women self-perpetuate each other. They perpetuate each other staying single, because you guys tell each other things like, there's another guy out there, you're special, you can do better. No, fuck him. He's probably out here cheating anyway. Like, I think girls give very destructive advice to each other.
Can I make a comment on that?
Sure.
Because I think that's really important what you mentioned. It goes back to the whole idea of infantilizing everything these days, and that whole idea of,
I think what you meant to say is infantilizing
Thank
females.
you.
Is what you meant to say.
Yes, but also females doing that to other females. It's me. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop it right there. That is what he just. What I want to bring us to the point is.
Is that how I saw?
Yeah. Of course. Facts.
Okay. Might have found my match.
You were gonna say something?
I was gonna say I disagree with your point, because how.
Which part do you disagree with?
I disagree with the part how you say women encourage women and tell them how, like, there's another woman, there's another man out there, you got this, whatever, all that. I feel as though guys do the same thing when it comes to females, because y'all say, oh, well, fuck that bitch, there's another bitch out there. Oh, well, you got 10 hoes on this side, why do you need her? Or you can do this, you can pick up a next bitch within the next hour. Like, I feel like that's a double standard.
Well, speaking and actions are two different things. Who's initiating most of the breakups?
Can I ask a
Hold
question?
on. Let me. Who's initiating most of? You're saying that men tell each other the same thing, but realistically speaking, who's enacting on the advice more, men or women? Who's initiating the breakups?
I mean,
There you
every
go.
situation
There's
is
your
different.
answer.
Every
it's
situation
not. I
is
feel like
different.
There's your answer.
Every situation is different. So I mean,
Yeah, but in
I
general,
can't even answer that, because I don't know. We don't know who's going through what.
Doesn't that speak to
Like,
accountability? Whoever's initiating the breakup.
Even on the panel.
Look,
yeah.
No,
So,
I
like,
see it right here.
personally, I just feel like this, because the question was asked towards me. I feel like
Merch.
as
Yeah.
I mean, because I know people who have left. You know, I know guys who've left their
Who?
chicks. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, but is that a
So-
majority or a minority?
I don't know the answer to that.
Okay,
So asking my
I
question-
do. The answer is
Well-
it's a minority. A majority of the women are the ones that initiate the breakups. I mean, let's use this panel. The women that have been in relationships that were married, who initiated the divorces on this own panel? You guys did, correct?
Yes, and
Everybody.
that,
That
because
proves
of,
my point.
right.
And now, how many? And then let's have fun with this. How many of you guys have been broken up with a guy before? Raise your hands if you've ever been broken up with by a guy.
Yeah.
Like he broke up with you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How many?
Oh, wow.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now, so 2 of you have never been broken up by a guy. Fantastic. Now, how many of
Wait,
you?
You said have, right?
Yeah, a guy broke up with you.
Yes, I
Okay,
have.
cool. Now, let's go ahead and compound that. How many times have you been broken up more by a guy, or have you broken up with men more?
It's
Ah,
Gotcha.
there's probably a crazy
It's
ratio,
even.
isn't there? You probably initiated way more of the breakups than guys have broken up with you. Correct?
Mine is
no.
even.
Mine is
No.
mine is equal.
Mine's I just.
Wait, hold on. So you're
Wait,
telling me who said it's even?
Mine is
Raise a
equal.
hand. Raise a hand. Who else?
Mine's is no.
Probably.
2?
Mine's is
Okay.
literally no.
So you've been broken up with as many times as you broke up with guys?
I've been broken up with more than I've broken up with guys.
Well, that's crazy. That's a
That's
crazy
kinda-
exception to the rule. Because the majority is most girls have rarely, if ever, been broken up by a guy, and they initiate most of the breakups for most females.
I mean, she was
So-
I mean,
fire.
that's them. Like, I don't say it's not a crazy thing, but that's just not happened to me. So
That's fine. But your personal experience doesn't necessarily reflect reality all the time. That's a very big minority of the 2,000 girls we've interviewed. Very few girls have been broken up with
I
more
think
than they've broken
you're
up
the
with men.
first that I've
You're
ever
the first,
seen.
actually, that I've ever seen.
2,000 girls plus.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always.
He must be hella masculine. Goddamn.
Yeah,
I think it was the line. It was
Yeah,
probably
it's
the line. It was the
Maybe.
line.
But again,
Lying,
just because
masculine.
just because it's you
They've
doesn't mean
changed.
that's not reflective of women in general. The argument I'm making here, going ahead again, ladies, you keep getting sidetracked. The whole conversation started with women give each other terrible advice, and the reason why women give each other terrible advice is because they feel as though they can do better and replace another guy, and they typically go with what their girlfriends say, and they
That's not
initiate the
true.
breakup because women overwhelmingly initiate breakups.
That is true.
Well,
That's not true.
What's not true? What part is not true?
Shit, you said something in the beginning.
See, you're
They get-
disagreeing with something you don't even understand.
No, that's not. I didn't say I didn't understand.
They get
but
dog
you
shit
said you
advice.
said multiple things at once. The first thing you said was what?
You didn't agree.
Hold on, stop the fucking show.
What was the first
Hold
thing?
on.
What was
Holy
the? Oh my god!
shit.
You asked me a question.
Holy fucking shit. This proves my point. That I can't believe this. For you to be able to articulate an argument with someone, you must be able to not just hear what they're saying, you must understand what they're saying and be able to find weak points and go ahead and refute what they're saying. That means that you have to have a deep level. You're asking me to state what I just stated again, which you said you disagree with. That proves my point that women don't disagree with ideas. They disagree with how they feel once you state an idea. We're seeing a quintessential example of that right now. This podcast, this episode, has been a masterclass on female nature.
Your first statement, the first part of your statement, is the part that I didn't agree with.
Which
then
was?
you kept
Which
you
was?
kept going, and that's why I asked you to repeat what you just said.
You cannot articulate an argument against something if you don't even remember what it was. That's my point.
You want us to tell
Well,
Incredible.
I'm just asking to just repeat so I can answer his question. That's it.
That's the problem. You're
That's
not
the
even
problem.
you're not even going to try to refute what I said. You don't like what it was. How can you disagree with
No,
something you don't
you're-
remember? Stupid. Am I crazy?
Am I
crazy?
I agree with what Myron's saying because I really just heard this from a male earlier today. I agree with the.
Well, okay.
That's why I laughed.
I mean, it's just the topic. The topic he was reiterating the topic
That's
essentially,
that-
and so
we
was.
under- I-
I'm so sorry,
he was
Miss Jane, to cut
generalizing
y'all- uh-oh.
what she said about how women, about how basically how women give each other bad advice. And so what I'm saying is I don't agree
Hold
that
on.
women give
Hold
each
on.
other bad advice because women
There you
have
go. That's it.
women have now I'm remembering because she kind of
So he said in a nutshell, it's because women follow their friends' advice. And you said, oh,
I
hell
don't,
no.
Okay, so I disagree.
Okay.
Because I don't have a group of girlfriends that I can go run and tell my business to. And in all actuality, I feel like it's a bad thing to tell everyone your business that's going on within your relationship because you might have that single friend and she's telling you, you know, she might be envious of your relationship and then you're like, yeah, girl, go ahead. You know, so I don't me personally, I don't disclose my business with others. So I was disagreeing that women give bad advice because some women don't invite that advice.
So can we agree that you are not most women? We also agree that most women nowadays tell their friends everything. Snapchat, group chats. So ideally, you're saying the right things because you won't do it. But let's be real here. Most girls talk about their shit to their friends all the time. He's this and that. He's not being loyal. Oh, you know what? Leave him, girl. So I get what you're saying. But most women, generally speaking, are going to talk to everybody.
I would say it could be you have some women who do that, and then you have another half who, let's say, I mean, if we talk about, for example, a married woman to another married woman, we know how if we're traditionally speaking, we're gonna say, hey, work it out. Our advice to her is gonna be work it out, talk, figure out, so certain advices can be different. It's not all break up with him, he ain't shit. It's not all of that.
But can you admit that most women will take their friend's advice over their man's advice? Be honest. They don't understand their man.
I agree.
They know what's happening. So your point is mute.
No, that's not what I was saying. I was saying that some people will give bad advice. He was saying he thinks women give each other bad advice. And I was saying I don't agree. I feel like there's women out there that give great advice to help relationships as well as people who give bad advice to each other.
That might be true, but it's a smaller number. And his argument was he was saying most women follow their friend's advice. That was the whole argument.
So, I feel like
bad advice.
So once again, merch. And what I'm about to say goes with your merch. So have fun. Basically how Myron said how women like follow other women's advice, that's all based off of a feeling within the moment. And I know, I'm not saying know it, but I can say that I understand it now, considering that I just heard someone tell me today that, okay, because of how you felt within that moment determined what your actions were going to be. And that's how it made it be in the long run. And he was right. Like, how I feel within that moment determined my actions.
And then,
so notice, right? You made a very good point. When women talk to each other, what's happening is something happened prior that day or maybe a week before, and they have that emotion in them. So when they talk to you, they're like, "Yo, girl, I feel like this and that because my man's doing this." Girl, you're right, girl. So the height of emotions. So you know what? Damn, she might actually be right because we're feeling the both. It's kind of like the same emotions together, same energy. So that, what does that translate into? It means now, damn, she might be right. Fuck my man. So even though she might be thinking logically before, when she meets you, it's like same energy, same type of emotion. You know what? You might be right. So it's up for debate, but I think most women will follow their friends' advice.
Real quick, guys, come on over to YouTube. We're gonna kill the Twitch and Twitter stream and Facebook. So come on over to YouTube right now.
Cool.
We got 15,000 plus y'all watching live across Rumble and YouTube. So come on over, guys.
All
right. Around 16K. All right. Do you have anything else that you want to say to that?
I just have one small sentence.
Yeah,
you're good. Before I go to her.
Yeah, I can just close what I was gonna say, but
go ahead.
I was gonna say that you were just making like a valid point how yes, the whole emotions can play a factor, yes, and I feel like it's both. Like you have those good emotions and you have those bad emotions, and it also at the end of the day it's the choice of the person receiving what you do with that advice. So like, are you gonna sabotage? Are you gonna use that advice to sabotage what you have, or are you going to use it to ponder on it and be like, nah, like you have to also look at the person's situation who's giving you the advice. You know what I'm saying? Like what is their current situation before you just take a consideration and apply it to your situation. So,
but if I'm running off emotions, I'm not going to think about, oh, who was that person with? Are they with the man? I'm off emotions. I'm going to do the first emotion I get is to act on it. So
you're thinking in emotions.
Because I'm calling my friend. I'm calling my girlfriend for
off emotion.
Off emotion.
Not
logic.
I don't need logic. I need emotion.
I need this. Off of my friend's instinct, because I'm venting to my girlfriend. My girlfriend's going to tell me instantly either something that can be good for myself emotionally or bad for myself emotionally, but off of her instinct and emotion herself, that's what she chose to tell me. Now, once again, off of my instinct and emotion, once again, that is what I choose to do. But it all follows all from emotions.
Period. But then, emotion and then choice at the end.
Right. Okay.
And just sorry, my last point, just to end that combo, just to bring up to your point. I think most people my therapist. I agree with my therapist's point, which is most people are not qualified to give advice, whether male, female.
Wait, hold on. You got a therapist?
Yes, I have a therapist. I think everyone should have a therapist.
No, you should have a therapist.
You said you should or shouldn't?
No, you should.
I should. Oh,
Yeah.
I think everyone should have a therapist.
No, you should.
Okay, that's great. That's why I have one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Going back to the topic at hand from before, the question was, what are the top criticisms that you would give modern day women in today's society?
I believe it was your
She
turn.
said controlling PMS before we went down that rabbit hole. Go ahead. What do you think?
Entering relationships for the wrong reasons.
Okay. So, Jess?
There's so many examples. Entering relationships for financial reasons, but not actually being the person you want anything to do with, I think is a big one.
Ooh.
Yeah, we want people to be able to take care of us. And let's say you do want that traditional dynamic, but at the same time, do you just want a man who has money, or do you want a man who has money and also like
personality?
Not only that, but like, let's say you have faith. If you're a Christian person, why are you going after non-Christian people and then expecting them to follow into your beliefs? If you're a Christian woman and you know, I want to become a housewife and I want to have 3 kids with my husband and be part of a church and be part of a clergy and do all these things, don't be looking for men who are clubbing in the streets.
rappers and stuff.
Yeah, and then if you're
okay.
if same thing for men, if you're a man and you're a godly man and you're going to church, I'm not a Christian personally, I'm just saying because I know a lot of people say these specific things. If you're a godly man and you're, you know, looking for women who are of a certain faith, who believe a certain thing, who have a certain morality, look for that specific thing. And I think people, especially women nowadays, because we are looking for these key things that we're supposed to find, we kind of skip all the other things that were, you know, in the beginning. So like, not only is he able to provide for you, but what type of person is he? Like, is he slapping you around while giving you a $20 check? Is he slapping you around with the bill money, or is he like a decent dude? No one's saying he has to be like an angel and a god and Jesus himself, but like, is he a decent person? Like, how does he treat his friends? How does he treat the people around him? Things like
I'm
that.
trying to make sense of what you said because you mentioned a couple things here. Is what you're trying to say? One critique is entering relationships for financial reasons, but not wanting the man inherently. And then the second one is getting a man that doesn't align with certain values.
Yeah,
that you
getting a
adopt.
person, anyone. Yeah.
Okay, so you use the example of religion. So if you're a religious woman, make sure you get with a religious man.
Or someone who follows those moral values that your religion follows.
Okay, so it seems to me basically aligning yourself with a man that shares your values. Don't just get with them
because they have
of
money.
financial reasons or something.
That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
Only because they provide for you, but where does that animosity start to build up when that person's providing, but you guys don't have the same moral compass?
Okay, so that's your critique of modern day women. Don't get in relationships because
not just money, but anything that you don't that is going to become a problem.
Okay, what about you? What's your, if you could give one critique or maybe 2 critiques for modern day women, what would it be?
I would say like wanting a traditional man, but like not being like the traditional woman yourself.
Okay.
Like you want a man that provides, but like, I don't know, like you're not like taking care of the home and, you know, doing your duties. I feel like a lot of women like want like a man that's like chivalrous and provides and all of this stuff, but they're not doing what they need to do on their end to get that man.
Okay. Now, you know, because we don't want to just sit here and shit on women all day. What are criticisms that you would give modern men today that they need to fix? We can start with you.
It should be easy.
You're not gonna agree, but
No, go ahead.
they
What's the
gotta
biggest-
stop
what-
thinking.
What do you think the biggest critique
Stop
is of modern day
thinking
men?
with like
dicks.
their basically stop thinking with their
Stop thinking with your dicks.
yeah,
All right.
basically.
All right.
Very
So,
simple.
When you say stop thinking with your dicks, would you, I guess, because that's a very broad way to say
No,
it.
it is broad, but
Would you say stop thinking with your dick would leads to you dealing with women that can exploit you? Is that what you're trying to say? Or I don't
yeah,
want to speak for you,
like,
but
I feel like a lot of like don't lose a dime for a penny. Like I feel like guys like that's the situation that happens a lot of the times. Like they have a good woman and then they lose them because they're just like cheating is one thing, but them being sloppy about it and like letting her find out in some way or whatever, like that's just like
Stop being
disrespectful.
nosy. Goddamn.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just
Okay. So stop thinking with your dick to the point that it could hurt your life. All right. What about you? What is a critique that you would give modern day men? Good.
Just be upfront about your intentions with someone. If it's just sex, just let them know it's sex. And if it's a relationship, and then let them know it's a relationship. Don't pretend you want a relationship with someone and then just to get sex out of them when it's just sex. Because there's a lot of women that would just have sex with you if you tell them that without faking the that's not
No,
a
I
joke.
like that.
I
I
know.
like that point,
I
though.
have
I like that
trust
point.
me. There's a lot of women who, and I'm not saying every woman you walk up to is just gonna fuck you, but there are women who will have sex with you if you tell them, I'm not pursuing a relationship with you. I just want sex. There are women who will be like, all right, well, I can't be upset at him if later on in the point I want a relationship and he doesn't. He set his boundaries. But don't show up to me telling me I want a relationship and then doing all the like, oh no, but don't do the wishy-washy.
All right, let me ask you this. Do you think women can handle the truth in general?
It doesn't matter if they can handle it. Be truthful. What with them handling it has
Please
nothing to
answer
do
the
with
question.
you.
Please answer the
Does-
question.
Okay.
Can
What does that
women
have to do
handle it? It absolutely does, and I'm going to make a point here. Can women handle the truth in general?
Yes, anyone ever
Really?
humans can't handle the truth in general, I believe in general,
Okay.
but I feel like that truth, yes, they can.
Okay, so you think again, please answer the question. Do you think women in general can handle the truth?
Are we moving the goalposts with this question?
We're
like
not,
you
because I
always
asked a
say?
very direct question.
Like I said, humans cannot handle
or
the
no?
truth.
See, you're
No,
moving the goalpost.
No.
So do you think okay, how about this? Who's more likely to respond favorably to the truth? Men or women?
Neither. Men
you're
get
just a
violent.
contrarian.
Statistically,
Bro,
no.
you're just a
Statistically,
contrarian.
men get violent when they hear the truth. Am I not wrong?
Bro, that
Do women
goalpost,
not get
man,
beat and
that's
hurt
just
when
beds.
women
I
tell
don't
them the
agree with
truth?
that.
No,
I agree with that. That is a
I don't agree
statistical
with that.
fact. That is a statistical fact.
I mean, we can't really talk about statistics because we're not
That's
in
the only
people's
part of
household.
statistics I'll bring. But to say that men can handle the truth, but women can't, when there are, we find men that literally like their women will say something to them, they'll beat them,
Okay.
things like that.
I have proof that women can handle the truth.
I didn't say women can. I said humans can't.
Yeah,
But we
but
also
I would
are
argue that women
measuring
have
the
a
pathology with
have a
the
lesser
females.
propensity to accept the truth than men do. And the reason for that, my argument is that if you look at advertising, right? If you look at the way that we market to women, we market lies to women, but we market the truth to men.
Yep.
And the reason for that is because women, when you lie, they buy. There's a reason why they say, love your curves, you're special, you're a princess. We give self-propping information to women to endorse them to buy a product. With men, you have to be fairly honest and brutal with them to get them to buy, because men understand that if I'm deficient or if I don't perform, reality is going to smack me in the face. Women don't have that problem. If a woman is fat, is annoying, whatever it may be, someone will accept her. So since someone will accept her, we can go ahead and lie to women to sell to them. So I would argue the fact that we live in a if you lie, women buy society proves my point that women in general can't handle the truth. So going back to my question here, do you think women can handle the truth in general?
In general, no. But like I said, neither can.
Okay,
That's why I'm saying. There's a
but that's
catalyst
not
to
what
my
I asked
point.
you. That's not what I asked you.
My answer.
So if women can handle the truth and men want to get sex, what will they do to get the sex?
Why do you need to lie? You're a grown adult. It's sex.
This isn't about morals or anything like that. This is about if men know that women can handle the truth, right? Why would they tell them the truth if the goal is sex?
Because you just want to have sex. Just
Because
tell them you just want to have sex.
because here's the honest truth. If a guy walked up to a girl and said, I want you to have sex with me, and then I'm going to reserve the right to commit to you later on, and I may or may not like you, and I need you to be loyal to me while simultaneously having sex with other men or talking to other men. I also want you to take your Instagram down, not be a hoe, be loyal to me, and I'm going to have sex with you, then figure it out later. Do you think most men can actually do that with women? Because that's the truth.
So you remove the choice for her.
What I just said.
Choice.
Hold on, but what I just said. Will most women respond favorably to what I just said?
Yes or no?
No, they won't respond favorably because you told them the truth.
There's the
Because you told
point.
them the truth.
That's your
Yes,
answer.
that proves my point.
My
That's
point
why
is,
men lie.
but your question was, what is your critique about men? My critique is, if you want sex, just say it.
Yeah,
That's my critique. I'm not saying that morally this is right. My critique of men is, if that's what you want, stop lying about it.
I get
It's
it.
not that
But
serious.
that's
You're
not-
a grown adult.
But that's not a practical solution.
You didn't say a practical critique. You said, what is the critique about
I
men?
would say-
that was my critique of men. Stop lying if
But
you
that's
want
a
sex.
fairly, but that's a fairly delusional.
Is that that's not is delusional to tell someone I want to have sex with them instead of faking a relationship?
No, I think
because it's not practical. Most guys are
You
not
should
going
talk
to.
about it.
That's a wild statement.
Because here's
to
the thing. I say all the time, guys should be honest. But are they going to be honest?
Nope.
No, because most men don't have the sexual market value.
And that's my
to
critique.
be honest.
Is to be honest. My critique is they should. And my point is, I know that men do that, which is why I said my critique is for them to stop doing that. If I'm a man and I want to have sex with a woman, I'm going to lie to get whatever the fuck I want.
So
If
you
you're
wouldn't even
pretty-
practice what you're saying.
I didn't say, I said, if I'm a man, I have self-control.
Yeah, so if you were a man, you wouldn't even tell the truth.
We have a friend here.
Yeah.
Dog shit advice says these girls are giving men great advice. There you go. Shout out to
Again,
you.
I see your critique. That's a critique.
That was
you
just
would
my
give.
critique.
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't
your
say it
critique.
was realistic. I didn't say it was. I
Yeah.
just said my critique of men is if you want to have sex with a woman, don't lie and say you want a relationship. Just have sex.
Okay, can you
I'm
give
not
us a
giving it the
realistic critique that
morality.
guys can actually improve on? Because let's be honest, guys aren't going to do that because women don't do well with the truth in general.
Okay, I mean, I could critique women and say to stop like being
No, men,
unrealistic.
men,
That doesn't mean they're going to do it though,
men,
right?
No, men.
But that's what I mean in the same sentence. Like I could tell women to stop doing this, that, I could tell my friends to stop being hoes. Does that mean they're going to stop being hoes?
Okay.
No,
Probably
that's
not.
my critique of them to stop being a hoe.
Probably not.
Exactly.
Okay.
But when women,
But do you understand what I'm saying?
But here's the thing: it's destructive for women to be hoes. It's not as destructive for men to lie to women to get sex. Does that make sense?
No, I thought what she
A woman
was.
fucks herself up by being a hoe long term with finding a man. A man lying and getting sex from women, that will make him a better player and a better man in the future because he's having sex with more women.
But I want to point something out.
Does that
You
make
said,
sense?
yeah, but I want to point something out. You said the woman being a hoe, you gave the negativity for the women. The man being lying about sex, you gave a positive to the man. Him becoming a player, you didn't give the negativity of the body of the woman being lied to for her sexual for the sexual pleasure of someone else.
What? That's not aligned with what I was trying to say at all. What I'm saying is when the guy lies and gets the sex, that's effectively going to make him better to some degree. Yes.
What about the woman in that situation?
But because your critique was if women act like hoes, stop being hoes. I'm saying a woman being a hoe, that's actually a valid critique because that's gonna fuck them up in the long term.
Them. That's the negativity for the woman. So what's the positive for the man and her being a hoe? They have sex with her.
More sexual experience for men is good.
Exactly.
More sexual experience for women is not good.
Exactly. So, but if you're lying to women about the sexual experience and going, I want a relationship with you, and she's thinking, I'm not just gonna fuck him, I'm gonna have a relationship with him, and then you go and you do whatever the hell, then you just lied to her. So you did not give her the choice of deciding to stick around and being like, well, this man just wants to have sex with me. He's not.
That's not
lying.
the point I'm making.
But that was my critique.
You're making an argument for something that I'm not
But
talking
that
about.
was my critique. I wasn't making my critique. You asked my critique. My critique was men stop lying about sex.
And I just responded that it's not practical because men are never.
Doesn't
gonna
matter
stop
if it's practical. That was just my critique.
Yeah, but I was just.
I didn't say it was a practical critique. That was what you asked what it was.
Okay.
I see why you're single.
Jesus Christ.
I'm not single.
I see why you have a
Yeah, you are
therapist.
single.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Yeah. Oh god.
What about you?
I would
One
say
critique for men.
critique.
Back.
What could they work on?
Back there.
Trusting their own selves as a man, like their own intuition, their first intuition, the first thing they think.
Yeah.
So be confident.
Yeah, be confident in their own selves.
Yeah.
Be a real man.
Be a real
Mhm.
man. Yeah.
Okay. Could you give us an example?
An example, like let's say he's chilling at home and he's not doing anything,
Period.
and he's looking at everywhere.
Yeah.
He's like, what do I do? Like, you have to think of everything, how do I say, your room and shit.
So don't sit on your ass. Be productive.
Yeah, be
confident.
productive.
Go
Be
outside,
confident. yeah.
explore.
Okay, Chris. All right. What about you? One critique
One critique.
for men.
Let me choose wisely.
That's cool. Just say what you think.
I think that they should just express their feelings. Because if you want a change or if you want a certain expectation, let's just out of someone that you like or something, how would she know? I feel like men aren't vocal enough. They suppress how they truly feel, and they put on a tough facade. Society teaches them to be tough. Don't really don't explain. Just act. And yeah, just being straightforward and not suppressing the true feeling of a thing.
Okay. So
But
don't.
in all, sorry, can I say something?
Yeah.
In all fairness, though, it's like then when they do talk, it's like, oh, you're mansplaining, like, so
Or you're emotional,
It's
or,
tough.
Yeah.
or you're angry or something. Yeah.
And I guess what I'm saying is sometimes, women know when something's bothering. Well, not everybody, but some women know when, let's say, for example, something's wrong with her man. She could feel it, but we won't know what it is. And, we kind of ask hey, are you okay? What's going on? But men are kind of taught to kind of just suppress what they really feel. And then that can become a long-term issue within the household because she doesn't know what the cause is. She doesn't know what he's truly feeling, but he's acting or he's lashing out or he's mad or he's, and it's like, why are you mad? Like, what's going on?
All
It's
right,
just
so
a shift.
let me clarify this because you're speaking fairly ambiguously, and I think the audience and the girls on the panel are confused. Are you saying that man needs to correct poor behavior from the woman by expressing what he dislikes, or B, opening up from an emotional standpoint about vulnerabilities? Which one are you trying to say?
Just opening up in general because it
So
can
you're
go
saying
either
be
ways.
vulnerable with this girl.
Just be vulnerable, yeah.
I disagree with that, but that's fine. That's what you think what men should do.
But I agree. I think they should because this is the thing. Like you have, and I'm strictly talking about what society puts out there of men. They put it out there like men don't have to explain nothing. Men won't explain shit. It's always the woman explaining. And it's various scenarios. It doesn't have to be. I'm just generally speaking.
When you say explain their feelings.
Not necessarily their feelings, but if something's wrong.
Well, that's what I was trying to clarify earlier. Are you talking about correcting poor female behavior, explaining what's wrong and why they need to change? Or are we talking about them opening up and being vulnerable and crying about their problems?
I would say both. Just in general, just
well, the two
speaking
are
up.
vastly different.
Either way, you have to speak up on either. If something is troubling, right?
I think men should correct female behavior, but for them to open up about their vulnerabilities, I disagree with.
Okay.
I think men must correct poor female behavior. That's the only way a relationship is going to work. But if the
Right.
woman's correcting the poor behavior, I think that's when the issues arise. But I mean, so you think just opening up in general, talking more?
Yeah.
You think communication?
Yes. Just communication. Just in general.
Okay.
Good or bad.
Okay.
Can I make a comment
Yeah,
to
sure.
that? Just that I think that's a valid point. However, I think it's also worth mentioning that it seems like a trend when men do open up, they're often mocked like, "Oh, come on, just man up," and that's why men usually express their emotions, at least from my understanding, you can correct me, between other men. Like that's more so where they can get
Open up.
that. Yeah.
Can I piggyback off? I'm gonna jump on that. I feel like there, when it comes to men expressing their emotions, whatever. There just has to be the right there has to be the right woman that understands him because I'm not gonna if any male, brother, cousin, uncle, if anybody, a male off the street says, "Hey, I need a moment to vent. Can you talk to me?" I'm not gonna tell him, "Man up." No, I'm not gonna do it. No,
Of course not.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm
you're not
saying.
supposed to.
Yeah, you would hear him out. But what we're saying is that you would hear him out, and then your views or your respect for him might go down depending on what he opens up about and the vulnerabilities that he exposes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you'll hear him out. I'm not saying that you're an evil person. You won't hear a man out. But what I'm saying is that your approach and or your view of him might change to a negative perspective
Can I ask why you
based on what he
have
might
that
say.
opinion?
Why do I have that
Yeah.
opinion? That men shouldn't be vulnerable to women.
No. Why you believe that a woman will no longer respect him in certain vulnerable?
Well, it depends on what the guy is
conversations?
vulnerable about. But the reason why is because women look for strength in their man, and they look for a
leader.
rock solid leader, a man that is able to control his emotions, a man that's able to be a leader, a man that's decisive, a man that isn't necessarily fazed by external things that might fuck him up. Because since women look to men as leaders, the man's got to be able to lead regardless of how he feels. So opening up to a woman who, quite frankly, is a subordinate of yours, I know people might say that's sexist, but if you want a leader, you are by default a subordinate of the leader. Since the woman's in a subordinate position, she's not in a situation and or in an authority capacity to listen to that man's problems. And on top of that, she doesn't really have solutions for a lot of times because the problems that men experience are uniquely masculine in essence, and women typically don't understand the masculine experience.
So I will.
So I don't think women are equipped for and or can handle masculine problems, especially when it's coming from someone that they're supposed to be a subordinate to. So if someone, right, and I use the example of, like, let's say we're in a battlefield, right, and your commanding officer comes in and starts crying, like, I don't know what to do. These bullets are scaring me. Oh my God. You would lose respect for that commanding officer, and you would go ahead and start to do things differently, and you would approach warfare from a
little
different
more,
perspective.
yeah,
You
fearful.
wouldn't respect their opinion.
Yeah.
You would go ahead and just do it on your own. That's how I think women perceive men a lot of the times. If I can't lead you through the battlefield of life, right? Because life has a lot of difficult things. you're not going to respect me as a commanding officer, and therefore you will either A, go AWOL, right? Absent without leave, and go find another commanding officer that's better, or you just won't respect me in general and you'll stay with me and fight, but you'll pick and choose when you want to listen to me, which is both equally terrible.
Can I have
Yeah,
one
sure, go
question
ahead.
based on the point that you
Go
just
ahead,
said?
that's
Just a
fine.
question. Do you believe there's any form of vulnerability that will actually make you more respected that a man can have with in a relationship with his wife, woman, girlfriend, whatever?
Women only respect vulnerability when it's been overcome.
Okay,
I'll give
when
you an
it's been
example of
overcome,
that.
okay.
Let me give you an example of that. Let's say I went through some bullshit,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I overcame it and now I'm better for it.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't experience the pain that came from that vulnerability. You just saw how it made me a better man.
Mhm.
That's when vulnerability works. For example, I tell you a story of me overcoming some trials and tribulations. I used to be poor. I went through this situation. It was a really dark time for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's only sexy when I overcame it and now you enjoy the fruits of me overcoming it. But when
Not
I'm going
in the
through
situation,
it,
yeah.
exactly. But when
Okay.
I'm going through it,
Mhm.
it would not be in my best interest to tell you about it, and or even worse, have you experience that
With
dark time
you.
with me.
Okay, so
No,
can I say
understand.
that's why I
something?
always famously say, right, and a lot of people have said this, but I say it all the time on this podcast, women don't build, they move in. And women would prefer to be with a man that is established, that has everything created, and they kind of come in and accentuate that,
Mhm.
not necessarily build up. Are some girls capable of building with a man? Absolutely.
Mhm.
But if given the choice, women would rather wait at the finish line and pick the winner.
Okay, this is how
I just wanted to
I
know your
have
thought
I have
process.
a point of view on that.
Yeah.
I feel like the
Merch.
world is about balance. And the woman, if you are, first of all, if you're with the right person, you know, I can't even just, what I'm about to say is not even just for just any relationship.
Sure.
If you are with the right person, they should be able to balance you out to the point where if something is going wrong, it's not that she can help you with that masculine thing, like physically, you know, it's not that she can go into the battlefield and do these things, but she can have that reassurance that you probably have been looking for, or that that voice in your head that you've been like battling. Like she could probably ease that, you know, or you don't have to battle against yourself anymore because she's that balance for you. If only you just talk to her and say,
Let me ask you a question. Who am I better off? Let's say you're the commanding officer in that situation and you're wartime, right? And you're fighting off the invaders or whatever. Who would be a better person to speak to? Your subordinates who are directly looking to you for leadership, or talking to another commanding officer who also has a platoon of people underneath him? Who would be able to better understand your circumstances?
give me the two options again. No, seriously.
Can I
No,
say-
seriously.
If you're in a situation where you are the commanding officer over 100 soldiers, right, and you're in wartime and you're battling, who is going to give you better advice based on your situation? The subordinates that are looking to you for leadership, or, and you risk them not losing respect for you, or another commanding officer who also has a platoon of 100 soldiers underneath him?
I don't know.
It would be the other commanding officer because he understands your
Because-
trials and tribulations
Yeah,
to a
and
better
then-
extent than your subordinate. So he would be able to properly advise you on how to go through it. Even better
Now-
yet, maybe a more seasoned commanding officer.
Now,
This is why
question,
I
what
tell
happens
men,
about
hold on. This is why I tell men they need to speak to other men about their problems, preferably men that are more experienced than themselves. Women can't handle masculine problems.
But it's not, but women are nurturers. And
Yep.
what I mean by that is it's not about handling that masculine thing. It's about her being able to nurture the, how can I say, when I was saying about like relieving that stress,
Yeah.
that it helps that man. And then he can see clearly at that point. It's not that she's like, hey, you should lead these men this way and you should lead these men that way. It's not that, but it's she will come to him, I'm sorry, and say, what is troubling you? You know, like how can I ease that so that you can see clearly? That's what she's supposed to do.
Make a sandwich.
The balance. She's the balance. So
How about not be annoying, make a sandwich, comfort him, but he doesn't necessarily have to tell you about the problem. You could just say, I had a stressful day, I need you to do this, and that's
right,
it.
something simple as that. Now, if you say, okay, hey, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. Like today was fine, but it was something troubling, and I guess I'm saying it from this point because I've actually been in a situation where, you know, the man is carrying so much and he wants to do it on his own because
Yeah.
he feels like he has to, and the moment that it's expressed, then you know she's able, or I was able to then give some type of clarity that he was missing, or some type of, and it's like, oh, okay, and then he was able to conquer it even better than
You like
what
to
he
talk
would've-
a lot. Sometimes men don't want to talk. How long that work?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Make me
It
a
doesn't
sandwich.
have to be that day. It doesn't have to be, but I mean,
You said you wanted
generally
the
speaking,
same day, right there and then.
well, if it's that day, I was giving an example. Yes. I was giving an example. Yes. So if we're talking if we're talking about several scenarios, then yes. Like, you don't have to necessarily talk about it. I was just giving an example. Like, hey, you've had something.
See, you're
going
saying
on.
that, but here's the thing. And this is what I mean when I say that women have a very narcissistic view of the world and whatever. You're speaking from a solipsistic standpoint. And what I mean by that is you're speaking from your perspective. And what I'm saying is that though you might be okay with it and you might be able to nurture a man back after his problems, a lot of women won't. They'll be like, what the fuck? This dude's a bitch. Handle your problems. I don't want to deal with them.
And that's when they're wrong.
I don't think that they're necessarily wrong for that. It's just that men and women are different and women aren't necessarily built and or capable of solving masculine problems a lot of the
But
time.
see, but that's what I was saying about the balance. Like that is granted he's with the correct person. If you aren't with the right person and you're just with somebody, whatever, of course you're not going to get that relief. Of course you're not going to get.
All right, would it be fair to say that men are supposed to be masculine and women are supposed to be feminine? That's how they balance each other?
Of course.
Okay. Isn't a tenement of masculinity emotional control? And a tenement of femininity is being emotional?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what the hell do I look like being emotional, crying to someone who's emotional and I'm supposed to be the
But
rock?
you're not crying to someone. You're crying to a person who's your
A
balance.
person that is emotional, that is supposed to be
And
the
she knows
opposite
what
of
to do with
myself.
that.
No, she does not. Because women can't even control their own emotions. How the hell are they going to control a man's emotions?
That's not true.
No.
If she can just like, okay,
Hold
if
on.
we're talking about
a bunch of the responses that you've given to me saying empirical things that are true were emotional. Hell, you couldn't even recall what I said. The only thing you could say was, what did you say again? No, I disagree with that. You weren't disagreeing with my points. You were disagreeing on how my points made you feel. That literally proves my point that women are emotional creatures.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
So since women are emotional, right, they're more inclined to act off emotions. I'm saying when men are emotional, bad things happen. Men need to control their emotions.
So wouldn't you say if women are emotional beings and he's going through an emotional problem, wouldn't she know how to help that emotional?
No, because emotional men are not attractive. He should go to other men with his emotional problems because they're better equipped to handle the issue. Just like I said, a commanding officer. Another
You
one
can't-
talking to another
but you're
commanding
putting
officer.
work into like his personal life. We're not talking about work. We're talking about his personal life after when he comes away from the world. If he should have the space to be emotional when he's at home with his spouse. He should be able to do that.
You're saying he should and could, but what
He
I'm
doesn't
saying is
want
that
to.
most women don't respond favorably to emotional men.
Well, but also, can I add to that?
Yeah.
So, the way that a woman can support a man is unique to only a woman, and we've tamped out a lot of those qualities within us. However, it's the same with a woman. You get support from other women in ways that a man can't give you that same support. Men, there is something women don't understand, the brotherhood between men and the place that the importance that it plays in their lives, and that the way that a woman comforts a man and raises her man up is unique to women. It's not necessarily solving the problem, and regardless of whether or not it makes the man look unattractive to you, that's your commitment to your man, and you have to be there for him, even if it's turning you off at that moment, you know? So
I don't believe every woman is different, to each his own.
Yeah.
I don't personally believe that a man being in his sacred place, releasing that emotional side is a bad thing.
No, I
Me
don't think it's
personally,
bad.
I don't think
Yeah.
that. I'm just saying
You
they
don't
should
think,
be.
or you know?
Huh?
You don't think, or you know?
I don't think, and that's just my opinion.
What I'm saying is that it's not that it's bad or good. What I am saying is that it will probably lead to a problematic outcome with the woman.
How so?
Because women are emotional creatures, and when a man is emotional around his woman, that quite effectively demonstrates an inability to control the situation, hence why he is responding with emotion and saying, I don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. I'm sad, I'm scared, whatever it may be. And that is inherently unattractive to women. because women look for masculinity in the man, and a tenement of masculinity is controlling your emotions, regardless of how you feel.
It's still a balance. It's still a
Yeah, she
balance.
balances him out by being feminine. He balances her out by being masculine.
But you can't.
And a cornerstone of masculinity is control, emotional control.
Because a
you have to
woman's
also-
not going to feel as safe with a man
There you
who's
go.
not in control of his emotions.
There you go.
So
Only women are granted the privilege of being emotional and being able to act in an erratic fashion. Men are not. There's consequences for being an emotional man. You're looked at as less attractive. You're looked at as volatile. You're looked at as a loser, etc. Men must
And I
control
guess-
their emotions.
And I guess I'm coming from a place too where like I've had just a man tell me like, hey, like you've helped me tap into that side of me that how can I say?
All right,
In order
stop.
to love someone,
Where's that man now?
he's still here.
Yeah.
He's
Really?
Where's he at? Are you with him?
Yes.
The guy that you're with right now?
Yes.
Y'all been
I
dating for
feel
just a few months, right? Okay.
I feel like
see.
that's because that's
See how
her
long that
personal
lasts.
thing and she values
just-
communication.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'm just going based off of
And yeah,
yeah.
that's perfectly fine.
experience.
Do you want to continue with
But
the
your
other
experience isn't
question?
indicative of how other women operate.
But what
A lot of
basic-
girls hate emotional men.
but I feel
You
like
might
that's
like
because
it, maybe, but most girls don't.
I'm a traditional woman. I love a masculine man. Like that's what like I'm not a
No,
masculine
no.
man is no. But when he comes home, you're
Oh
getting
my
it
God.
confused. No, you're getting it confused.
No,
What I'm
we're not
saying
getting
is
confused. You're about to set yourself up in a trap.
no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Because you're not even letting me finish my point. You're not letting me finish my point. He was talking about when he goes to work and he does these things and he's commanding whatever. I'm saying when he comes home, he should have the freedom. I should allow him as his woman. Allow him the freedom to be able.
allow?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I should give him the space, the space to feel comfortable. That giving him that peace and that sense of mind that whatever goes on, he can, he can tell me because what tends to happen is when they bottle those things up and they're too masculine and it can't like just sit it down for a second to know how they feel or know why they're mad. It then triggers the household. I'm strictly just talking about when they are behind closed doors and they have come away from the world. They should have that freedom to be vulnerable. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, so you're not necessarily saying he has to get it from a woman. He
No.
needs to be in it, process his emotions.
Yeah, I was just saying
Okay.
the woman balances him to help him.
Oh, so you
and-
do
and-
mean with
and-
a woman.
Yeah, she doesn't.
She can balance the plate with the sandwich on it to my table, and I'll be happy. Thank you.
I think.
All right. What about you? What do you think men need to improve on? Or yeah, in general, what is the criticism you would give modern day men?
Well, I would say that they need to hold women accountable
Okay.
to help bring the balance back. I mean, this is really destroying our society.
Do you think if your husband had held you accountable with your issues in a more stern fashion, your marriage would still be here?
No, I don't think that applies to my situation. And I know what you're going to think, and I get it. It's fair.
Well, he didn't go anywhere when you had a temper problem.
Did he hit you?
I can't talk about it. I really can't talk about it.
I mean,
But
it's actually sure you can.
Oh,
but it's anyway.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
So I understand, and I understand how it seems, and I get it. I get that. But
I don't get it.
well, it's a situation I'm not going to go into. I can't legally, and I won't.
But it was 4 years ago, right? That you divorced him? It's not done yet?
No. It is part of the legal agreement.
So you signed an NDA
Basically,
to not talk about it and just throw it away.
I mean, that was part of it. I guess you could describe it as an NDA.
Okay.
All
But
All right, then we can move on then.
We got you.
So you think guys need to be able to put their foot down with girls? All right, what about you?
I feel like
Merch.
what I would like guys to know from my personal opinion is social media is not your reality. Like to men, social media is not your reality. The same Instagram baddie female that you see, you 9 chances out of 10, you may not get.
Nani?
that's fine. And that's fine. But there's also someone outside of your house in the real world that you can get. So understand to men that social media is not your reality.
Okay. Who do you think is more negatively influenced by social media, men or women
Women.
in general?
I'm gonna say women.
Women.
Well, I was asking her specifically.
I would say men,
You
actually.
think so? Why so?
Because men have more, like, men don't, like, okay. Fresh, for example, if Fresh's page doesn't, if I don't see exactly what I want to see on Fresh's page, I'm gonna keep swiping. Like, I'm gonna just keep scrolling.
Facts.
Like, it's not, if Fresh's page doesn't bring me any attraction or anything that I feel like would make me want to be around Fresh, I'm just gonna keep scrolling and keep going about my day.
Okay. Are you saying that as you as a woman looking at Fresh's page as a man, or are you saying if Fresh was a female and you were the man, which example? What are you trying to say here?
I'm saying it for basically both, but I'm saying you're asking me who has the most problems within social media, the man or the woman, and I'm saying men.
Yeah, and then you said because you gave an example, but I wasn't sure if you were referring to Fresh from
I'm saying
a
it
female
I think
perspective or a male.
as a man, and she's a woman, right?
Right.
No, then she then I gave the other example. She said no, it's both. I was like, wait, what?
You didn't mean both.
She said both.
Okay, I'll rephrase it. So
You gotta
basically,
say it properly, yeah.
right, I'll just rephrase it. So basically, what I mean is that if it's what I'm saying is how men have no chance on social media.
Yes.
I should rephrase it. Right, I was wrong. So sorry. I was.
No, you were just confusing.
I can accept my accountability.
No, yeah, you're just confusing. It's not that you're wrong.
Basically, to paraphrase it, you're saying for a guy, if I'm a girl looking at his page, I gloss over it, I don't see what I want, on to the next.
Yes.
So if a guy's harder because options
Yes.
are pretty much like screwed because the girl has multiple options and she could just turn you over like this because there's many guys with better pages than you.
Yes.
And most guys won't have the option because their page sucks on Instagram.
So
or
what
social media.
that kind of, because she's saying men think social media is real, but it's really the girls that are ones that are negatively impacted by the social media because they have more choice or they have a higher illusion of choice.
She's saying men are the ones that are losing because they don't get options on social media and it's not reality.
Exactly.
They should go outside and find girls there because that's more of reality to them because social media is kind of like a perception
Exactly.
world.
Yeah.
Okay, I get what you're saying now, but that's not what.
That's
she
not
said.
what I said.
Yeah.
But he helped me just paraphrase it so I don't
trying to
sound
get
stupid.
there.
I think you walked her too.
I was gonna get there. He just helped me get there.
Okay, so you're saying you don't got a chance on IG as a guy, or you don't have as much of a chance as a woman. Go out there in real life.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Which gender do you think is more delusional though from social media, men or women?
Women.
From my point of view, I'm gonna say women.
Okay.
Women are more delusional on social media.
Off of social media. You would say.
Off of social media.
Okay,
Yes,
so
I'm sorry. Off of social media. Women are more delusional off of social media.
Okay. So get off that Instagram and go talk to girls in real life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's
Do
your
exactly
criticism. Okay. You could have just said that instead of saying
I could've, but I would.
What is the chat saying, bro? Superchats.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We can go ahead and hit that. And
15 up, Chris. Goddamn.
Yeah. We got here. Yvette Simonis goes, question for ladies, raise your right hand if you sold your box before, and if yes, how much was it for 1 hour of your time? All right. Has anyone here ever sold box?
No.
Don't cap.
No. I would hope not.
Okay.
Have any of you ever had a sugar daddy?
No.
No.
Have any? Yes?
Yep.
Who has?
I have.
You have?
Okay.
Okay. How was that?
That was nice.
Wait, was it the guy that you were seeing before?
No, that was a relationship.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So she had a sugar daddy.
Yeah.
All right. Was he here in Miami? Or he flew you out somewhere?
No, it was Miami. It was Florida. Because not technically Miami.
So he would flew you out every time, or you would drive to him, or what?
I drive. It wasn't. I got paid to drive, like gas and car. Like I wasn't paying my car note, so
Yeah.
like, he was paying my car note. So
Yeah.
Damn, bro. So she could choose to be independent and get a sugar daddy at the same time, bro. Girls live life on
Legendary,
Instagram.
bro.
It's
it
awesome.
wasn't at the same time. Wait, don't.
But I'm saying, like,
I know what you mean.
But what I'm saying it's selective. Like, you could be independent, but at the same time, if you don't want to be independent, you can go get a guy to.
But that's not
be a sugar daddy.
sustainable. That's the problem.
If you're hot enough, it's sustainable. Trust me.
Yeah.
All right, Roy
40.
Sensei 100 goes. Keep on thriving, guys. Thank you for the great content. Question for ladies: name 3 states. All right. I guess we could start. Yeah, we can start right here. Since you suck at saying what you got to say, so we'll give it to you first, so you can get the best chances.
3 states in America.
Name 3 states in the United States.
And you can't name Florida.
She was
already
about
know
to
that.
name that.
Yeah,
You
go
know
ahead.
what? Okay. Georgia, Alabama, and Texas.
All right,
Okay.
cool. What about you?
Hey y'all.
y'all.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
Arizona, Arkansas, Connecticut. Can I not say Connecticut?
You're fine. Yeah, you can. Arizona, where?
Arkansas
and Connecticut.
All right.
California, Washington, Georgia.
Okay.
Okay. Well, someone said Georgia. You
Yeah,
got someone
Georgia's
besides
already
Georgia?
said.
Okay,
Yeah.
you gotta say one more.
One more.
Say one more.
Yeah.
Louisiana.
What's that?
Louisiana.
Louisiana. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. What about you?
Ohio.
No.
She's so quiet.
She's slick with it.
Come on, Dora.
I'm only thinking
Dora.
Virginia right now.
Come on, Dora. You explore.
Pull up your map.
I'm screaming loud.
Yeah, pull up your map, Dora.
Virginia,
can't.
California.
Collab.
Wait, what
They
you
said
say? I
California
can't hear you.
All
already.
right, guys. Can we let her speak, please? Go ahead.
Virginia.
Yep.
Okay.
Cali.
They already
Not sure it's
said
Kelly.
though.
Two more.
Delaware.
Okay.
And
One more.
I know, right?
We believe in you.
I believe in me too.
I was joking.
What's that place called? I forgot. LA. I'll just say LA.
That's California.
That's a city, though. That's not a city.
Go right next to it. What's the state right next to it?
I know it's very
All
new.
right. She said, what about you?
Iowa, West Virginia, and Kentucky.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
Chicken.
North Dakota, South Dakota, and Utah.
Damn, you no, you
'Cause I
said
had it
states
ready.
right in the middle. The people know what he said.
I was looking for
Hey,
3 states. That's what I thought about
Lord.
the ones you weren't gonna mention.
All right. Let's go here with Fresh the Balls. Why do you pretend I don't exist, Fresh? You're reading the chats like a shorty giving unenthusiastic head. Shorty 3 down from Fresh. What is the difference between your box and a ribeye steak? Fresh would like to eat them both. Do it, big homie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You have anything you want to say back to Fresh the Balls?
Don't respond.
Yes, sir.
Don't respond.
That's okay. You can respond. Go ahead.
Don't respond.
Get him fresh. Get him.
No, bro.
Oh, my bad.
If you try Honduran food, you know.
Wait, if you try Honduran, you'll know?
If you try Honduran food, you'll understand.
What the fuck you say?
I mean,
Did you had a down the mark or anything like that? Like,
well,
can we just go on?
Fresh, don't talk about
I don't think that deserves a Don DeMarco. That deserves okay, we'll continue on. Jeremiah Dunn goes, my new book and idea, instead of why women deserve less, next could be why women are all the same. LMFAO, you guys are single-handedly proving this. Yeah, there's been a lot of things that will prove.
Black Wolf Inc.
Was somebody else has, sorry, you're
Oh, I said that's how we feel too.
Yeah, all men are the same.
yeah,
that's what they feel.
But the difference is that men don't sit there and say that they're special and they're different like women do, though. Guys admit that we're all the same. Black Wolf, $50. I gotta say to the mustache dude in the back next to Scripadora, the BBC Explorer, that I love the new Super Mario Brothers movie. Your mustache makes me say, "It's a me, I'm Mario." Oh shit!
That been talking about me.
You killed my brother, you sons of bitches.
First
Now
of
some
all,
robot
this is
chicken.
lip liner
Okay.
for all y'all funny honey.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
All right. I thought it was mustache.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. Maziam, Ethiopia cap on all the creative director, choreographer stuff. Her answers gave it all away. Freelance dancer for hire, casted for one-off at best. The babies camp don't know you. She's also going to be very vague and put together the entire show. You have anything you want to say back to him? He's trying to say you a capper.
Stop the cap.
Okay. So this is something that I don't have to explain. You know, there's some people out there who want you to kind of elaborate and like I know what I've done. I know my resume, and it's just that simple.
Okay.
All right, cool.
FT3 says middle girl's husband cheated because he realized other women aren't walking around with painted mustaches. What the fuck is that?
Oh.
Middle girl's husband cheated because he realized.
Y'all be stinking at my lip liner, but that's okay.
Okay, IRS. Ladies, for the love of God, don't operate any heavy machinery that carries passengers or toxic waste, or any sort your decision-making skills and ability to think on your feet is on the level of Bobby Boucher. Boucher?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Bobby Boucher, Adam Sandler.
Hey, also, guys, Crypto Mindset course is open. Go ahead and get in there, guys. If you guys are tired of being brokies, because to be honest with y'all, as you guys can see, girls build, they don't move in. No, sorry, they don't build, they move in. You guys got to fucking build. So stop being a brokie. Get in there, man. Invest in cryptocurrency. They're going to teach you exactly what plays to make. live with a bunch of webinars. They're going to go for the next 2 weeks. I think it begins May
6th.
May 6th. All right.
Honestly, bro, invest in yourself, man.
Yeah, invest in yourself. Anything else you want to tell the people, Miguel, about it?
Yeah, definitely. Sign in, dude, and learn about crypto. We're about to make some serious money. All our guys made a ton of money, and then make these women financially irrelevant.
Charlie in the back there chilling.
All right, get in there, guys. Stop being brokies. George Kyprios goes, Kyprios goes all the way from Australia. This panel is uglier than my rugby team. I'm off to the gym now. F&F No More podcast. God damn, nigga.
You ain't even got a profile picture, nigga.
Oh, man. All right, long live gaming. There's no such thing as a former pathological liar. Oh, shit.
Oh, shit,
You have anything you want to say back to him?
Ask your mom.
Oh, okay. Shout out from Taiwan. Hey, shout out to Taiwan.
Shout out to you, bro.
3 Diglets. Shut up, bitch. Rocky Mafia like La Roca. As JFE goes, you're right. Women are nurturers. They're also emotional. So that same nurturing that she'll give me during my pain, she'll also use it as a weapon to cut me when she's emotional.
Ooh.
Expect women to be women, regardless of the type of woman she is. That's a good point.
That's facts, though.
A lot of girls get all that emotional crap from you, then use it against you. You bitch ass nigga.
Yeah.
You cried all the time.
Yep.
You have anything you want to say back to that?
Like that just goes back to the type of woman you're with. Like it's that means she's not the right one for you.
She moonwalked out of that one.
But no,
No, seriously.
he just said expect women to be women. So she may be cool with you at the beginning, but she may turn on you at the end.
I mean, she should never turn on you.
I mean,
She shouldn't, but she
wish-
might, and she probably will.
She will.
Nah.
You can make the argument to divorce your guy, you turned on him.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda.
No, I got no.
Yeah.
That a situation happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was also abusive as well. So that was not something that wasn't an ideal situation. But if we're talking about where there's love between the two,
Love comes and goes, right?
What's love got
it just
to do
depends.
with it?
Depends
So,
on where the mindset is. 'Cause
nothing
this
is
another
constant.
thing. If we're talking about the woman, I believe women love harder.
Listen, all 3 of you guys got married, and all 3 of you guys divorced.
Two.
Two.
And then first of all,
Cry me a river,
people crack jokes about divorce and shit, but y'all will you won't understand. That's how you truly get to know a person. That's how if you truly it shows, are you truly there? You're one now. Like
right.
your bullshit is their bullshit. So it's
I
just
disagree with the point that women love harder than men do. I think men actually love women more because there's less prerequisites for a man to love a woman. And the thing is that men tend to love, I would say, shout out to Rolo, love idealistically versus women love opportunistically.
Yeah.
But
women love
men
men
always
for what they provide. Men love women for real.
Yeah.
No, I don't
No?
I don't believe that.
Why not?
I believe that now if you are talking, let's say piggybacking off what you said
Sure.
about the guys who do love harder. Well, I feel they allow the one that they did love to run away because they won't truly.
If the woman ran away, doesn't that mean that she clearly didn't love him as much as he loved her?
No, that's not true. Turmoil was created. Some
By
type
you.
of say again.
By you.
You said by you. What?
By you.
By
I said
you?
by
No.
you.
No. No. Just okay. If I'm providing examples,
Okay.
just anger could play a factor. People not how I was saying earlier about not being vulnerable with one another. That causes turmoil. One being standoffish when it's supposed to be you and the other person, and you're kind of just wanting to be all to yourself. But it's like, okay, certain people just shouldn't be married in the first place.
Like you?
Everyone's not. I
The
like
reason
being
why
married,
I don't think,
and I don't.
the
I don't
reason why I
regret
don't
it.
think
That's
that it's
cap.
the same is because
Cap.
men, right? Men are only loved under the premise they provide value. Women
Not-
are loved regardless if they choose to provide value or not. That's why I say that.
Now, okay, let me talk about my current situation.
You can't argue
Okay,
that.
I mean, that's
It
again,
depends.
remember how I'm not speaking about you specifically. Maybe
Right.
you might be an exception to the
And
rule
that's-
where you'll love a man idealistically. But what I'm
Mhm.
saying in general, if I line up 100 women,
Okay.
most women are going to love a man based on the premise that they provide value first. A woman cannot love a man until he provides value first. Then she'll fall in love with him. But with men, we don't have the same I guess, rigors that women have to adhere to for us to love them. Is she hot? Is she attractive? Not a pain in the ass? Is she loyal? Cool. You're probably going to get love from a guy to a degree. Women, on the other hand, you got to check all these boxes to
Right.
get love from them.
Right.
That's why I'm saying.
Right. And
maybe-
if
Yeah.
we're talking about you saying like if you line up those women and then
Yeah.
I can agree on that.
Yeah. So you can't use yourself as an exception to the rule to
Right.
make an argument.
And then when I speak, I just speak from experience. That's all. And I just speak from
Got it.
I don't
Emotional.
I understand that, but speaking from experience significantly
Right.
it limits your ability to be objective because you're going off of your own personal experience, and your personal experience might not necessarily be reflective of the world. I'll give you an example. Right, I'm multi-millionaire, famous, right? Whatever. Can I sit here and say world hunger isn't real because I don't experience it? That'd be asinine to say that, correct? Because it's definitely real, even though I don't experience it. That's the example I would give why it's very foolish to use your own personal experiences in general talk conversations, because your own experience might not be reflective of reality. It could be or it could not be, but you got to go off of the generalities, not your personal experiences.
Right. And I only go over on I go based off of my experiences when you were speaking on like my opinion.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah,
So
but
but
you
if
made
we're
a
generally speaking,
you made a fairly general statement saying women love harder, and I'm that's why I'm pushing back on it.
okay.
If you said I love harder, then there might be an argument to be made. But I say in general, women only love men under the premise that they provide value.
Well,
and this isn't just humans. This is all mammals.
Yeah.
You look at all mammals; they all women practice Briffel's law. As soon as that guy no longer provides value, they don't go fuck. They move on to the stronger male.
Forget
Lion
about
comes
it.
in, and beats up the male lion of the pride. She goes into heat and fucks that other lion and lets that other lion come in and kill all the other ones. Hell, you go into even smaller, into smaller animals. You look at hyenas. The female runs everything, and they pretty much use the guys as an expendable commodity, right, to help her hunt and everything else like that. The black widow spider, if I'm not mistaken, after she mates, she kills the man off. So in the entire animal kingdom, men are only given sexual access and/or love under the premise they provide value. And I think that's okay, but we got to acknowledge this cold hard reality that women are natural extractors of male value.
So my question is, if you mentioned how men love harder. If men love harder, why do they sabotage?
It's actually women that sabotage relationships because they're the
I
ones
don't agree.
initiating the breakups.
No, I don't agree with that.
We
I
just,
mean, this is a fact that women initiate breakups more than men do. This is a fact.
Just for the point.
I mean, I know you made you asked us a question as far as has anyone raise your hand if anyone has been through someone who's broken up with them or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I was just kind of saying it was like a equal thing on my behalf. And she was saying,
yeah, she's the exception to the rule. Crazy. I've never met a girl that's been broken up with more than she's broken up with men. That's a first.
Right.
Congratulations. But
so I'm just talking about. So my question.
The usual ratio is like if I was to ballpark it is girls have pretty much broken up with 10 dudes before they've been broken up once.
So my question is based off of the guys who sabotage. Like not speaking on like why if a man loves that woman so much that he claims, why does he sabotage it? Why does he,
because he just want to get up the next day and do something different. Like,
how do they sabotage? Be specific. What do you mean by this sabotage?
I mean, I don't know. You're
I mean, you made the arguments substantiated.
Yeah,
you talk. How do they fuck it up?
You talk a lot.
Yeah, fuck.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
Just
you do.
saying.
Thanks. I've been like that all my life.
Okay, but how do they sabotage it? Specifically.
That current woman not being enough, that woman that he claims he loves so much not being enough, and he has to go test the waters. And
infidelity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's a cold hard reality for you. You're never going to sexually satisfy your guy by yourself.
It's not about sex. I'm not speaking on sex.
Infidelity.
I'm talking about emotionally. Oh wait, you did. Yes, you did. You did.
Yes.
My bad. That's not what I meant. No. I'm speaking on like emotionally. Like you have to emotionally love somebody. You love someone. Why does your mind have to think about anybody else? Not in a sexual act.
Well, what I said before, typically when men cheat, it's sexual only.
Yeah, are you talking about emotional cheating?
Yeah.
It's sexual.
Confused.
Like
Okay.
when men cheat, a lot of times it's sexual. Like they still love their girl the same. They just want new pussy. That's what it comes down to. It's the woman that sabotages it because she finds out about the cheating and breaks it up. I mean, hell, you even did that in your situation. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you the man that you divorced, though, still loved you and didn't really care about that other butch to the same level he cared about you. Mm-hmm. But women have an issue with accepting the fact that men can compartmentalize sex and make it physical only. You can't do that, which goes to my
Why
argument
is
I
it
always make that women lack empathy skills. Y'all have sympathy, but you guys severely lack empathy.
I feel like no one on both ends, you know, like if you both say you love someone, neither one of y'all should be indulging in somebody else. Because at the end of the day, that means y'all just aren't.
No, you shouldn't be indulging in anyone else because you're a woman.
That's not true. The man shouldn't be indulging in nobody else either. Because
well, that does not change the fact that he can still love you while indulging in someone else, but you cannot love him while indulging with someone else. That's the difference.
But why? What is the
Because
logic?
men and women are different. Women typically tie sex to emotion significantly. So since sex is tied to emotion, it's very difficult for a woman, right, to have sex with another man or even look at another man, to be honest with you, when she's with a man that she truly admires and respects. But it is not difficult for a man to look at another woman or even have sex with a woman when he's with a woman that he loves, admires, and respects. We're not the same. Your loyalty is required. My loyalty to you when it comes to sex is fairly elective because I can pick and choose the girls I want to have sex with and the girls that I love.
So it's okay,
different.
basically. So for the male, it's okay for the male to do whatever.
It's not destructive to the relationship like it is when a woman has sex with another man.
It is. I mean, it
So,
just depends on the house.
I just basically want to like piggyback off of it. Basically, what he's just saying is
no, she understands. She just doesn't like it. She understands.
No,
it
it's
very
not
clearly.
that. It's not what I don't like or what. It's not what I'm speaking on the behalf of those who truly loves someone and wants to understand as far as, you know, I get what you're saying, how men are,
Yeah,
and their mindset, right? And I guess my question is basically like, okay, yes, this is the mindset of majority of men.
Yeah.
Is there another mind, or I mean, I'm not another mind, another thought that's like, okay, I shouldn't do this because I feel this way? Is it just a all-in decision? I gotta have my cake and eat it too.
yes, men do not think with their emotions; they clearly think with their penis.
Like, it's in the-
clear as day.
it's in their
literally
nature.
clear as day. Men literally do not think with their emotions; they think with their penis. Us women, we think with our emotions and our nice little area.
Yep.
So that's why we get attached to the sex. Have you ever gotten have you ever cheated on someone, gone home and started acting different towards him because you just came back from having sex with him? Versus a man can literally go out, cheat with you, and probably do 3 females in a day, come back home and act like nothing happened, get in the bed with you and cuddle up and go to sleep. That's literally that. Why? That's why. That right there.
Pretty good.
All right.
I think I think it's what you were saying, emotional and like emotional cheating and sexual cheating, where women don't just cheat sexually. Usually there's an emotional component to it. So when they are cheating emotionally, it's not like just sex, because they usually form a bond in some way, whether it be like, I don't tell my husband this thing so I could tell it to you. That's emotion. That's where I think for a lot of women, that's where that comes from, where men aren't going to these women that they're fucking 90% of the time and telling them like, oh, you know, like I feel this way at home, if they're not doing it at home.
They're not falling in love with them.
Yeah.
Like women, if they're doing it at home, they're probably also doing it with the person they're cheating with.
You said you like communication. What if your guy told you right now, I want to fuck other bitches? Would you stay with him?
No.
There you go.
There you
That's
go.
why men aren't honest with women.
Can't tell you the truth.
Can't tell y'all the truth because you guys can't handle it.
Yep.
Because I mean, that means you know, that person's is not enough for you. And I think it's because.
But I just explained to you that you're never going to be enough for a man physically by yourself.
So you feel all men are that way.
Pretty much.
95% of men,
most men,
would prefer having 2 to 3 girls versus just having 1.
Okay, so
it's just male biology. Guys always want something different. Men want quantity and variety. Men's need for variety is way stronger than women's need for variety. It's just a fact. It's a biological fact.
So that's basically like, have you ever had a sneaky link and then it was just you and the sneaky link, and then the sneaky link one day just was like, yeah, let's have a threesome. For what? I thought it was just me and you. Now you want to add somebody in, because it's not, because now you as that woman, you could take it as, oh, I wasn't doing enough, or you can take it as whatever. But at the end of the day, he's still a man. He just wants to try some new shit. It doesn't matter about what you did, how you made him feel. He just wants to try new. It's simple as that.
And then can we say that society has made that divide of what is allowed for men and what is and isn't allowed for women?
Society didn't make it. Biology made it.
How so?
That's how we're wired.
Okay. Can you go ahead and fuck 20 guys in a month and feel good about yourself?
Of course not.
Oh, How about the rest of you? Can any of you feel good about fucking 20 guys in a month and feel good about yourself?
Absolutely.
No.
not.
All right, if I fuck 20 girls a month, I'm going to feel fantastic. And I think most guys would feel fantastic. And the reason why is because men and women respond to sex differently. It's biology. It's not societal things. I would say that society adapted to the biological realities in different ways, right? Most religions restrict female sexuality and sexual promiscuity with females because they know that it negatively impacts their mindset, etc., right? And promiscuity on men is more accepted. So I think societal norms and standards have come from biological differences in men to protect the genders from their inherent, dangers that sex presents to the genders. So the thing is that you're kind of operating on, I wish it was like this way, but it's not that way. Men and women don't look at sex the same. And I think, this comes back to what I said before. Most women have an overinflated sense of self-worth, and most women think that they're special. But the reality is y'all are not as special as you guys think you are, especially when it comes to sex. Different hole, different goal. Like, that's what guys want. Different women. Men really want variety. It's just that most guys don't have the value to dictate variety because they know, just like your situation, they don't have the value to dictate that. Quite frankly, I'll be honest with you. Your guy that's in the military, he doesn't have the value built up yet to be able to tell you, I'm going to have sex with other women, and you're going to accept it. Because you know that you can go ahead and get another guy that you think will be monogamous to you, even though he probably won't be. But that's typically how women behave. Women will accept infidelity from the guy that has the high value or high status. But the problem is that most guys don't have the status to demand the ability to be polygamous.
Yeah.
I got one question for you because you said he was in the military. Is he active or reserves?
He's active.
He's active. So that means he relocates to different things and different duty stations and everything like that. So do you, you're the girlfriend, so you don't go with him?
We've only been together for 5 months.
And out of those 5 months, he hasn't.
So he's actually, right now he's not going anywhere for a long time.
Okay.
So we've had and we've had conversations where because of our relationship and what we want to do, we won't move around, if that makes sense. So he has a choice. He has a choice where he wants to go because he's a higher rank.
Oh, okay. That negates some of my questions. Okay, but with that, so okay, I'll just throw it out there.
No,
like this.
But what was your point?
My point was, matter of fact, I can go back to this. My point was, if one day he picks up and goes off to Japan for a whole entire year, you can't go. What do you think is going to happen over there? Do you really? Do you know if he's not going to cheat?
At that point, I'm not dumb or crazy or
right.
I know what goes on.
Right. So you have to accept that. Because at the end of the day, that's the military man. Are you going to literally have the military man walk up out of your life? That military man is setting you up for life. At the end of the day, you can get married to him tomorrow and be set for life, regardless whatever happens to him.
Just because it happens doesn't mean I have to accept it.
But would you though?
No. Because I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, she basically answered. Yeah.
Period.
I get what you're saying. You're trying to present a different scenario if he goes away for a year. I think whatever she doesn't find out is whatever. But if she finds out, it's over.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
And that stems from what I said before. At this point, he does not have the value to dictate being polygamous with her. What?
Bringing into the thing that you were saying about into the thing you were saying about how the reason that women are upset with the whole infidelity thing is because men don't have that standard of providing the needs that they do. Do you think that's why there's so much divide now compared to before when men were the main?
Wait, so can you ask the question one more time? You confused me right there with women providing. I don't.
When you were saying that the reason that women don't accept infidelity in relationships mainly is because the men is if you're a providing man, then I will be more Kenny was more willing to accept infidelity. Do you believe that because nowadays it requires more of a 2-parent household and things, or two dual income household and more work from other people, that's why that divide is happening in between relationships? Do you think that, I'm not saying that that's the only factor, but do you think that's a large factor because there is a second need for a second provider in homes nowadays for the modern, not modern, I would say for the average person? Do you believe that that plays in such a large factor? Because if I'm also providing to the household and providing the needs that, let's say as a traditional man, you should be doing, then do I have more of a reason or right to be upset at your infidelity if I'm also bringing in the money and paying the bills? Is basically
your question is very disconjointed, but I'm going to answer it.
I'm sorry if I couldn't explain it.
I understand what you're asking basically. This I'll get, instead of me answering it directly, what I'll do is I'll give you an example so you understand what I'm trying to say even better. Okay. typically what I found is the more the woman provides when it comes to provisioning, paying bills, and having a financial contribution, the less likely she is to accept any form of infidelity from that man.
Of course, yes.
The less she contributes to the situation, or more importantly, the more money her man makes and the higher social status the man has acquired, the more likely she is to accept him being polygamous. Because I think deep down in the back of her mind, right, women are naturally designed to share a man if he's high value and high status enough, right? You could look at old archaeological records, and they found that like in 80+% of societies, men that were at the top of the totem pole were polygamous and women were okay with it.
Yeah, they had multiple wives, 50, 30
and
wives.
it was acceptable. So that's kind of the balance. The more the man provides and the more status the man has acquired, the more attractive he is to a multitude of women, and the more likely women will accept it.
Of course, yes.
But on the other hand, the more she contributes to the relationship, especially from a financial provisioning situation, the less likely she is to tolerate that man having other women.
So do you think that plays a large effect in the like conversations and things that we're having today about modern male and female roles, and like how you were saying infidelity, that's the biggest thing, a lot of reasons why women divorce is infidelity. Do you believe if a lot of women are also bringing in that household that they not have more of a right, but you can kind of see why it's kind of like if my man is paying all my bills like they were in the 80s, then like if he has a second family on the side, excuse me, I'm so sorry, he has a secret family on the side, I don't care, because guess what, me and my kids are being fed. If that man dies, my name is still, on all the paperwork, I'm still getting a house, I'm still getting, but do you think that now that's what, like, that's not the only factor, obviously there's a million factors, but do you think that's a large reasoning into why
yes, I mean yeah, women typically, I mean there's a bunch of reasons, this is a very multi-pronged answer, but what I'm saying in general is that the less the man provides, the less likely she is to accept certain things from that man, which to include infidelity. This is why guys that like are bums, right? If they cheat on their girl, a lot of times the girl stepping out, she's like, what the fuck? Like I made a concession, right?
To be with you.
I suppressed my sexual strategy of wanting a man that's better than me to be with you, and you cheat on me? They look at it as an insult, right? At least be a millionaire and cheat on me. So yeah, I mean, it just comes down to what I tell women is this. A guy's only as faithful as his option. So even a dude that's making $30K per year, not really providing for you, hell, y'all could be 70-30. He's only paying 30% of the bills. I'm saying that guy is just as prone to cheat on you as a dude that's a multimillionaire. So I tell girls,
it's not more.
Just get the rich guy.
Yeah,
you
if
might
you have
as
the
well.
option, I
just get the fucking rich guy, because
he's gonna do it anyways.
Yeah, most of the time.
No, but he's gonna do it anyways, quote unquote. So if you have the option to be crying a Bentley or crying like a Honda.
I'm critical of men too.
Rolls
and
Royce.
what I say is take the most faithful guy, right? Take a dude that's 5 foot and making $50K per year, and he'd be the best husband ever, right? Give that dude a blue check on Instagram, a real one, and $3 million and some sports cars. Bro, he's gonna be fucking models the next day.
Of course, it doesn't matter what he looks like. Yeah.
So, and actually they did a study on this, and they found that one of the leading contributors to men being promiscuous and having sex with a lot of different women is money.
Is it not the biggest contributor?
Yeah, well, yeah, but it's the main catalyst for men having sex with a lot of women. And there's a bunch of explanations for that. I would say the biggest explanation is that men can actually pay for the sex. Yeah. Right. A lot of guys pay for the woman to leave versus, it is what it is, right? Like I mean, I hate to use personal experience, but I can say anecdotally from all the wealthy guys I know, most of them pay for box. It's incredible. A lot of them do.
Like situationally, you mean like dates and or do you mean physically pay
both,
for sex?
Both.
Okay.
They're tricking off with sugar daddies or they're paying the woman overtly for sex.
Okay.
A lot of wealthy guys, and which would make sense with the real data that the biggest contributor to men being promiscuous and having a lot of partners is money.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is that women are less likely to tolerate a broke guy cheating versus a guy that has money. But what I tell women is accept that most men are going to cheat on you. So just get the best guy that you're willing to tolerate it from.
I understand.
That's my practical advice to women. They get mad at me for saying that shit. Oh, you're enabling adultery, blah, blah, blah. But I say it's ingrained in men to exercise options. So find a guy that you want to tolerate it from.
I think the way you explained it here made like a lot of sense, but I think sometimes in the explanation it gets kind of lost in translation.
Yeah, because women are listening to me through their emotions and not through practicality. I'm telling them from a practical sense. If 95% of men are going to cheat on you, you might as well go ahead and find a guy that you're willing to accept it from. But so many women have crazy egos and think that they're special and the world revolves around them, that they think, how dare you cheat on me? I'm a woman. But the reality is that what you bring to the table as a lady, a lot of other girls can bring to the table. The things that men look for in women are common. Beauty, youth, fertility, don't be a pain in the ass, make me a sandwich. This will please most men. But guess what? 99% of women can't provide this. That's why I be telling women that you're not as special as you think you are, but that's considered misogynistic in today's day and age. So I tell girls, pick the best guy, get him to commit to you, be the top girl. If he fucks another bitch, it ain't that serious. Who does he love? Who has the last name? All right then.
I heard you mean.
Okay.
That's it.
Now,
that's the best I've heard a girl take it though.
Yeah, for real.
Shout out to
I
you.
had a question. I just wanted you to explain. I
No.
asked questions.
Most girls get
'cause
mad when I
wanted
say
you
that
to-
shit. They
No,
get really mad at me.
I just wanted your thought process, honestly.
All right, call me G
Yeah.
Scott.
I think most guys think this way. They can't obviously vocalize it,
Mhm.
but the only difference is that guys that have higher status, more money, have the ability to vocalize it and
Yeah,
say, fuck
okay.
off what you think, lady. But most guys just can't say it.
Ladies, you found the man of your dreams. He's tall, handsome, fit, etc. But when he comes home every day, he hangs his muscles up in the closet. He's always skinny around you, but wears his muscles out in public. How does that make you feel?
Oh my gosh, I don't even know where to begin. with
That's
that.
weird.
I see what he's doing here.
Yeah, I
know what
see
he's-
where they're going
yeah.
with this. I feel like this would be equivalent of removing your titties, not your eyelashes, though. I'll say that.
I think the closer, this is more analogous to makeup.
Makeup. Okay.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest here, women can raise their looks by 2 to 3 points off makeup alone.
It's magic.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
So what are y'all thoughts to that? Anybody have an opinion?
I think it was
feel like
funny
you
the way
need
he
to do that.
said it.
Self-explanatory. Like,
I have one thought on that.
Yeah, go
Sorry. If you think she's ugly without makeup, don't date her. That's my biggest point.
All right.
So that's
I
it. She
mean-
take that makeup off.
Yeah.
Take it off. Give her a pink-
No, but
give
I'm
her a
saying,
white.
like, as a guy, you should know, like, if you're going to be with that girl, you should know she look like without makeup.
I just,
Yeah.
But let's be
But
honest,
some
most
women,
girls
some
don't.
women
Yeah.
hide it.
Yeah.
Some women hide it, and
If
that's
you go to
that's
sleep
what's
with her
fucked
and
up.
wake up with her, you don't know what she
No.
looks like without makeup.
We're going to
Nah,
take
some
that
women
makeup
hide
off.
it.
That's a problem.
Nah,
like that.
Hey, yo,
We're going
that
to
shit
the
go
pool.
crazy.
We're going to the beach.
Yeah.
Next day.
That's a problem.
All right.
Abdul Uncut.
Goes
Ladies, question.
Yeah, go ahead.
Why, I guess you mean men, are taught to be a gentleman, and women aren't taught how to be ladies? In the society, please, honest answer, please.
Oh, okay. So he said, okay, this is a good question. He's saying, so just to make it clear, he's saying, why are men taught how to be gentlemen, but women aren't necessarily taught how to be ladies? Who wants to go first and tackle that?
Okay, so
All right, go ahead.
I would say I kind of point at social media and
Okay.
reality TV shows, and you have women throwing drinks at restaurants and cussing out loud and just acting crazy. And then they turn around and get paid for this stuff, and they get famous from these things, and then people glorify it. I think that is why it's okay, people think, but it's not. And people should say, listen, being a lady is very essential, because the real man that wants you, or that we're talking about, that wants you at home and raising your children, is not that one who's throwing drinks and
Okay.
acting crazy and stuff like that.
So to summarize what you said, it's positive reinforcement to very bad behavior that isn't unladylike.
Mhm.
Interesting. Okay. Anybody else want to take a stab at it?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I want to
And then you
say
after.
it's she said social media, but I just want to say it's a product of your environment, because if your mother was not raised if your mother was not raised to learn how to properly be a lady, how is that going to look down the generational pool? No one in that family is going to know how to be a proper lady if that's the case. So it's more so just about situational awareness. And
So you're adding to her point, saying that it also has to do not just with social media, but a product of your environment, maybe
Yeah.
bad motherhood.
yes.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else want to take it?
My point was pretty much direct to hers, not just
Okay.
motherhood, but just the community you grew up in general, like your village, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Learning to be a lady is not just, and I think this is a thing that we believe, like, you don't just learn to be a lady from just a woman. You learn to be a lady from a woman and a man. You learn to be a lady from a man because of the way you allow him to treat your father, the way that your father, when you, like, for example, if you're a girl, there are certain relationships your father should have with you, not because he's a man, but because he's giving an example of what men should be treating you. When you're, and same thing with a mom, like, as a mom, your son should be a direct reflection of how women should treat you. Like a son, your mom should be a direct reflection of how a woman should be treating you in a relationship. So I think that these parental units, not just one parent homes, but in general, like, parents don't have time to parent anymore. Like, everyone's kids are on social media. Everyone's kids are being parentified by school, parents aren't parentifying their kids and teaching them the values. Like in other cultures, like you are learned to clean, you learn to cook, like they physically teach you these things. These are not cultural things that are taught in the States.
Okay.
Like, you know what I mean?
Anybody else have anything?
I would say that's she made a valid point about how you're raised, and how you're raised. But then we talk about the women who are adults already acting out, you know, and who were raised properly, who don't simply apply it.
That's
I
that's
think
a
there's
choice
not-
though.
there's no social
That's a choice.
pressure.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Because at
I
that
agree.
point you choose to, like, you know better. That's literally as you know better, you do better. So it's like if you know, literally, I
Keep
can
that
tell
question
you,
up, Chris.
I can tell you right now, I know me throwing a drink in her face right now is not ladylike. It's not. It's not
No, the other one.
gonna have any beneficial meanings towards me. That's.
All right. Anybody else have anything that they want to say? Why men are typically taught to be gentlemen and women are not taught to be ladies? Any other
I mean, I know
reconsider-
like on the women's
Go ahead.
side,
Yeah.
like especially now with feminism and stuff, like there's a lot of women that like they're acting more like men, I guess. They're
Okay.
more masculine.
So you think
like they're
feminism is a part of it too?
bosses. Like they want to be bosses, they want to provide for themselves.
point,
So it's like that I guess the gender roles have changed a bit after feminism.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
All right. Somebody else has something?
I feel the gender roles have changed tremendously, if you ask
Okay.
me.
All right.
Not even just a little bit. And that's a big reason.
Yeah,
Alright.
at least
Anybody
for the
else?
women's side. Like I don't know about the gentlemen. I mean, I guess that's still a standard for men. And like I said, like kind of goes back to what I was saying before. Like women expect a certain type of man, but they're not. Like they want a traditional man, but they're not traditionally acting like a lady.
Okay.
Yeah, women aren't held to the same standard. They have less accountability in a lot of aspects.
I just feel like now you probably run into I don't know, I run into less guys being gentlemen and you know and
Yeah, I think it's as a result of
I
of
feel
the
like and then the women
yeah.
aren't being feminine, you know.
Yeah.
So
Right,
it's just like, you know, what tends to happen, I feel, where women have that masculine sense is because it's like a wall that comes up when we
Yes.
feel disrespected. It's like, wait, you know, and it's a protective mechanism. Not saying it's right, not saying it's justified, but when we are disrespected or disregarded, you know, we are then trying to protect self, all because that guy isn't being a gentleman or hasn't been taught to be a gentleman or isn't practicing those things.
So do you mean like in situations where a woman is kind of forced into a more to fulfill a more masculine role? And is that what you're talking about?
You kind of lost me with that question. Yeah. I just want to piggyback of what all she said about how like women and stuff about the whole gentleman series, right? I want to say about how women are this question right here. I would also say it has to deal with a lack of father figures in the homes. Because how she said you also have to
Well, that's
learn
what I mean
how
by-
to be a woman from a man and a female. I feel like that's the same thing for a young man as well. If there's no father figure to even develop the relationship with his little girl to properly show her, hey, this is how you need to act around a man and this is how a man needs to treat you. And there's also not a father figure in the home to tell his son, hey, this is how I treat your mother and this is how your mother would like to be. Yeah, this is how you would like to act.
And you're right
Question
about
for the
that.
ladies: how many of you grew up in a two-parent household? Both father and mother there? Are they still together to this day?
No, until I was 20, so I consider that like growing up.
Okay. What
They
about
got
you?
divorced.
Your parents are still together?
Yeah.
What about you? Are your parents still together?
They divorced when I was 10.
Okay, so you grew up in a single mom household then.
Mhm.
So okay, so you didn't have your dad. And the rest of you guys didn't grew up in a single mother household.
No.
Okay.
Both my parents are still together.
Oh, okay, so you grew up in a two-parent household too. Okay. I just want to get an idea because I do agree that a lack of fatherhood is a big problem as to why. I mean, you guys mentioned a bunch of good things: social media, reality television, positive reinforcement to poor behavior from women,
Feminism.
not being a
think
lady,
lack of-
feminism, productive environment, which you mentioned, which I think that's especially indicative in the Black community. People are going to hate me for saying that, but you know, if you look at the African American community in general, there's a huge
By design.
epidemic
and
of
she-
fatherless households. And then if you look at the music, if you look at Black women in general, what do? Niggas ain't shit. We continue to kind of perpetuate the stereotype that that men aren't shit and you don't need a man, etc. And and I think that's a big part of it. I mean, not just the black community, but like fatherless households in general.
Yeah,
they're all fucked up, but it just seems to be that's where it's the most prevalent.
And
But-
then I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, if I could comment on the fatherlessness, I think we're also forgetting that there's behavior on the part of women that have discouraged father involvement within two-parent homes
Like
as
divorce?
well.
I had to get that in there.
I know
Yeah.
it's you have to dig it in, right? Like for instance, a dad goes to do like rough and tumble play with his kids. He goes to wrestle, and the mom comes in. Oh no, and prevents that interaction. And so the message keeps getting sent that the dad's going to back away and not be as involved. Do you know what I mean? Like that's a very like boiled down example.
To
but-
kind of
Go. Go ahead. Nah, you got it. Go ahead.
Go, queen.
Yeah.
I'm screaming loud. I was just gonna say, when you were talking about, just the dad's not being in the home, it also kind of the mom then has to be both.
That's what I meant by being forced in a masculine
Right.
role. Like,
And so then as the child, you're watching, mom having to protect and provide and nurture, and then the mom forgets, if we're talking about from the woman's side, the mom isn't able to teach those womanly things to her daughter necessarily, because she's focused on making sure the house is afloat, right? And that's another issue aside from the dad not being present, being able to teach, but the mom also has to teach as well. But if she's having to maintain the house,
we're missing those key conversations.
I think the important thing is the mother is supposed to teach the daughter how to be a lady, and the father is supposed to reinforce what happens if she doesn't behave like a lady.
Correct, yes.
For example, like typically fathers are disciplinarians, and I'll let you know, like, hey, if you don't behave or you don't adhere to certain societal norms, you're going to deal with consequences. For example, he catches his son with weed. Hey, what the fuck are you doing? Smack him. It's better that he smacks him versus police slapping cuffs on him. Now he's a product of the state, right? The same thing with women, right? I always say, good dads keep daughters off of shirt poles and sons out of jail. He tells his daughter, if you don't behave like a lady, or if you be a hoe, you're not going to be respected by men. You're not going to get men taking you seriously, and you're going to live a life that's going to suck, right? Your mother teaches you how to be a lady. The dad reinforces what happens if you're not a lady. Does anybody else have anything?
Yeah, and it's not just family, but while speaking about community, I think that we also forget that like a lot of us did not just grow up with our parents. We had a lot of other uncles, aunts,
right.
The village. That village mentality is no longer with us
That
in a
too.
society, and that's what I was trying to say about cultural.
It's hard to have a nuclear family, let alone an extended family.
And then,
Yes.
like
Yes.
nowadays, people
Yeah.
don't even know their neighbors, let alone the person. Like if you don't know the person who's living next to you and your kids playing in the street, like you don't have that. Like and a lot of cultures still have it where it's like if I as a kid run around and do something bad and my mom's not there and someone else is, they have the right to smack me and be like, you don't do that. You know,
Right.
like if your parents were here, you're not supposed to do
That's-
that. Why are you doing it in front of me? Like an elder in other countries is allowed to discipline you when your parents aren't home, and that lack of village is largely contributing to what we have because there are single parent households. So not only are we losing the male parental figure, but we're losing all of the additional help that we have, like as a unit, as a village, that we other cultures still kind of carry, and even those cultures are losing.
Hell, you used to get
that.
discipline in school.
Yeah.
Hell
The teacher's part of that
Teachers
village.
can't even discipline kids.
Oh no!
The
Now you
teacher-
go to jail.
No,
If you get into a kid's face too close, you'll go to jail. Like they'll arrest you as a teacher.
Yeah.
You can't do that shit.
Even
anymore.
back in the day, your teacher used to be a part of that village. Back in the day, your mom could literally. That was what
Everyone.
teacher-parent conference was for.
Yeah.
If my child is acting at home and at school, we're gonna get in the middle, make a meeting.
Yeah.
But now there's no lines of communication
village is
anywhere.
gone. That
Anywhere.
village is gone.
And more than that, though, like I don't know how it was when you were a kid, but when I was a kid, when you
Back in the Stone
would
Age.
go to right, exactly.
That was a long time ago.
When your teacher would like, let's say your teacher told your parent, you go to your mom, you say, I got in trouble. the mom said, "What did you do?
Right.
What did you
Right,
do?"
what did you do?
Not, you know.
Now it's what did your teacher do?
Yeah.
Instead of
No.
what did you do?
Now it's
Yeah.
let's call the district and get them
Yeah.
fired.
But I can definitely say
There was a
like, I
bus driver that
raised
got
really-
fired like a couple days ago, or maybe a week
Stopping the
ago.
bus.
Like the kids were
Oh,
standing up,
yes.
And then he like
and he stopped the
Yes.
bus. And well, he warned them too. He said, "Hey, if y'all don't sit down, you're gonna have to deal with something."
Yes.
They didn't sit down. He hits the brakes. They fucking, a couple of them hit their heads on the fucking, seat in front of them, which I thought was hilarious because our bus driver used to do that shit too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All the time.
not even on purpose.
Yeah, but here's the thing, it's like the most primitive way of teaching people that there's consequences to not following directions.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great life lesson.
Mhm.
They did that shit to me when I was a kid in the 90s all day, and we learned. We all sat our asses down. But nowadays, that guy is getting disciplined and he's getting fired for it. And I think that's a big problem where no one can intervene. I mean, we barely have parents involved, let alone
teachers
now
and
teachers are
everyone
getting
else,
involved, whatever.
neighbors.
I wanted to
Yeah.
arguably say like over the last 10 years, it's drastically gotten that way though.
Drastically.
Yeah.
Like because even then I can say, and when I was in middle school, and that's 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I was in middle school. My teacher and my mom were actively parenting. I got like my bus driver was actively being a bus driver. You didn't listen, great.
Your
Now I'm
parents
going to
was
get your
being known.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you
Now
got get up on the
everybody's
bus-
going to be intervened. The principle is everybody is with over these last 10 years span, and especially COVID had a tremendous a lot to do with this.
Coronavirus.
Nobody acts like we can deal with each other anymore.
Yeah,
Can I have
so
can I
sensitive.
say an unpopular opinion? I
yeah.
think gentle parenting has also contributed. I'm
Oh
not
my
trying to
God,
say gentle
yes.
parenting is all wrong,
No,
but
yeah.
No, we
I
say
think-
kids need to be slapped on the shoulder.
No,
and told
I
to
think
do
like
this.
okay, because
Yeah.
like what he said, no consequences of your action. The bus driver's telling these kids to sit
Yeah.
down. They're not sitting. He hits the brake. I think with gentle parenting, what's happening with a lot of people, and I think it's just because they're doing it wrong. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but you're telling your kid not to do something. Someone who doesn't have a concept of consequences, you're not teaching them the concept of consequences. And then when they continue to do the thing you tell them not to do, you don't give them consequences.
Yeah.
So how do you expect these people to grow up and to be productive adults that understand the reality of their actions? Like, if I do this thing, yeah, it might feel good to me, but I'm hurting this person, and there's a consequence to me hurting this person. A lot of people, and we're losing that ability to empathize with people. We're losing the ability to sympathize with people. And these small forms of things that we think are good things to change society, we're actually losing what makes society like
A society,
Yeah.
right?
Like most people don't, like I was saying, most people don't know their neighbors. Like I'm a property appraiser. I have to like go to people's houses. When I'm hearing stories about people knocking on the wrong neighbor's door and getting shot, it's like, that could have been your neighbor asking for help and you didn't know who it was. Like most people don't even know who lives in the
Doesn't
communities
that
around them.
speak though to a like how fearful
And exactly,
like
but
people
that's the
are,
thing
like,
of
that's
community.
crazy.
If there was community,
No, I know,
COVID,
exactly.
that's what I'm saying,
I agree.
COVID
Yeah, no, I
definitely
know,
just
yeah.
with
put a stamp
community
on
and
that.
village, when you're losing that connection with other people, you lose
No,
that
I
sense
agree,
of
I agree.
comfortability and that safety that you have with community, and that's the whole village thing. Like losing that village is not just losing parents; it's losing security guards, it's losing like teachers, it's losing mentors, it's losing all of these things, and we're having all these small little forms
Your
of
coaches,
yeah,
your-
that we're contributing, calling it
Yes.
gentle parenting, calling it all these small things, but in reality, we're actually like negatively impacting the next wave of adults.
Right.
And then we already have these current issues with relationships and everything. And now we're not even able to understand relationships in a way to make our society, you know, go to what it's supposed to be. And then we're raising these adults that don't have any of these other things. Like, what do we expect this next
Well,
group
it's
of people to
because
become?
you know, I've always said, if you know, I think Martin Luther King famously said this.
I had a
agree with him.
dream.
No, Chris.
Sorry.
If you stand for nothing, you'll fall for anything.
Yeah.
Right. And I think in today's society, people don't really stand for anything anymore because we want to be all inclusive. And you want to be all inclusive.
Right.
Well, that
Yeah.
means you have to concede to a degree.
Mhm.
So when you have to concede and you have to be all inclusive, that means that everyone's mindset and everyone's thoughts on things are correct.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, we're running around here saying there's a million genders when in reality, let's be honest here, we all know there's two. But since we have to be all inclusive and make everyone feel
Flag.
good and a part of it, right? What ends up happening is we end up in this fucking clown world where there is no right or wrong.
Yeah.
Everyone is right in their belief system, and that's what ends up happening. That's how you end up
You
with
know,
and if you
traditional
disagree, you get canceled.
traditional organizations, right? Like, you know, Christianity, the church, etc. Now they're accepting homosexuality when it's been forbidden in their text forever. What are we
Yeah.
doing? We're bending the knee for feelings, right? And for people feeling accepted.
Mhm.
And what ends up happening is that everyone is right, no one is wrong,
Mhm.
and
You can't critique.
and you can't critique, you can't discipline, etc. because it's considered fucked up and messed up, and we're giving people participation trophies. In general, what's happened is society's just getting softer and softer and softer as we continue to progress as a humanity with the advent of modern technology, conveniences, etc. People get lazier, people get more accepting, people don't understand that how we got to this point in reality where humanity is the number one species is because we were intolerant of fuckery in the past, because it did not allow us to continue to prosper as human beings. If you were stupid in the past, they told you that you were stupid. Act like stupid, what the fuck is going on, or be left behind. But nowadays, we accept everyone, regardless of how they behave, versus before, if we accepted everyone, we wouldn't progress. But now that we're where we are now, we're at the top of the food chain, we've been here, we're getting comfortable, and we're allowing fuckery in.
People forgot about God, which is why we're in the current state. And secondly, in the Bible it says, men will become women, and women will become men.
And that's
So you
exactly
read
what's happening.
Revelations, last days, people. There you go.
Literally.
So
And Miami, I would say even Miami is just a small little fraction of showing that. Like literally at the
Well, I think that that there's also like no humility anymore. People don't feel humiliated by anything, by any. There's no shame in their actions. Like you know,
That's
so I
what
think that's a huge
OnlyFans
thing.
does.
You used to not do things because you didn't want to humiliate your family. Like you know,
like
now
it's accepted.
You try to do the most humiliating thing on the internet now to get views. Like that's the goal. It's crazy.
Because it's positively reinforced, like we said.
I've literally seen,
and that's why those types of shows, like you were saying, women throwing drinks in people's faces are popular because that's the type of drama.
That's why OnlyFans is popular.
Like, that's why porn is popular. That's why porn is free. That's why people are watching.
Speaking of porn, these 3 or 4s ain't loyal. Is the girl next to Fresh the one who never climaxed through intercourse with a guy? The smiles, she smiles the same. Keep it up, guys. Love the book, Myron.
Has that changed?
Yeah, it's changed.
Oh, there you go.
The guy that you're with now that you're nagging?
Okay, there you go.
Empty egg carton with the glasses can get it, to be honest. Wait, who is it? Oh,
me.
This guy.
I'm
All right,
screaming loud.
rare panelist W with that custom gift. Let's go to the Disco K.
I don't even understand that.
I think that's because that's a 70s term. He's trying to be funny.
Oh.
I thought you guys had a limit of 2 ugly bitches per panel. Must be in place. God bless. Thanks, Upper Club.
Your profile look like you.
All right, I guess we'll turn it to the ladies for final thoughts or questions or comments. Where do we go? We go here. Right here.
I think like that last
First
topic
favorite part of the show.
we talked about on the last topic was very like, I guess it was different from like what you guys typically talk in the show. It was very enlightening, and like I guess I learned a lot from that. I probably learned.
What'd you learn?
I mean, just like this, like I guess why like things are the way they are, and
why
what like the last conversation, like why women like are not taught to be ladies and men are taught to be gentlemen. Like that kind of opened like a whole lot. Like it went very deep. Like
It's not to say that
beyond
men are perfect, right? I would just my argument would be that I think more men are taught to be gentlemen versus women taught to be ladies.
No, yeah, for sure.
Because if you look at it, right, how many nice guys are out there, right, that are in the friend zone because they're a nice guy and a
they're
gentleman,
nice, yeah.
right? Versus you don't see many women in the I'm gonna put her in the fake wife category until I'm ready to commit. Like no, guys don't put women in zones like that. They might put you in the sex zone, but they're not gonna put you in the zone of she's a good girl. I'm gonna put her there, just let her sit there. Like that's kind of weird. All right.
I just had one more question. I know I have a lot of questions.
Oh God.
How old are you again?
Yeah, go ahead.
How old are you?
33.
And how old are you?
30.
30. Okay. I just want to see the age mindset that you guys have.
Okay.
It's your turn.
That's
You have a
it,
comment?
Felipe.
No.
Okay.
She's like, nah.
Do you smoke before the show or not?
I was gonna say give her a break. It's 2 a.m, but she's high.
Allegedly.
Gone.
You're still high?
Allegedly.
No, sounds off.
Jesus Christ.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What about you?
I enjoyed the show. It was dope. Like I like to hear other people's perspectives, you know, outside of my own, and how people feel about certain things, you know. So
Cool.
yeah.
All
What's
right.
up?
You still talk a lot.
Thanks.
What about you?
No, I had a really good time talking with all of you guys, and all of you ladies.
Have
It
you
was
ever
nice.
had a dream that you had
She was doing well now.
No, she was.
You could do so. She was
getting it
you
Of the
so much.
Like
She was
everything out, Chris. She was.
Yo, she made sense at the end of the show. Kind of.
More than just at the end of the show.
Kind of.
Oh gosh. Well,
All right,
I am
what
running
about
off
you?
of 3 hours of sleep, so.
All right. What about you?
I always enjoy the show. I feel
You
like
are first. Congratulations to you. You are the first girl to have been broken up more with than breaking up.
Yeah.
That is literally a first.
100%.
Yeah. What's the
That-
ratio specifically?
It's like 10 to 3.
That's cap.
Wait, you've been broken up 10 times? So you only
You've been
broken
in
up with 3
13
guys?
relationships?
Yeah. Like not 13, like not obviously serious, but
Oh,
I'm
but
saying
like talking, like
I'm
dating.
talking, and it couldn't like it just the guy stopped it. Like it's been
Okay.
10
All right.
times.
Damn. All right. So 10 times and you've only
Yeah. And I've only broken up with someone 3. Yeah.
All right, cap.
That's a first.
It's not cap. It
And
actually fucking
Chad,
sucks.
Granny, she did fly down to Miami today, so I will give her the
Okay, we'll
benefit
give
of
her a
the
break.
doubt.
We'll
Yeah,
give her a break.
flew to
Yeah,
Miami,
you just got
so-
off the plane.
Yeah, facts.
Past your bedtime.
All right. No, but all right. So Dan, okay. You made history on Fresh and Fit.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Cool. All right, cool. Guys, don't forget to get in the goddamn course, motherfuckers.
Yes.
Miguel, tell the people what they get in there. Or Charlie.
Last day, right?
Man.
Yeah.
Shit,
When
man.
does it close?
It closes this Sunday for Fresh and Fit. We extended
Okay.
it out for you guys,
shit.
but
All right.
basically classes start May 6th
All right.
at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And dang, dude, it's gonna be a banger, man. It's literally 20 classes straight up. We even got Fresh in there for a course.
Hey,
For a webinar, man.
Turn up.
Hell yeah, man. It's going to be Return on Flex. That's the stream.
Okay.
But we're going to teach everyone from A to Z how to basically get onboarded into crypto and not get wrecked, how to
Yep.
safely buy coins, and then take advantage of this run up, man. Crypto's about to double basically in the next 3 months.
Boom. So
Boom.
take advantage, guys.
Take advantage.
Take action now. Invest now while it's still cheap.
No
man.
more poor.
So, and again, they're not going to tell you buy this coin, buy that coin, blah, blah, blah. They're going to tell you, hey, these are the coins that are doing well. This is what you could or could not invest in. And they're going to teach you how to look at the charts and be a savvy crypto investor. They're going to teach you how to fish versus giving you the
For
fish, right?
yourself. Yep.
So click the link below. Stop being a brokey. If this show didn't prove what I just said before, that girls don't build, they move in, bro. Get your money out point. All right. All the girls' Instagrams are below, so make sure to go ahead and send them a dick pic. We'll catch you guys
No,
on the next
no,
episode
no,
on Friday.
I don't want it.
Peace, guys.
I ran so far away.